going on? It's your dog Artman Boxing, and we're back with another boxing conversation. I know y'all seen that intro. Man, it feels good to be back, dude. Uh, Shit, not Bud. Damn, they ready. Shit. Salute. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Salute Artman Boxing. Yo, we're back with another boxing conversations. Today we're talking about Jaron Boots Ennis challenging the champion Terence Bud Crawford. Let's talk about it. So far, we've seen that Jaron Ennis is showing that he is a once in a lifetime talent. He is amazing. He's showing that he is determined to fight the best. He is determined to show the world he is the best. Um, but there's two people standing in his way, and that's Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. A lot of people think that Boots Ennis can actually step up right now and beat these guys. For me, I'm like, nah, pump your brakes just a little bit. Just a little bit. I like Boots. Don't get it twisted. I like Boots a lot. But do I think he can beat Bud Crawford and Errol Spence right now? I don't think so. But I could be wrong. Obviously, the guy and his pops is seeing something because his pops is super, super confident in this boy. I mean, that is his boy, but he's confident. You know, a lot of people wouldn't want to put their son in there with the best fighters in the world without even actually like fighting a top five contender. But these guys are ready, so I'm ready to see something. I've been watching my dude Jamil or YSM Sports talk about or do interviews with Boots and his father. And so far, man, them guys been sounding real confident. Let me see if I can find a clip that I was listening to earlier today. But I like it, man. I really like Boots and what they're talking about. Yeah. Well, yeah, his pops is saying Boots and Crawford should be next. Let's see it. But here's a clip from YSM Sports Media talking to Boots' father.
Boots on that level is Boots and Terence Crawford. Right. A lot of people is putting pressure on Crawford. You don't got an opponent, fight Boots. Right. What's your thoughts on that fight?
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree that's what should be next. You know what I mean? But then again, I understand what Crawford trying to do too. Trying to get that, bigger fight and more money.
Yep, bigger fight, more money.
I don't fault him for that, though. You know what I mean?
But who can he fight that's on world level if everybody is occupied?
Well,
and that's a hell of a question right there. Who can he fight that's on the world level? In the meantime, so it's either not going to fight at all, or is he going to fight somebody on the world level? Let's see.
What can I say? I don't know. Yeah, you're right about that. So everybody, you're right. Everybody is available. Not available. I mean, not available to him.
Do you feel like you're going to hear continuous pressure on him for like the next couple of months to fight Boots?
It's all about politics too, man. They play a hell of a game with that. You know what I mean?
But the pops, from what I'm hearing, the pops understand that, it will be a good fight, but the powers that be, they looking at the business, and they're probably looking at it like, it's not good business-wise because this guy is a not even just high, I say he's a super high risk, low reward type of opponent. But honestly, I think Bud can do his thing in there against that guy. But the only thing I fear is that him not leaving the fight 100%. Because he'll fuck around and fight Boots, and he can fuck around and win. But he'll mess around and you never know. Break a hand, get injured, get hurt, break an orbital bone. You'll never know. And that's what happens when you fight guys like this, because stuff can happen. You hear them punches when Boots is landing. When Boots throw them punches, man, you can hear them shits, man. Yeah, when Boots land, you can hear that shit. My dude says facts. Hell yeah, facts, man. Look, hold on. Matter of fact, when Boots was fighting Lipinets, isn't it nice? I would just play. I would just play like a little sound bite from that, just so you can hear what the punches sound like. I kind of felt bad for this guy.
Less than a minute left in the first half of this 12 round. In his 19th professional fight. Remember, he won a title in his 13th pro bout. Less than a minute left in the first half of this 12 round.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's when he just dropped Lipinets. But the reason I played that is because they had no background noise besides the commentators, and you could just hear the power in the punches, man. It's not no Deontay Wilder punches where he hits you one time and you laid out, but it's the type of punch that make you feel like, oh Lord, I might have to take a knee or I'm gonna get hurt. Seriously, dude, and I love it. And you know, he's been stopping it just like Crawford. He's been stopping everybody he fought. I haven't seen Boots go to the decision in a long time. At all. Matter of fact, I've never seen that. And I actually haven't seen Terence Crawford go to decision in a long time either. So, man, that's going to be a good one, dude. Honestly, realistically, I don't think it would happen next. But I'm not going to be the fan that's not going to say I don't want it next. I actually do. Because I believe in Crawford. I think Crawford can beat him. Honestly do. Because Crawford, he's a switch hitter, just like Jaron Ennis, but he's more experienced. And he's been in there with the dogs. And he's been touched before. He's been touched by people with some legit power. You know, he never dropped, never folded. He has been wobbled, though. That's true. He has been wobbled. But other than that, I haven't ever seen Bud on the floor. I really haven't seen Bud, like, lose too many rounds. I really haven't. But we know in a fight like this, he might lose some rounds because this young boy is a killer, yo. He's a real life killer. Um, Also, recently when I put the video up, I was going to talk about did Frank Martin damage Earl Spence's eye in sparring because some Bud Crawford fans had brought that up. Uh, but since it's my show, we can do whatever. So let's talk about it. Did Frank Martin damage Earl Spence's eye in sparring? Nah, I don't think so. Because they got. Are you guys sure that a lightweight is sparring a full-fledged welterweight, a guy that they say ballooned up to 190? I don't think so, man. But you see some Bud fans talking about it. Bud fans are like, yeah, you know, the little man, he put it on him. He put it on Errol Spence and shit or whatever. And I'm like, dude, it is a possibility. I'm not saying that it couldn't happen, but man, I'm not the one. I'm not the one to say so. Said Boots beat Bud. Nah, I don't think so. But who knows? Who really knows? And that's the thing. That's what I love about this sport because these guys are fucking talented, man. And you put them in there, you never know. They can fuck around and take still to shine. Like if you put Boots in there with Bud, you never know. But it might not be no Errol Spence versus Crawford mega fight. They might be talking about Errol Spence versus Boots as a mega fight. And to be honest, I wouldn't really be frustrated. I wouldn't be upset because, yeah, I wanted to see Errol Spence versus Crawford, but this is a good substitution right here. Bud don't want that smoke. Yeah, I don't. It's not sounding like them guys making it seem like the only person I've really seen interact with Boots was Errol Spence. He had their little FaceTime with Gilly the Kid, and they were showing them Philly versus Dallas or whatever. And I'm like, shit, if it had to come down to it, I'm rolling with Dallas. But anyways, um, yeah, Boots has the power to stop the mega fight between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. He really does. Said happy birthday, Art. I hope you had a good one. Yeah, so far so good, man. Got some good food, clap some cheeks. Now I'm out here on live doing my thing. It's too cold in Minnesota where I'm at to really go out and do too much. So I'm home. I'm in the crib with it. To be honest, I'm in the crib. I ain't going out to next week. Fuck that. Let the temperature rise just a little bit. But yeah, I was actually listening to a lot of Boots interviews today because just to hear things he was saying. Said, yeah, it's cold as shit. Hell yeah, man, it's cold as fuck out here in Minnesota, man. Man, it's cold as hell. Hold on, one second, y'all. Shit, my bad. Yeah, my bad. My mom was calling me and shit. Yeah, it's my birthday and all. My bad. Yeah, man. It's cold as shit out here in Minnesota, dude. So damn cold, man. You ever been so cold when you walking somewhere, instead of walking forward, you gotta walk backward because the wind hitting your face, and you like, oh shit. That's how cold it is, man. It don't matter if you have a car, ride a train, nothing. It's cold as soon as you step out the building. Said, happy birthday, good sir. Pouring up some wine, getting ready to sit down and hop up. Hell yeah, man. That's what I did too earlier. I was sipping some wine. I just woke up from a nap, man. But yeah, it's so damn cold out here in Minnesota. The worst thing you could do in Minnesota, how cold it is once you come outside, immediately the first thing you do is wash your hands with hot water. You do that shit, your hands will fucking fall off. Literally, they tell you not to do that. They literally warn you in Minnesota how cold it is that if you're outside for too long and you come inside, do not put hot water on your hands or hop in the shower immediately. You'll fuck around, your limbs will fuck around, fall off. Hey, real shit. Also, bro, also real shit. I have some family members, fingers who literally fell off from fucking frostbite. It's fucked up out here. But yeah, Aerosmith versus not Aerosmith, Crawford versus Boots. I got Boots in that. I got Crawford in that fight, man. I really do. But I don't got Crawford in winning that fight easy, man. I see Crawford getting real life hurt in that fight and winning a fucking decision, split decision. But I don't see him easily winning that fight. And I was listening to Boots earlier today on YSM Media, and they were interviewing him. And he was talking about the Delorme fight, and they were talking about some, yeah, I like the fact that you're in the gym immediately after the fight, which is cool. But let's talk about the fight. Let's talk about how you got Delorme out of there. And they were talking about that, right? And then he was like, yo, he brought up a good question. He said, yo, or a good statement. He's like, yeah, man, watching you in there, when you was hitting with flurries, I did notice that he caught you with some shit that make you step back just a little bit. He said, can you explain what was going on right there? And he explained, he was like, yo, man, I just made a mistake. I wasn't expecting that, I got my shit right. I just made a mistake. And I said, you see that right there? That right there is why I'm picking Crawford, because you can't afford to make no mistakes against a veteran like that. No, no, no. Yeah, you can have all the confidence in the world, but you see how he admitted he made a mistake. You can't go in there and make a mistake against Terence Crawford, because he gonna make you pay for it. Said fuck COVID, that's why I ain't been off. Ooh, you gotta be safe out here, man. Gotta take your vitamin C, dude. Need your daily dose of vitamin C.
What's up, Art?
What's going on, Julius, man? Are we just talking about the welterweight division, man?
Happy birthday, brother.
Thanks, man.
27 is a good year, man.
It is a good year. I started off pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. I got monetized on my channel, and immediately when I put the boots and Ennis shirts and hoodies on my website, I done sold out damn near.
Damn, that's what's up, man.
So I'm starting off the year good. I just want more life. Thank God for blessing me with another year of life. I want to continue to paint 1,000 more pictures and talk this boxing shit for a very long time.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, my man.
But how you feeling, man?
Hey, I feel good, brother. Blessed, man. Be here another day. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but jump on that subject you talking about though, man. Hey, look, I want to see it because Boots is what, 24, 25?
Yeah, he's a young dude, man.
But hey, he kind of young, but I look at guys, and I'm not even talking 20 years ago. Let's look at just Canelo, man. You know, hey, take your shot, because if you lose, it ain't the end of the world. But how about this? What if you win? You're a superstar, right?
Yep.
And one thing I do know is, as great as Bud is, he started out boxing at 135 pounds, right? So now if somebody say, well, he was this or that, then we're gonna have to call him a weight bully at lightweight. That's the new name they like to use for people, right? So either way, he started off at 35. Boots can do the exact same thing that Bud can do. Hey man, it's a good fight, man.
And
You
that's what
talking
I
about a
said.
guy
I
that's
said I don't
bigger,
think Boots will win
just
that
as
fight.
quick.
I don't think Boots will win that fight easy, but I feel like he will go through a lot. He will go through hell to get a split decision against that kid.
Both guys will. Both guys gonna have to go through something, because the first time that Boots land flush, it could be a knockdown. Who knows?
Who
You know what I'm
knows?
saying?
And that's what I'm saying. Because the kid, he said, he was like, I was listening to his interview. He's like, yeah, man, I made a mistake against DeLorme. He hit me. But I still got him out there. And I was thinking to myself, like, dudes, yeah, you make a mistake against Terence Crawford, ain't gonna be no, oh man, I adjusted. You never know.
Look, as great as Bud is, he's not a one-punch knockout artist.
He's not, but he's a good finisher. Can we admit that?
But see, that's the thing. You know, I would take my shot, because look, Bud has got hit flush too in fights against lesser guys early in the fight and later in fights. He been hurt. So whenever a fighter seen another fighter hurt, it gives them, confidence. So Boots got confidence that he could capitalize the same way you say that Bud could hurt him if he get hit like DeLorme. Look, he didn't get hit because he was just in the pocket and they were standing around and they were jabbing and DeLorme hit him with a left hook or a right hand. No, he was going in trying to finish the same way we've seen Bud hurt. So I'm not as worried about that, because that means you were trying to finish a guy off. And in order to finish a guy, you're going to have to get caught with something. You know what I'm saying? You got to open up in order to get somebody out of there. So you're going to get caught. That's what happens. That's why
people get caught all the time, man. You definitely get caught all the time. And my thing is too, a lot of people talk about this young, young and old game. You know, I really don't like that type of talk sometimes because when I look at skilled fighters like this, I think of just two men in there. I don't think of
Right.
a young man, a young kid, and a
Right.
grown ass man. I think of two
Right.
men.
Right.
I see young dudes whip on big dudes. I mean, older dudes. I see older dudes whip on young dudes all the damn
Right.
time.
All the time.
We're
But
all.
see,
This is a men's game. We're all men, unless you like Vito Kilnaki coming out of high school.
people like to
It's different.
use that though, Art Man, in order to make that argument about their favorite fighter. So if their favorite fighter lose at 23 to a 36 or 37-year-old, they say, hey, he was old. You see what I'm saying? Now, if their favorite fighter is 33 or 34 and loses to a 23 or 24-year-old, they say, hey, he's old. So, see, you never can win when people make arguments like that. That's why I like to look at, are these guys at the top of their game right now, right? Both guys are at the top of their game. Bud Crawford, we have to admit, is at the top of his game. He just happened to be 33, right?
I don't consider him old since he ain't taking no damage.
Right. And Boots is at the top of his game at 24. If they fight next, I'm all in on it. And it's a fight that either guy can win.
Either guy could win.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. But shout out to my brother D Hive.
D Hive, what's good, brother?
What's going on, y'all? Happy birthday, Art Man.
Shout out to you, man.
Yeah. I think that it's definitely a good situation. I think that if anything, Bud, like I think we all understand while he's young and at 147, I think Bud should, potentially press for that fight, or maybe Boots should try to get Showtime to get that fight, because honestly, I think that once Boots gets like 2 years older and he leaves 147, I don't think anybody gonna be able to beat him. After he leaves 147, I don't think anybody out there is really gonna do nothing with him.
I can see the guy fighting at 160, bro.
Exactly. But as far as Bud and Boots right now, I think Bud by a narrow decision. And keep in mind, I'm not even saying that Bud would deserve the decision, because we all saw those Porter versus Crawford cards. Now, I'm sorry for the Bud fans in the chat, but I had Porter up. I'm gonna keep it 100. I had Porter up by a round, probably a round. Just based on based on activity, ring generalship, and also the punches he was landing, because Bud wasn't really throwing. But Boots is. I understand that Boots could get hit. Some, like, he doesn't roll with all his shots, but Crawford's in the same boat. When he's getting touched up by green beans and he got off balance, y'all gotta just like y'all saying,
popped with the right hands. I was like, Lord.
Yeah, just like y'all saying that
in
Boots
the pocket.
just like y'all was saying that Boots' opposition is not Crawford. Well, Crawford's opposition is not Boots.
Right.
When Crawford pivots and backs up, Boots is the type to follow you out, and they have the same reach, except Boots is 2 inches taller.
Right.
So it's a difficult situation. I think Boots could pull it off. I think
could cost Boots in the fight against Terence Crawford. Him try to roll a punch the way he be doing them when he's fighting them other guys. When they land and he still kind of let that motherfucker roll off the side of his face. I feel like if he try to style and profile against a nigga like Bud, that's gonna be a nightmare for him.
Well,
Absolutely.
you gotta hit.
Especially if he gets stopped, he gotta pick himself back up from that.
Absolutely, but Bud isn't a one-punch KO artist, though.
Right.
We gotta keep
That's true. But let's not act like he haven't been stopping everybody he fought.
And he has. And I will say this about that. I think it's a fight that could go, it's 50-50. And people will say, well, we ain't seen Boots do it at the top level. Well, listen, let me say this, man. And I know I'm talking about another sport, but when LeBron James came to the NBA at 18 years old, people were like, oh, he good. But no one saw him averaging 20 points and 7-8 assists as an 18-year-old going against grown men. Okay. And as a matter of fact, when he came into the league, Shaq and Kobe were still doing their thing. So people forget that it was 2004. So 2003, 2004. So I'm saying this to say this about Bud. Bud fight against Boots is not going to look like Bud against Mean Machine. It's not gonna look like Boots against Delorme. It's gonna be a totally different fight.
It's not even gonna look like
Everything
Porter
gonna
versus
be,
Bud.
yeah, it's gonna
Hell
be
no.
it's not gonna be Gamboa. It's gonna be just totally a
Different.
fresh. It's gonna be different because Bud gonna be in a fight against a guy that even if he win, he's gonna have to win that fight off experience. He's not gonna be able to win it off of strength.
And I feel like
And
that will
none
make
of
the
that.
fight more of like a chess match, more of
Right.
because
You
I
know
feel
what it's gonna be like?
what type of fight? What do you consider Sean Porter versus Bud? What type of fight do y'all consider that? A brawl
That's
or
just
what?
that's a standard boxer versus a pressure fighter. But you know why I give Boots a slight, a little bit more of a chance is because I think that the fight is going to be like Terence Crawford fighting a different version of himself.
Right. Looking in the mirror. Right.
And I like, how do you train for that? You know what you do, but even Boots was saying in an interview that Crawford is not a natural switch hitter like people say he is, whereas I am. So I think that it's going to be like fighting a sort of rejuvenated version of himself. And how do you train for that? I mean, I know that Crawford knows everything that he does, but basically you have to memorize all your defense in reverse because it's coming at you.
I mean, you're right. And the other thing that I was thinking when you were saying that is this, as far as that particular fight. It's gonna come down to a lot of things that got I call it intangibles, okay? Because Boots is gonna have not Boots, but necessarily Boots, but it's gonna be a fight where, like you say, it's looking in the mirror, but it's gonna also be the person or the fighter that can calm down and make it a boxing match. Because if they go out there doing like they both do, somebody is going to go out within 2 or 3 rounds. There's no way that Boots is going to be able to take Terence Crawford flush shots all night long. Now, if he does, he's going to win the fight. He's going to win it by knockout. If he can take those shots and not be stunned and walk through them, he's going to win by knockout. But it's vice versa. So somebody is going to have to take, and this is why I picked Spence to beat Bud in a fight. And Spence would be difficult for Boots, but Boots would be difficult for Spence. But who can establish a jab? Kell Brook got knocked out by Bud in what, 3 or 4 rounds?
I think
Bud
cool,
Crawford's
yeah.
eye was closed. His lead eye, when he turned southpaw, the right eye was closed. Go back and look at the fight. Look at the spectacular knockout, but look
What
at
fight?
his eye. The Kell Brook fight.
Bud versus Brook.
Bud
Yeah,
Crawford,
he had
right
Kell
eye.
Brook. That
was
jab
shut.
had his eye puffy.
His jab. See, that's what I said, that Spence is going to win the fight. Man, people want to make, sometimes we try to analyze fights and we try to make it so difficult. But man, this is really a simple game. If I can establish my jab, I don't care how athletic you are. This ain't like a football game. Man, I can tame you with a jab. And somebody's going to have to establish a jab in that fight, because I'm telling you, that would be and that's where I think Sean Porter wasn't able, because he didn't have the tools to do that. You know what I'm saying? He could make it rough, but he
I ain't gonna lie to you.
that guy.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Julius. I didn't like the way Bud was eating jabs in this fight.
Absolutely.
In the Porter fight?
No, in the Kell Brook fight.
Kell Brook
Oh,
fight.
the Kell Brook.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it
He
wasn't
was
like
eating them.
Kell Brook wasn't doing nothing spectacular. He was
Nope.
literally just shooting that motherfucker right down the middle, right down
That's
the pipe.
all you. But Art, man, that's all you really have to do in boxing. To me, Bud Crawford sometimes, and he's changed a lot, and this is why he's got knockout. There's no reason why he shouldn't have knocked Ricky Burns out going back to the lightweight days. But what happened is Bud used to do a whole lot of unnecessary movement. A lot of fighters do that. Devin Haney do that. Even though Devin is good, I think that sometimes he make too much movement. You know what I'm saying? But usually when a fighter get a little older, they settle down more and fight more in the pocket. But the jab, man, attain anybody. It attain, because that's the one thing. Even if the man's switching from southpaw to right hand, what's the one punch that's going to work? The straight jab. the straight, the jab to the body or the head. Now, nobody's done the body on Bud yet. They've only, Kell
Kell
Brook
Brook
told
tried it in
everybody.
this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kell Brook
But
has never been a prolific body
but
puncher.
Bud was coming
No, he
in.
has.
Look,
He
I don't
did in
like
the
it because
Sean Porter
Bud's
fight.
coming in this fight, and they showing highlights of Brook catching him with that jab. Just
Yep.
as soon as he come in, and this stopped everything Bud was about to do.
Everything. Make him
I'm
start over.
watching.
It made him start right over.
Yeah.
I'm watching the Green Beans joint right now. I'm watching it again for probably like the fourth time as we're talking about it. And I'm telling you, when Crawford was rushing in as a southpaw, Green Beans let off that standard orthodox 1-2 down the middle.
That's
he was
it.
He was off balance. It wasn't looking good. If Boots land that same shit, I don't know if he's gonna be able to stay up.
But we raving over fucking Boots and shit, saying he all that. But I want to see Boots against somebody like a Kell Brook. Not this, he's probably
I
washed
don't
up
think
now.
we want to
Like,
see
I'm just saying,
Brook.
like stylistically, somebody that's
Yeah.
good enough. You know what I mean? Like, can I at least get like a B level fighter, C level?
Well,
Hey,
David
well,
Avanesian just got a fight, so his schedule's booked up. Virgil Ortiz Jr. fighting McKinson. Connor Ben, they don't want to feed him anybody. As far as the Showtime welterweights, everybody seems busy. Abel Ramos got a fucking fight. Shit. So it's hard right now.
Well, my thing is
You
this.
know what I want to see?
How about
what
Sergey Lipinets? Wasn't Lipinets a B-level fighter?
I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, Julius.
He had never been really
I'm gonna keep it
beaten.
100 with you.
Okay.
I don't think Lipinets was 100% in that fight, or even close to it, because
do you think it would have mattered?
He was coming off a tough fight, and he was injured as well, and I believe he had to go through like a surgery in the meantime, and then that was his next fight after. So honestly, I don't feel like he was 100%.
But looking at the way that fight went, do you think it would have mattered?
No, I'm not saying
I don't think it would have mattered at all.
But I'm just saying I don't feel like he was.
I got you.
100%.
I'll take you. Maybe he was 80%.
Somebody said, Artman, you have the worst account on Twitter, so that's why you followed me to YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Carver T says, shout out to Artman, happy birthday, daddy. Yeah, I see you smile. Yeah, shout out to you. Said, when he gets that C-level fighter, don't come with any he was supposed to do that nonsense. Give him the credit where he does. I'm giving him credit. Don't get it twisted. I love Boots as a fighter. I'm giving him credit. But honestly, I don't feel like that's the same Lipinets that fought Mikey Garcia. I'm gonna just keep it 100. And
I don't like it.
I think Lipinets look better at welterweight when they beat Lamont Peterson.
Right. I don't like it when people do that though. I don't like it when people say that a fighter has to look a certain way or do this or do that. It's about getting the job done. It's kind of like when people reference when's the last time Spence knocked somebody out. Doesn't matter. He's over here 11-1 and 12-0 dudes. Like, why are you concerned about knockout?
Yep. You know what? I'm gonna keep it 100.
You're gonna last 2 rounds.
He was gonna get Van Herden out like the first.
It was the first round until Van Herden headbutted himself out the fight like Warrington.
Yeah.
So just in general, not you are. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not trying to cap and say, oh, he couldn't get the job done if he was 100%. Nah, I'm not saying that. I just didn't rate. I'm just saying I'm not rating Lipinets high. I'm not.
I got you.
I rate him. He's a former champion. I'm not gonna rate him super high. I'm gonna rate him at the B+ level though.
Right. Yeah, that win at 47 over Lamont, and then him having to draw against Clayton showed me that he's pretty decent, man.
Yeah,
what's going on, fellas?
I think that Lipinets will do up most of Virgil Ortiz Jr. resume, maybe aside from fucking Hooker and maybe Green Beans.
I don't think a lot of Hooker.
Mean Machine.
Huh?
I don't think a lot of Hooker, man.
I don't think Boots against Mean Machine.
Wait, who against Mean Machine? I'm sorry.
Boots.
Oh,
one round knockout now.
You said 1 round knockout?
Yeah, he would shit out of Mean Machine, bro. What?
He wouldn't get no credit for it. He wouldn't get no credit for it either because Boots has already been stopped.
Yeah,
right.
That's
twice.
True.
I mean, Mean Machine's already been stopped.
But I guess he is kind of washed.
Yeah, but let me just say something really quickly, man, because I was hearing you guys talk. Let me give you my reasons as to why I believe Boots would beat Terence Crawford. So Terence Crawford right now is 35, something like 35, 36.
I think he's 33. Yeah.
33. All right, so he's up. So he's getting up there in age, right? So I don't know if any of you guys heard what happened between Crawford and Brian Norman. Anybody?
Brian Norman Jr.
from Atlanta.
Yes,
The guy who fights at 154?
I believe so. Yeah.
From Atlanta, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So you guys heard about that, right? So I don't know if the viewers who are watching heard, but apparently Brian Norman was rocking Terence Crawford and sparring left and right. And I know it's just sparring. Sometimes you don't have your best days. But to me, that kind of shows that Terence Crawford, father time is getting to him. You know what I mean? 33 is still technically like in your prime. Is not anything like too concerning age-wise. But he's not the Terence Crawford that beat Kell Brook. He's not the Terence Crawford that beat Amir Khan. You know what I mean? He's not the Terence Crawford that I would have picked to beat all these welterweights right now. You know what I mean? So Jaron Boots Ennis does everything better than Terence Crawford. Other than maybe switch hitting. He's got better defense. He's slicker. He punches harder. He's a lot bigger. So take all that into consideration. And I know,
man, we say all that until they get in there with somebody tough, man. I gotta see it. I gotta see it, dude. Yes, from the eye test, you're looking like, oh my God, he's styling the profiling on these guys.
What's your name, bro?
In there where he have to really, a guy that's really gonna push him. Like, for example, Sean Porter for Errol Spence and Bud Crawford was a good test for me because it shows that they can hang in there with somebody who's just as athletic as them. Someone who's, throwing punches, 1,000 punches, coming at you.
Right.
I want to see Boots against that type of opponent because I feel like if he goes in there against the standard boxer who's going to try to, stand up with him and box and trade with him, I feel like he's going to easily beat that person because he's so used to beating that already.
You need to see Boots against a pressure fighter?
Gentleman's question with the yellow
shirt.
Yeah,
I want to see Boots against somebody that's a pressure fighter or somebody who's
now,
real life power.
Hold on, Armin. I'm glad you said it, but to answer his question, my name is Johnny. I don't know if you're
Johnny. Okay.
My name's Johnny. So really quickly, I'm glad you said that. You want to see him against a pressure fighter. Those are the kind of guys that will trouble Boots Ennis. A guy like Brian Castano, I know that he's in a different weight class, but if Boots ever goes up to 154 and he fights Brian Castano, I guarantee you Brian Castano would give him hell. He need guys that can push you back and are athletic.
6 rounds.
That can take your punches.
Yes, that can take your punches and keep coming and are also athletic will give Boots problems. If Marcos Maidana was still around, he would give Boots problems. Okay. Terence Crawford, he does come forward, but he's too small. Boots Ennis is just a better all-around fighter. Call me crazy, call me a fanboy, call me whatever you guys want to call me. But at the end of the day, styles make fights. You guys know this. All of you guys know this. Styles make fights. And the style that Ennis presents would be a nightmare for Terence Crawford. Not to mention, he's almost 10 years younger than him. He's more athletic. He's stronger. He's bigger. He hits harder. And he just does. I think Crawford, the only thing he does better is probably switch hit.
Well, Johnny, let me bring this to you. Let me say this. And I hear what you're saying about the Brian Norman sparring. I'm not going to take nothing from that, and I'll tell you why. There was a guy named Kid Diamond, and Kid Diamond broke Floyd Mayweather ribs, a couple of them, in sparring, getting ready for the Jose Luis Castillo fight, or maybe not the Castillo fight. It was
I think it was the Marquez fight.
No. It wasn't that late. It was
early.
Then. It was earlier than that. But he broke his ribs in between him going from 30 to 35. Okay, Kid Diamond seemed like a good prospect, right? Broke Floyd ribs. That meant that stronger fighters, straightforward fighters like that could go in there and beat Floyd, right? We see now that it's been 15 years later and nothing ever happened, right? Also, we know that Kid Diamond got knocked out by Nate Campbell, the first real step-up fight. And I'm not taking that away from Brian Norman. I'm just saying that, man, sometimes in the gym, guys literally have the worst day because they just going in there working, and the other guy going in there to shine.
Oh, I
Because
100%
now
agree.
Brian Norman is a
100%
name.
agree.
I mean, I know
agree.
Brian
When he
Norman.
fight, Terence Crawford beats the fuck
Right.
out of Brian
Man,
Norman.
and then
Yeah,
you know, you
right.
guys,
But what I'm
y'all
getting
But what
at-
I'm saying about the fight like that is, if I think Boots will have a great time. Yeah, Gary Russell pressured him, but he also could box too. But
and you see,
that
I'm watching. Look, let me tell y'all, I'm watching that right
Yeah.
now, and you know what I'm seeing from Gary Russell?
Which fight?
I guess it's some type of Olympic trial.
Oh,
against
okay.
Boots, right? Yeah.
And oh my Lord, man, this guy Gary Russell, he's putting it on him. He's making it a dog fight, and he's cracking him with body shots, left hooks, right in the inside. Not even giving this guy a chance to style and profile him like he usually does on everybody else.
Who's
Muscling
that?
him, put his
Who
elbow
you
in
watching?
his face,
Art, who you
pushing
watching?
him on the ropes. I'm
Gary
like, yo,
Antoine Russell.
Gary Antoine Russell did the. Oh, okay. That's the one you watching.
yo, hold on. Like, hold on. And I understand it's young in the careers. I get it. Trust me, I understand. But check this out. Just like that, man. That shit. Roughing the guy up.
Mm-hmm.
But
Real quick, the guy with the yellow shirt. What's your name, bro?
Julius.
Julius. Question for you, Julius. How we was just talking about You're right, 100%. By the way, you're 100% right. Sometimes a guy could just have the worst night of his life in training, and that's happened before. It's happened to Floyd. It's happened to everybody. But my question to you is, does Terence Crawford have the style to trouble Boots Ennis?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he got a style to trust it ain't gonna be a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Now, even if Boots knock him out, it's gonna be a real legitimate, straight up fight. I wouldn't be shocked to see both guys touch the floor in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was saying before you came on, it's a fight where whomever gonna win is gonna win because they make it a regular fight. Mm-hmm. Meaning that they can stick to a jab. And I said that's the one thing to me that pressure that troubles Bud more than being athletic like him and being able to switch hit is that, the straight punches, the straight right, the straight left, the jab, all those things trouble trouble Bud.
Check this out, Julius.
As far as Boots, I'll say this. Boots is a guy that can be troubled by those same things, but here's the thing. Is Bud going to do that? Because I've seen Bud is a type of fighter that want to get it back. Mm-hmm. So if Boots hit him with a good shot, Bud can get right back.
The problem with Bud is he's very hard-headed.
Hold on one second.
Stubborn.
Hold on 1 second. Can y'all see on the screen right here?
Yeah. But Gary is giving it to him.
Right here. Look. Pow.
Right
clean
here.
Left and right. Left and right hook.
Just like Gary Antoine was busting his ass.
Right here.
But hey, now be remembered though. This guy come from good genes. Both fighters do. Now, I'm talking about Boots and Gary Russell. They both got 3 brothers that turned pro. Gary Russell brothers are just better as far as a pro. So these guys got good credentials, man. And they've been in the ring since they were 4 and 5 years old, regardless of how many amateur fights they got. They grew up in boxing. You know what I'm saying? From the age of 4 or 5 years old, these guys been boxing. Kids older than them. That's why I say Boots is ready for anybody at 24 because, man, he been fighting against these guys. Look, when he was 16, he used to spar every day Ray Robinson that beat Bud in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? His dad trained him. And he was in the Philadelphia, with J-Rock and all these guys. So the guy is 100% ready to fight.
Well, he don't fight nothing like J-Rock, thank God.
Anyway.
So what do y'all think about Gary Russell then?
The best 140-pounder in the world.
Because
he'll whoop Josh Taylor ass.
I'm watching this clip and I'm like, God, he's looking like he's putting the blueprint on how to beat this guy. You got to muscle him up.
The
No, that's not
best
it.
100.
I think that like regarding the thing where Boots would struggle with Bud is because Bud, unlike a lot of other fighters, the one place where he shows definitive separation is that Bud Crawford throws every punch. Every punch there is, he uses at least once around. He has excellent punch diversity. And as far as the pressure fighter thing is concerned, I think that's some experience Boots should get, but I think that it's only going to trouble him once. Because the thing is that Boots' power definitely separates him. In addition to his skill set, he also packs above average power and probably going to be one of the top punchers in the welterweight in any division that he's in. And I think that at some point, much like Sean Porter, a pressure fighter is going to run into a punch and it's going to stop him in their tracks. It's going to run him into something, just like what happened to Sean Porter. And I think that once that fight happens, it's going to start happening, and he fights more pressure fighters. It's going to start happening earlier and earlier and earlier until it's not a problem anymore. Because Boots isn't a pure boxer. He's a puncher. He's a boxer puncher. So I think that pressure fighters, especially like people like Castano, after the first fight with him, other pressure fighters are going to have to think twice and reassess if they're just going to run in and try to muscle him, because that shit ain't going to work unless he develops hand problems or something like Floyd where he can't punch as hard. That shit it's not going to keep working.
I like
My dude,
Castano.
Extreme Willpower in the chat. He says Gary Russell. He told us. He said Boots struggles with pressure, and they fought 4 times in the amateurs.
And he beat him 3 times, right?
And I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. I'm looking at this, and even though Boots is having success in this fight, that pressure is just too much for him, because the guy, he's coming in, muscling him, pushing him against the ropes, hitting him in that body. And it's aggressive pressure too. It's not it's not, he's just being a mindless brawler. He's going there thinking, he's keeping his hands up. I'm talking about Gary. He's keeping his hands up, and and he's fighting him right in the pocket, taking it to his ass. A couple low blows here and there, but shit, it looked like it's working.
Well, you talking about a skilled pressure fighter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Skilled pressure fighter.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be. But you know what? I think Boots would stop Castano, because I think that Boots would beat Jamil Charlo.
Yep.
I don't think he'll beat Jamal. I think he would. I don't know, but I got to see him up at 60. But I believe he could go to 54 and beat Jamil Charlo tomorrow.
I think Crawford.
I think Crawford could beat Jamil Charlo
tomorrow. Yeah. But guess what, though? I still think Jamil Charlo is a pound-for-pound fighter. And absolutely. I think that if he got one of the best resumes in boxing, and if he beat Castano in the rematch in Houston, I mean, how can they keep denying the man? I know he's mega, but hey, he deserved it.
That's like when Crawford, when I heard Crawford Jamel was talking about offering Crawford a shot at undisputed at 154, 50-50 after he done with Castano. I was like, nigga, you sure? I was like, your first fight after Castano, are you sure about that? Like, right. you better focus on Castano, nigga, because I don't give you good chances against Bud.
I don't either. But Garrett is tough, man.
Man, you see that though?
But he's another guy that can't get an opportunity though. He can't get an opportunity.
This sequence right here. He keeps his hands up.
And that's with big gloves on.
And then push that man off of him.
He's a good fighter, man.
That dude's gonna be a problem, man.
Hopefully this year. Hopefully Al Heyman and them will
Somebody says thoughts on Kid Galahad art, man. I know you like his ring walk music last time.
Oh God. I'm not gonna say Kid Galahad was garbage. Kid Galahad is a very talented boxer, but I know Kiko's gonna get that ass, bro. It's just the power differential. Kiko got too much power, too much experience with better fighters. That's all it is.
Man, that's a bad loss though, bro. It ain't like he lost to Kiki 10 years ago when Kiko was something. Gary Russell done spanked him, and he a gatekeeper.
He got robbed. He got robbed though against Zelfa Barrett. He got robbed.
All right, I give you that. But Kid Galahad got blew out by a journeyman.
Oh yeah, he got wasted. It was bad.
Yeah,
He got knocked smooth unconscious. Like it was fucked up.
right.
I watched that fight live. I was like, oh my god.
Right. Yeah, Keyshawn Davis. I want to see Keyshawn Davis. Mark
Oh
Casey
Lord, that's
talking about
another
it.
one.
Yes,
Man.
at 140. Oh
Keyshawn
man, it's
gonna be
about
a
to be
monster
it's
at
about to be
140. Oh my
deadly out
god.
there,
Oh
man.
my God.
It's about to be a smoker out there, man.
Man,
Can you
I wish
imagine
these
that?
dudes would jump up and weigh. I wish all of them would just meet each other at 147.
Hey,
All of
Oh
them.
my Jesus.
Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Haney.
oh yeah,
Boots.
Nah, bro.
I
A
want
lot of
all
they
them to just go to
they gonna end each
147.
other. They gonna fuck up each other's careers. They're gonna be hurting each other. There's gonna be a lot of broken ribs and broken orbitals and shit. Just niggas hitting too hard. Like hell no, they all need to keep away from each other
D-Hive, I don't
for a
know if
little
your
bit.
man gonna be up for that, man. I know
Wait, who?
you a Devin Haney guy, man. I don't know, man.
I'm a
Gary
boxing guy, but I
Russell,
like Devin Haney.
Keyshawn, I know you like Devin. I'm saying I don't know if he'll be able to handle those.
Would you
guys,
say he a
man.
shark in there compared to Devin?
He'll beat
Yes.
Keyshawn, but Gary
Yes.
Antoine Russell, I don't know.
Yes.
He'll beat Keyshawn. He'll beat Keyshawn.
Gary Russell. I think it's loaded up there for the younger guys. Gary Russell, Richardson, Keyshawn, all those guys talented, man. They talented, man. And then you got Boots, like I said, 47.
I feel like because he lacks power, it's gonna be tough for him.
Who?
Richardson.
Yeah, I think Richardson might be the weakest link. But guess what, though? He's an Olympian too. He can surprise.
Yeah, he can box, but I just put
He better.
Richardson in there with Keyshawn.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm just saying,
I
like, come on,
don't know
man.
about all that. That's a little early. That's kind of like when they
What's that
put.
now?
Huh?
He said put Hitchens in there with Keyshawn. I'm like, that's kind of like when they put Malik Hawkins in there with fucking Subra Matias. Like, I'm like, bro, who'd you piss off?
Keyshawn ready for that?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
Yeah.
Hitchens, that's fucked up for Hitchens. That's a bad situation.
And Hitchison want to step up like that because he a little frustrated with Mayweather Promotions, man, because you know he's saying basically they acting like they only got one fighter.
Well,
Which is Tank Davis.
You know how they are with that shit. But Keyshawn, I mean Hitchens better calm down, son.
Steven Espinoza said 2022, this year gonna be Gary Russell breakout year.
Let's have
At the 141.
Oh, okay, well, it better be. Let's see it. Make some fucking
I'm
fights.
ready.
Shit.
I'm ready.
Get Gary Antoine versus Subra Matias. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, do it in DC.
Yeah, he'll wax that ass too.
I like his ring wear too.
Him and his brothers, man, they deep
like
into
that
the
shit.
black garments now. You know what I'm saying? They represent black folks to the fullest.
I feel like this year they're gonna do it right with the Juneteenth card.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, you should link with them, man.
They should,
all
they should
them
do
brothers.
They should do a Juneteenth card with all the Gary Russell brothers on it.
Oof. Shit.
I agree.
What opponents they gonna fucking get for them?
Anybody.
Hey, I would
It don't matter.
love to see an all DMV. Gary against Tank.
Woo!
Oh hell,
Man, people don't want that fight. I want that shit.
Gary
Let's
ain't
do
gonna.
it.
I don't think Gary
Gary
wants
said
all of that.
he said I want that fight so motherfucking bad.
But why not give it to him, man?
Because they feel. I honestly believe that Leonard Ellaby know that even though that there's a high potential that Tank can blast him, there is a high chance that this guy can outbox him.
Yeah, you can get your ears boxed off. I don't think Ellaby and them want to let Tank off the. I don't think they want to cut him loose like that.
But here's the thing: if he lose, what does it matter? Like, let's be honest.
Then he got
Floyd
an L and he's
Mayweather
not
career,
like
man.
his success. What they call that guy?
His predecessor.
Yeah, predecessor. Yeah.
Floyd took a lot of tough. And early in his career, he took so-called 50-50 fight. The Chico Corrales fight was considered a 50-50 fight. And guess what? They was 23 and 22 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tank is what, 26, 27?
27.
Man, Tank Davis is ready to fight. I mean, like, come on, man.
That's what I've been saying. They keep talking about building
a baseball pitcher. Fight the guy. fight him.
Yeah, they
Bro,
keep
they
talking
talking
about
about
they keep
Tank
talking
is
about we
not no
building.
fucking baby, bro. Me and this nigga the same
Yeah,
age,
Yeah,
man.
he
Shit.
he's
ain't
in
no
his
baby.
prime. Like
Yeah,
he's in
he's
his
in his
prime.
absolute prime,
They
and
keep talking
Gary is
about
on the end of his prime.
yeah, they keep talking about we building Tank, we building Tank. I'm like, bro, you gonna build him and then the fight's gonna marinate, then gonna get soggy. Unleash him. You need to unleash
Yeah,
Tank and let him beat all these motherfuckers, man.
yeah, exactly. And not just no Ryan Garcia, man. Why?
And
This
that's
is
what
the
they're trying to
thing,
capitalize. They trying to capitalize off that shit because they
man. Let
know
me tell
Tank
you
is gonna
something,
easily
Art.
knock his ass out and it's gonna do a lot of success when it
But
comes to TikTok and all that
They
bullshit.
need to
but
get
Art,
Tank on Lomachenko early so we can answer that question. They need to hurry up, set up a Lomachenko fight, pay that fucking Ukrainian motherfucker whatever he wants so he can get knocked out so we can answer that question.
but see, that's the thing. I think that that Lomachenko really don't want that fight either. You know what I'm
Hell no, he
saying?
don't want that fight. He's talking
So
shit. He know he'll get fucking
he
slept.
need to fight somebody that will definitely fight him like Gary Russell. But the thing that
Or
I hate,
Haney.
or Devin Haney, what I hate, man, is that these guys don't give the black guy the payday. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I mean, like Mike Tyson said, Mike Tyson fought plenty of black fighters. That these black fighters got to come together and make a pact and agree to fight one another. Because
No.
sometimes you gotta go against the promoter. I mean, man, like
No.
I would
Mayweather
rather.
want Tank to cross over though. Tank needs to cross over and be diverse.
But let
They're
me
never
ask
gonna
you.
fucking like
Let me
him.
ask you this question though, and you're right. I heard him say that.
Yeah, it's
What more
bullshit.
crossing over can you get if you knock out Gary Russell?
Right.
Like there'll be no more questions. All those people that are talking about the pay-per-view buys and this and that, they will have nothing to say if he knock out Gary Russell.
The thing is, though, the people that they're trying to get him to cross over to, I don't know if Mayweather understands, but I'm like, they're never gonna like him, bro. All the things that Mayweather experienced coming up as a boxer, unfortunately, despite us going into the future, they've all gotten worse. People's prejudices and tribalism, it's all gotten worse. They're not gonna like Tank no matter who he fights, no matter what he does. So you might as well get in there with some certifieds and have him smoking these motherfuckers because it's time. It's time.
Right.
You can try to cross over all you want, but they're never gonna like him no matter who he fights. He could
Never
fucking
gonna like
fold.
you.
He could fold Ryan Garcia, Lomachenko, Tiafimo, El Rayo, and anybody else you want him to fight in that order, and they would still be talking about he ain't shit. He waited too long. So just let's get it on, man. Let's get it over with and make some good ass fights.
Absolutely. And look, Brandon Lee will get stopped.
Oh hell yeah! Come on.
He'll
Hell
get beat
yeah.
up. He'll get beat up. You know what I'm saying? Whoever has
One uppercut, he out of there.
Yep. Different level.
He too fast for him. What's
That's
his name?
who.
Brandon
That's who
Lee?
Gary Antoine Russell should be fighting this year. Brandon Lee.
But that's
test
who
him
they
out.
asked about Gary Antoine and Brandon Lee. But again, Brandon Lee ain't gonna take that fight. Brandon Lee would probably take the fight, but I don't think that Cameron Duncan would allow him to take that fight. You know what I mean?
He'll get beat the fuck up.
Yeah,
He'll get beat up.
I don't think Cameron Duncan will allow that one.
That boy got like 21 fights. It's time. It's time.
I agree
Yeah,
again.
put them dudes in
Yo,
there.
pussy
I'm
ass
tired of
in
that
there.
shit.
I don't know what these guys are worried so much about a loss for. I agree, man.
Not to mention Brandon Lee is what, Mexican and Korean? You ain't finna do no numbers, nigga. Don't either side want to claim you 100%. Get the fuck out of here and go ahead and take that L. You
Right,
ain't getting ready to do no motherfucking numbers. Hurry up.
right. Just throw him in.
Yeah, somebody got to sacrifice. Like, fuck, motherfuckers need sacrifices, okay? Antoine Russell need a sacrifice, and Boots needs some sacrifices. So hurry up, get in line, get your paper, because you're not really about to have a massive fucking fan base and do no real numbers anyway. And get this shit over with, so you can start fighting some other people. Shit.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, I just don't see it.
And not to mention, if you get a lucky punch off and win, the upside is ridiculous.
Yep.
Like, it's crazy. If you're the first one to knock out Gary Antoine Russell, even if it's by accident, oh my God, the career-long upside.
I agree.
But you know what it is? I be feeling like these guys want to capitalize with the career. They don't want to take a L. They want to go all the way in there, hopefully land a fight where they can get, a good $20-30 million without
Not gonna happen.
Yeah,
They
and
dumb.
that's the
They
thing. They feel
dumb.
like they could just jump and get that fight. I don't understand it with these young dudes. They feel like they could just jump and get a $30 million fight without really fighting the no names and or fighting the tough top contenders.
I
because
think it.
they, yeah,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead. No,
No,
no.
go
After
ahead.
you. After you. After you. Go.
I think that these guys got to look at what they think or perceive was the. You got to understand, Art. A lot of these guys we're talking about are young guys, or like your age and younger. So they really didn't get a chance to see 1998 like that. You get what I'm saying? Like 1998, they were babies. So they didn't get a chance to see the real true Floyd Mayweather career. So they got a tail end of it. And they just, perceive that this is the way to go, that you do this. But see, the one thing they didn't see is that Mayweather did all this, but he beat some of the guys that people are considering like greats today. He beat Canelo. You know what I'm saying? He went
Mhm.
through a whole list and line of guys that were considered top contenders. See, what they missing is they thinking that he was cherry picking. No, he was great like that. So he could cherry pick champions. But until he got to that point, he had to fight. Even Canelo, not the biggest Canelo guy, but Canelo fought Laura when he didn't really have to. He fought
He learned his lesson from that
Trout.
shit.
Right. He
Mhm.
fought Mayweather. He fought James Kirkland. Now, he did skip some guys and duck them, Boo Boo and those guys. But I'm like, come on, man. Fight somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like they always talk about Leonard and Hearns. Well, them guys were in their early 20s when they fought. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. So when your recovery is at its highest and you could take the most risk, because when you get older, you can't afford to be getting your ass whooped like that.
No,
I mean,
you're gonna
shit.
get shot. Right.
Look at what happened to Jaron McClellan when he fought Nigel Benn. That shit was horrible.
Right.
He broke him off terrible. That man is still not right.
Right. Even though that fight should have got stopped and he would have won in like the second or third round when he knocked him through the ropes.
Right. Like fucking Jaron McClellan, I think knocked
Yeah.
Julian Jackson out smooth early twice. And then
Yep. Once
yeah,
with a
and
body
then
shot.
exactly. And then you over here fucking with Nigel Benn. But yeah, no, man, I definitely agree. It's a lot of bullshit. And I was gonna say, I know I'm gonna sound like a hater, but I think they see all that from people like from people like Canelo, to be honest, because they see all the people Canelo's fighting getting paydays, and they know they haven't really put in an ounce of work aside from maybe getting the title, and sometimes not even that. They're figuring like, shit, maybe that could be me if I just get enough hype on my name, like some of the dazzling prospects, and I'm getting some of that PBC pay per view money. I might be able to shine and get my foot in the door and make a bunch of bread without really doing shit. And they think that they could be switching and moving around financially speaking like Tank, and it's like, no, Tank's got an entire machine around him. He's got a whole bunch of experience solely dedicated to the development of his career, and he solidified a fan base. If y'all niggas ain't fighting, y'all need to be solidifying a fan base, which is why Andre's in his predicament right now. He has no public advocacy. Because he doesn't speak out in any particular way. He's been pretty silent up until now, and he's almost out of his fucking prime. And now they're trying to stick Janet back on him. We talking about moving up and weight to fight God knows who. It's like, so if y'all kids ain't trying to really get smoke with one another, like the prospects on Dazzin, y'all need to be working a fan base and trying to move your career in a strategic way. If that's the way you want to go, or else you're just gonna fall by the wayside as the thing that never was.
Yeah, and I think that's what's gonna end up happening, man. A lot of these guys gonna just fall by the wayside because even with Boo Boo, we want him or wish that he could get them fights, but to be honest, man, he's out of the question. Like he's really not even a part of the conversation. We just bringing him up really just to talk about him because I don't see nobody gonna fight him. He went to Eddie Hearn, and to be honest, as much as I wish them guys would have fought him, man, I can't do nothing but blame him for it. Because no one told him to sign with Eddie Hearn. But see, that's what happened with Tevin Farmer when he promoted with him and Lou DiBella co-promoted with Eddie Hearn. They thought when they was getting them easy paydays that they would last forever, man. And they were just so concerned about getting paid. And, I like the guy, but all he talk about, I'm talking about Tevin Farmer, This
Right.
farmer get up there, man, and he's talking about how he's giving people money and he's about life after boxing and this and that, and all that sound good, but I don't care about that because I just want to see fights. I don't care if you got a trucking company and what, I'm just being honest, man. And that guy never fought anybody, lost to JoJo Diaz, and now he been on the shelf for 2 years.
Yeah,
And
he's always crying about a damn tank fight. And it's like, number one, you're probably not gonna get the tank fight because
Right.
you're probably asking for too much money. Like no one's gonna give Tevin Farmer $5 million or whatever. And number two,
you might
you
not
know,
get 500,000.
exactly. And number two, you know that's gonna be the last fight of your career because Tevin, what the fuck are you gonna do besides get your ass whooped? You're gonna get broke off horrible, and you want to be compensated for it. And I understand that, but like nobody gives a shit, Tevin. Like I like Tevin Farmer. Don't get me wrong, very entertaining to watch and a very talented boxer. But people like they keep drawing Pernell Whitaker comparisons, and it's like no, they're not the same fucking person. Like stop, cut it out.
Hey, you should ask whenever you hear somebody say that, and I'm being honest. You should ask them how many Pernell Whitaker fights did they see?
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I already seen a handful of Pernell Whitaker fights in the past couple months, and I'm gonna tell you right now, nigga, hell no.
Thank you.
Right.
That's why people early, like, come on, y'all know damn well what I'm saying is true. People kept saying that Tank was Doug and Tevin Farmer, and they kept drawing Pernell Whitaker comparisons, and it's like, no, Tevin don't get his ass whooped. He'll get fucking stopped. Man can't even punch and gets tagged a lot.
I do remember in the early days when the fight was first being talked about, I was thinking like, oh yeah, Tevin Farmer do got some good ass defense.
Yeah.
Then I was just like, nah, Tank can still fuck around and pop his ass.
Exactly, because Tank has good defense and Tevin Farmer can't punch. Leo Santa Cruz probably got more pop than fucking Tevin Farmer.
Tevin Farmer got shot in his hand, bro.
He couldn't punch before that.
Even if he got shot in the hand, that just makes my point.
No, he got shot in his hand. He got shot in his hand like he was already champion at that point. I think it had something to do with his wife, not his wife, his girl, his sister boyfriend shot him in the hand. Something like that.
The fuck?
Well, like I said, even if the shot in the hand affected his punching power, that just suits my point.
Niggas gonna put it on his ass.
That just suits my point. He really can't punch then. Then he literally can't punch due to a medical issue. So you can't be with Tank if you can't punch.
My dude, not trying to put black folks against each other. I'm speaking my truth. I'm gonna keep it 100. I feel that 100% because, like I always say, man, these people look at this shit as a team sport. So sometimes I feel like we should look at it as a team sport, but the real boxing fan in us just wants to see the best versus the best.
Right.
Well, it's hard because I agree. I think that all the black champions or black people in, the major black stars and divisions should make an agreement to smoke everybody else and save each other for last, but they've adjusted the politics to prevent that. Nowadays, black people can't even get into title contention without some bullshit popping up. Oh, all of a sudden the rankings are adjusted. Or all of a sudden the franchise witness protection championship and shit.
I said it back then. The sanctioning bodies, they'll try to hide a guy from, black fighter for fighting the champion, but they can only do it for so long, so they just, eventually let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then they see what happened, and the black guy wins, and he goes on to have a great career. These days, they just like, you know what? We're just going to completely not even give you the opportunity. Fuck it.
Yep.
That's how we're going to do it. And then we're going to say the guy who's getting these opportunities, we're going to say he's the best in the whole entire world.
Or if you have a belt, you just can't unify shit. You got to sit there and fight a bunch of mandatories until we find somebody from Russia to take your ass out.
Yep, juiced up from Russia when we ready.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're trying to do with this Janabek. I wouldn't be surprised they let that motherfucker come in on some all types of shit.
And try to beat Janabek ass. I don't understand how Janabek got any hype. Like, again, I can't stand when people hype someone off of who they could potentially beat. Janabek hasn't showed any fucking separation.
Has he beat anybody black?
He beat Rob Brandt. No, he beat Rob. He beat Rob Brandt and Hassan Endam.
Oh man, that's 50 years old.
Thank you. He's shown no fucking separation. People like, oh, Andre running from Janabek. The
reason why I ask is because that's how fans kind of gauge, that oh, he beat a black guy before, so he can beat this guy now. He the Negro Slayer, like they do with Benavidez.
Yeah, bro. Just like they do with fucking Stanionis off of Deloach. It's like, bro, Deloach is not no fucking Bud, and he's not no fucking
I ain't
Spence. Like,
gonna
it's
lie, I ain't know too much
Deloach.
about Deloach, but just seeing the black dude get their ass kicked by that, I was like, oh shit.
Man, Deloach already had like 4 L's coming in there, and he's one of those dudes that started boxing real late, barely any amateur credentials, maybe like
Well,
a
he just
Golden
picked up that
Gloves
Philly shell
finalist.
last week before he fought, huh?
Exactly, bro. He was in. I think he got beat up by Nate Gallimore at one point, who also started boxing at 23. So it's just like you got to just do a little bit of research. But Janabek has shown no fucking separation. It's just like Benavidez, how he got his hype. Oh, maybe he could be Canelo, just like Zerto. Oh, maybe Zerto could be Canelo. They hyped off nothing. They've done nothing. They beat nobody, and all of a sudden, and then what's crazy is that people are saying that Andrade is ducking Benavidez by staying at 160. Now they're saying if you move up to 168, he's ducking Janabek. Janabek wasn't even number one for the WBO. That's how much confidence Top Rank had. Top Rank just wants to try to get that belt back in Top Rank hands, and Janabek fights on Top Rank.
Hey, my dude, he who grits with fire gonna come for your neck, D-Hive. Don't be disrespecting the Philadelphia native, Tevin Farmer.
And he who greets, I apologize if I sounded disrespectful, but the Pernell Whitaker comparisons were a lot, bro. They were doing too much. You and he who greets with fire. You know what I'm saying is true. When that fight was first talked about, and people started saying that Mayweather Promotions and tanking them was ducking Tevin Farmer, you know that's the first name they brought up for comparison, bro. You know that's the first name they brought up for comparison was Pernell Whitaker, and it's a little ridiculous. Tevin Farmer is incredibly talented to accomplish what he has with as few knockouts as he has. I admit it. He's a world champion, and Tevin Farmer only had like 20 amateur fights too. So he just went in there, just balls out, guns blazing, and I applaud it. But the Pernell Whitaker, come on, man, come on, bro. Like, no, man, I can't let that shit slide, man. I can't.
Yeah, that's funny, man. I don't know where the Pernell Whitaker came at, because if Pernell had fought JoJo Diaz and all these guys, Pedraza, because Pedraza stopped him. Pernell Whitaker would have been 35-0 or whatever his record, 30-5 or something like that. He would have been 35-0. But on the what's the name? Looking up his stats. But I will say this though. Sorry, guy, I was talking to somebody because I was looking up Tevin Farmer, how many fights he got, and he got 6 knockouts and 30 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw. And that draw was the no contest to the Asian guy. Nah, man.
Oh, right.
I think Tevin Farmer probably should just go ahead and try to cash out because he already 31, and like you say, he can't punch. So that's not going to be good going down the stretch of his career when he already has become stationary. He might need to see if he could cash out against somebody. I'm pretty sure Top Rank could throw him in there with Shakur or somebody, you know what I'm saying? And he can get a good payday and call it a day and go back to the trucking business that he got, because he said he got a real good trucking business, and and I want to see my brothers win, man. And
him and Peter Quinlan doing that together, I heard, and they getting bread.
And I like Kid Chocolate, man. He married a girl from NBC, as a matter of fact. But as far as his career too, it gonna come to an end no matter who you are. So, I mean,
the way Kid Chocolate went out.
But I got a question though, man. How we get on a 15-minute talk about Tevin Farmer?
I don't know. So, somebody we was talking about Tank and brought up Tev.
Okay. Hey, we got on it so long, I had forgot. How did we get on it, man?
Yeah, I don't know how we got into Tevin Farmer, but I
would like to talk about the Frank Martin. The one thing that you had asked Art Man about Frank and Earl Spence.
Yeah, people. Okay, so
shit.
I posted a picture of Frank Martin with Earl Spence leaving the gym, and people said, was this the guy who, injured Errol Spence's eye? because we seen the guy got some crazy power, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah, I don't think that they were
I did post
sparring.
it. I posted, but then the Earl Spence fan was like, "Art, man, this ain't the move, man." And I'm like, you see, I don't like that shit because they make it seem like you can't. If you say anything, they make it seem like you going against the
The
grain.
grain, yeah. Yeah, I don't think that he did it, but I'll say this. Sometimes to get a detached retina or a torn retina like he had, I mean, it could be a headbutt. I mean, it doesn't have to be a guy was beating you up because trust me, man, these guys are not gonna bring no guy into their camp in a big fight like a Manny Pacquiao fight. I don't care if it is Frank Martin. And Frank Martin beating up on Earl Spence in there like that, they're gonna stop Frank Martin from sparring with him. Because
they're not gonna put him in there with that.
Yeah, and then it's
Do
like
you
a
think he would
four-way.
spar Errol Spence though?
I think that he would spar
difference?
Earl Spence if it was a situation where Earl needed to see speed. But they're not going to be in there trying.
I feel like you just answered it right there.
Yeah,
a situation where he needed speed, huh?
Right, but here's
Manny Pacquiao.
But here's the thing: it could have been, but you got to understand too. What if Earl had started beating up on Frank Martin? Like you can't really, you know what I'm saying? When those guys are sparring from the few times I've been in a gym watching some guys spar, the majority of the time they going 25 or 30%. And like I was saying to the guy that was talking earlier about Brian Norman, what he did to Bud Crawford. If you got one fighter going 20% and another fighter going 100%, can you really brag about that guy getting off on the other fighter? Because I just gave an example of how Kid Diamond broke Floyd ribs. Do you think Floyd was going 100% that day in sparring?
And also, like even if these people are going 100%, people get off decent punches in the middle of the action. Sometimes when fight, because a lot of time in sparring, a lot of fighters do a lot of experimenting and they try different moves they wouldn't try in a prize fight. And what happens if they're trying to try a move that they haven't done or they're not used to doing? You catch them. Like it should be happening.
What's up, Check?
What's going on, Jules? What's up, fellas? Hey, happy birthday, champ. What's going on, D-High?
How's it going?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Let's see.
Yeah, man. You got here
I
right
see
in
y'all
time,
talking about the wow, what's up?
No, we was gonna talk about Frank Martin. And I want to see Frank Martin against Devin Haney.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, he's the truth. He's the truth. If you that post
Man, that's gonna be tough. But I don't want to see that, man.
It was Lomachenko was saying. Yeah, Lomachenko saying nobody wants to sign a contract to fight him. So I sent out like, hey, okay,
that bullshit.
Devin Haney or Frank Martin, go ahead and take this. 15 or 16-2, 11 KO artificially anointed guy out of his misery.
He's literally Devin Haney's mandatory right now. I'm like, what you talking about? No contract. Call the WBC since you got so much power over there. Tell them to mandate you. You can get a fight immediately. What's the bullshit? What's up with the bullshit?
Right.
Yeah. You're number one for everybody right now. Make some phone calls.
That's right.
Listen, he said he don't want to fight Shakur. Look, he said he don't want to fight Shakur, right? So Shakur is willing to go up to 135 to fight him. He don't want to fight him. But it's okay if Navarrete come up to 130 to fight Valdez. But you know what I mean? It is okay if what's the little guy? What's the little guy he fought from Cuba? Rigo. It's okay if Rigo come up to fight him. From 18. Yeah, it's okay if Rigo come up to fight him. Yeah. So, but you want to turn down Shakur. That tells me you're complaining about people not signing to fight you, but you're turning down the people who want to fight you.
Shakur is a guaranteed fucking L. I don't know. Lomachenko might fuck around and get stopped by Shakur, to be quite honest. That's like that's
would be an embarrassment.
That's a guaranteed L.
Yeah, Shakur
I heard he already embarrassed him in sparring. He was getting way too much work off on Lomachenko. They had to kick that nigga out.
Nails said that.
Yeah, that said that.
Yeah, they're like, we can't bring this motherfucker back here. You're not gonna be ready for the damn fight. You're gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah. Hey man,
Uh,
I know Art don't want to see the Frank Martin and Devin, but I'm gonna tell you the only reason that I would want to see those two guys in this particular situation is because so many guys turn down a situation or opportunity to fight Devin. And Devin needs, to me, he needs a big fight. Like, I don't, and it's not his fault, but I don't want to see another gimme fight for him. He already fighting over there at the zone, and ain't no competition there. I mean, they manufactured JoJo Diaz for him. I don't want to see him fight another JoJo Diaz. I don't want to see him fight Jono Canal. I don't want to see him fight
Maxie Hughes.
Yeah, Maxi Pad. I don't want to see it, man. I want to see him fight somebody that's gonna try to win. And
I definitely want to see the Frank Martin fight.
What I find interesting is Frank Martin did call Devin out after his fight, and I have yet to see, because Devin has been searching for big fights and people running, people were ducking, and then Frank Martin stepped up to the plate. Make it happen. And I have not been, I don't know if you guys can let me know, but I have not seen a response from Devin.
I haven't
either. Seen a response at all?
I haven't.
No, Devin hasn't responded. I definitely want to see that fight because I don't know if
I no boxer.
I don't know if his team, I don't know if Devin Haney's team is still bullshitting around with Kambosos, but that shit ain't gonna happen. You're not getting Kambosos, you're not getting Tank, you're not getting Lomachenko, so you might as well get some work in. Not to mention you need the experience with a pressure fighting puncher anyway, so you might as well go ahead and get that in.
I couldn't be a boxer because I'll be too honest. I'll tell Frank Martin straight up, like, bro, it's a good fight, but man, you ain't bringing no money to the table right now. You see, I'm trying to fight this George Kambosos for something. What am I gaining out of fighting him?
Yeah, okay. He's not getting the Kambosos fight, so he might as well go ahead and hang that bullshit up.
If he ain't getting the Kambosos fight, then move up.
Well,
Josh Taylor, when Josh Taylor vacates, I agree. As soon as Josh Taylor vacates, move up, and then when they position Montana Love for that vacant, you go ahead and fight Montana Love afterwards.
Hey, he'll beat Montana
what do you guys
Love.
think about that though? Wait,
what?
So what do you guys think about it? Like, again, the fact that I'm kind of perplexed that Devin has not even uttered a word in Frank Martin's direction. It will be a great fight. Now the thing is, Devin all been chasing. He finally got a guy says he called you out on national TV, and I haven't heard a word. Are you guys? I'm just.
What is he gaining?
I will say
I don't really care because Boots did the same thing with Bud, and Bud didn't respond to Boots.
You beat Frank Martin. Who Frank Martin beat? Duno? Ryan Garcia beat Duno already.
Oh, okay. Can I say something though, Art, man? And I appreciate, man, that you being honest, you keeping it 100, and that's what I'm gonna do. Bro, I think 100% you take fights like this because it ain't all about the payday in certain situations. Because if he doesn't fight Kambosos and he stays at lightweight, he 100% gonna fight some European guy, or he's gonna fight a Mexican fighter that probably is going to be a low-level fighter. Or he going to get like, who was the other guy that he beat up? The Venezuelan guy.
Linares.
So I would rather see him give a chance to an opportunity like that. Like, again, Art, I know I'll be talking about old school stuff, but I have to agree, man, that I've seen Floyd fight guys that no one thought he should have fought because he gained nothing from it like that. I've seen Felix Trinidad fight Oba Carr. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might even say, who is Oba Carr? Yeah, Oba Carr was a number one contender out of Detroit that was undefeated. So, you fight guys like that. Costa Zoo gained nothing from fighting Vince Phillips, and he got beat because things happen. And let me say this. That never affected Costa Zoo's career because he took that fight with Vince Phillips. You know what I'm saying? Vince Phillips was in the same situation as a Frank Martin. He was a tough guy that could fight. He had a good amateur career, and he got no opportunities. Costa Zoo gave him a shot. Why Frank Martin can't get a title shot? Why wouldn't Devin Haney give him one?
Right, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
And only thing I was gonna say was is that as far as the call out situation, I'm not too concerned about that because that happens all the time. And like I said, Boots was calling out Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford didn't respond. Thurman's still talking this shit about Spence, and Spence is busy doing other stuff. So I'm not too concerned about that. But I agree, Julius, that he should definitely make the fight happen because he ain't getting shit else this year. I can already see that. And also because if you get the W, it's going to be a win that ages like fine wine because Frank Martin going to do some damage. Not to mention Devin Haney needs that experience against a pressure fighting puncher.
Okay, but all right, man, you saying he gains nothing, but again,
You know what? I get what you said. Trust me, I understand what you're saying. This is if he decides to stay at lightweight if he doesn't get the George Kambosos fight.
I don't suppose. Right. So obviously he's going for the George. If he doesn't get the George Kambosos, that's fine. You know what I mean? Obviously he knows. I mean that will be the number one priority. Nobody questions that. But if he doesn't get the George Kambosos fight, and Frank Martin's calling him out, Devin's been calling everybody out. There's not been a top name in 135 Devin hasn't called out, right? So when you say what does he gain? He gains a big fight. He gains the opportunity to be in a big fight where he really hasn't had anybody of that level. To me, he's a champion already. Like that's why I'm saying when you ask that question, what does he gain?
It's not going to be a big fight, but it's going to be a big win in the future because, like I said, Frank Martin is going to do damage. Because Frank Martin isn't a big name, even though he's a top fighter. He's not a big name yet, so it's not gonna be a massive fight, but it's definitely gonna be a good fight that he should take.
But I definitely listen. I just saw that Frank Martin. That was my first time ever seeing Frank Martin fight, and I already made him put him in the top 3. Of 135, even top 2. But my thing is, you saying it won't be a big fight because notoriety, nobody knows him. That's true, nobody knows him. But what I'm saying, big fight as far as competitive wise, big fight versus.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be hard as fuck.
Competitive fight, whereas it's not going to be you expected to beat this fight. You know what I mean?
Oh hell no, it's definitely a 50-50 right now. Frank Martin could easily whoop Devin Haney's ass, easily. But
you don't even say that about Tank.
No. And what are you talking about? I do say that. I say that if Tank lands on Haney will fold. I said that multiple times. I just don't think he's going to get the opportunity. And I think Haney will be Frank Martin. But it's just that I think that it could easily go the other way. It's a 50-50. Just like I say,
Frank Martin versus Tank.
Tank will fold Frank Martin. Frank Martin. He'll run into something.
If y'all notice, Frank Martin called everybody out but Tank. If y'all notice, they gave the ass for his wish list. He did not call Tank name. Now the thing about it is, I don't know that would probably be Tank has. If I could see anybody beating Tank at 135, it would be Frank Martin. It
wouldn't be Frank Martin.
Well, I'm just giving you my opinion.
It wouldn't be Frank Martin.
No.
Did you see when Duno landed on him? No, Tank will kill Frank Martin.
I don't know about kill, but I will say this: Frank Martin got a style.
Frank Martin is the only one that I could see right now that I say, that's going to be a tough battle. I see Devin Haney giving Tank a tough battle, but I see Tank winning. I see Loma giving Tank a competitive, but I see Tank winning. Frank Martin, I think that will be the toughest. He's bigger, he's stronger than both Devin and Loma, and his back, you know what I mean? His defense is on point. His he has crisp, sharp punches. So everything I see about him is right to upset anybody at 135. But I
don't think he's bigger than Devin.
Well, what I'm saying, he's bigger, strong, muscular. As far as he looks bigger than Devin. If you look at their body frames, the body type, his arms are bigger than Devin. You know what I mean? Devin is about 5'9", but Frank Martin's look beefier. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say Frank this, Martin, man. Frank Martin to me fights a lot like a guy that was around in Mayweather era, Stevie Johnston. They very, very similar. And Stevie Johnston was a lightweight champion for a while. You know, his issue was outside the ring because he liked to drink. But Stevie, little bit bad, they used to call him. Stevie Johnston was a bad, matchup for a lot of guys. He was actually shorter than Frank, but the way that Frank can get in and out, he got a good jab, he got a good base, and he can go forward. And it's always tough fighting a southpaw that can box, man. I don't care who you are. And I don't believe that Tank will ever fight him because I don't think that would ever be a good matchup for Tank. I ain't saying Tank couldn't land something big, but I will say this. In order for Tank to win that fight, it's going to be a come-from-behind win. It'll be a come-from-behind knockout, but it will end up being one of the biggest wins of his career because he would actually be facing somebody that's a bigger version of Gary Russell. Ooh. I didn't say a better version of Gary Russell, a bigger version of Gary Russell. Damn. So, hey, man, Frank Martin is the truth, man. He's the truth. But you got to get out.
I think Frank Martin, to me, I look at him and I look at Boots, I see almost the same person. Their styles, their flexibility. I see Frank Martin as like the 135 Boots Ennis. And I think that guy is going to be great. I see Frank Martin based on this is my only seen him fight one time. You know what I mean? The only feeling the feeling I got when I first saw Tank fight in his 8th fight, I saw Gary Antoine Russell fight for in his first fight. I saw Boots Ennis. This is the same feeling I got about Frank Martin. That guy's special, brother.
Well, you got to watch a few more of Frank's fights. I'm not saying that he's a bad fighter by any means. I don't think he's like a Boots level because I think that their styles are a little bit different and the assets that Frank Martin brings to the table are a little bit different. But like I said, it wouldn't be a big fight, but it would definitely be a high risk fight and there'd be some experience that Devin Haney needs. And like I said, he's not getting shit else. He really not. He's not gonna I know they're in talks and people talking about negotiation. You're not fighting Lomachenko. You're not fighting Kambosos. You're not fighting Tank. You're not fighting Ryan Garcia. So go ahead and make this fucking fight. Like I said, it'll be very hard. You'll probably get touched up a decent amount, but I think he can pull it off. So he might as well.
So again, for me, the fact that Devin's silent and has not even responded, I don't know. It is a cause for pause for me because Devin calls out everybody. And he has not uttered one word to Frank Martin. And Frank Martin not only called him out on that fight, but he's called him out subsequently in several interviews.
Oh, so now you're articulating that Haney is ducking Frank Martin now.
What I'm articulating is that I haven't heard Devin mention anything about the call out. That's what I'm articulating.
Okay, well, Lomachenko's calling Tank's name, and Tank isn't doing anything. Haney was calling Tank's name, and Tank wasn't doing anything with that. So a bunch of people have been calling Tank's name, and Tank hasn't been saying anything. He says he'll put out a few tweets and then say, "I'm fighting Rolly."
There's a difference between Tank and Devin. Devin has called out every single body. Devin wants the big fight. He's pleading for big fights. Eddie Hearn's pleading with the big fight. We want to see Devin in those big fights because we want him to get the accolades that he deserves, right? So
he's not going to get those big fights either.
So you're sellout. That's who's not going to get the big fights.
Devin Haney, he's not getting those big fucking fights. I already know that.
Okay, so this is more reason for him to fight Frank Martin. If Devin comes out and say, you know what, Frank Martin is that good, I'm gonna wait down the road, whatever the case may be, because I think that's going to be a big fight. I want him to build, just get a couple more fights so people tune in and see this incredible matchup. I can say, okay, I see where you're going with that. Not a problem. Not a problem.
I think Devin Haney should fight Frank Martin. I think he should, but I don't think it's a big fight. It's not a big fight, but he should still take it.
It'll be the most competitive fight he's ever had, and it'll be a fight that I would actually pick him to lose.
Yeah, I know you would. That's why you really want to see the fight, and I think he should take it because I pick him to win. But
Dude, did you just hear what I said? I just said if Devin Haney says, you know what, let him get a couple of under his belts and then I'll fight him. I said I'll be okay with that. So I didn't say that I really want to see him fight Frank Martin. You know what I mean? But I want to see competitive fights. But if Devin is crying for competitive fights and begging for competitive fights for big names, whatever the case may be, guess what? This is a guy who's willing to step up. Who else is he going to fight?
Frank, he's begging for the big names for the sake of titles. Frank Martin is not a big name, but again, I think he should.
Didn't have a title.
I think both bigger names than Frank Martin. They've had championship credentials. Frank Martin hasn't accomplished anything yet.
Frank Martin hasn't accomplished nothing, but we can clearly see that neither one of them have the skill level of a Frank Martin.
Well, again, you're basing that off of the eye test, and a lot of people did that with previous fights, and that's why it's called upsets, because that doesn't always work. I do agree that Frank Martin beats both of those motherfuckers, but still, like I said, I think he should take the fight. He should definitely take the fight. And if he says some shit like get a title first, that smells more like a duck than just not saying anything in general. Because like I said,
no, I didn't say get a title first. I said, hey, you know what I mean? People, he just came on the scene. Let him get it 1 or 2 more fights. Maybe we can do it at the end of the year, early to 2023, because he wants to maximize the potential of that fantastic fight. Okay. I don't call that a duck. I see that as business.
I think Haney should fight him this year or just move up to 140. I think he should fight him early because Frank Martin hasn't had any experience with anybody like Devin Haney, and letting Frank get in 2 more fights or so puts Devin Haney at a disadvantage. So I think he should fight him. I think he should fight him off the top and not wait.
Well, and also too, checkmate. One thing that the only thing me and you be disagreeing about is when we start talking about them belts and building these fights. And it's not your fault, man. I think building fights are cool, but I would love for these guys, man, to just jump in the ring. And I keep saying, why do we have to build a fight by taking scrub fights? Like, for example, right now, if Devin Haney in his next fight fights Tevin Farmer, I almost called him Tevin Campbell. If he fight him, man, right? Like, I don't want to see that. Who wants to see that? He just fought JoJo Diaz. So I agree 100%. Frank Martin or someone along those lines, and I always stick to this that I say to Art Man all the time. Give a black fighter, if you're a black fighter, give the black fighter an opportunity. Forget about if you say you're not signed to Eddie Hearn, then what we need to do is put pressure on Bill Haney. If he truly doesn't have a contract with Eddie Hearn, then we need to put pressure on him to make the fights that we want to see. And I'm talking about if the top guys are not going to fight you. I don't care if your name is Errol Spence, Bud Crawford, whoever. Fight someone that's the biggest name you can get that will fight you. That's why I always say if Bud Crawford can't get a fight with nobody and he say everybody is ducking him, well, look, Jamel Charlo said he'll fight you. Fight him. I don't know what else to say about these guys talking, and then they get in the ring with a guy that's in the top 30. I don't understand that, man.
I agree.
When it comes to Frank Martin, that's the reason why I said like. And you just said you want to listen. You said you want to see it, but then you say I only want to see it because I think Frank Martin wins. I don't want to see it because I think Frank Martin wins. I think it'll be an excellent fight.
Yeah, I think Frank Martin might win that fight.
I think he'll win, but that's because this is what my eye test tells me. Everybody else sees something different. I don't watch fights because I think somebody's going to win. I'm only interested in this fight because I think this person's going to win. You know what I mean? I'm interested because obviously we all pick who we think is going to win. Oh, who you got? Who you place some money on? Whatever the case may be. That's just natural to do that. But I think Devin and Frank Martin will be a high level fight. Is there any other anybody else at 135 that he can fight? I'm not interested in seeing Tevin Farmer. I think that Mickey Bates talked about he's fighting Tevin Farmer next. So I don't know. Again, if Devin
Again,
wants
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with anyone that the fight should happen. All I'm saying was, you said, well, Devin said he wants big fights. Well, then he said he wants big neck. No, the situation is Devin Haney wants a chance of unification, which I know he's not getting. I know he's not getting that. Then he said he wants the biggest names possible. Now, I'll reiterate this because I understand what you're saying, that it's going to be a competitive fight, meaning that it's a 50-50 and Devin will probably struggle a lot. That's cool. That's great. That's fantastic. That's not a big fucking fight. The fact of the matter is Frank Martin has accomplished nothing in the sport, and he's a fantastic fighter. He can beat a lot of the top guys. I definitely think he'll fold Lomachenko. He'll fold Ryan Garcia. He'll whoop Linares and Jojo Diaz and all that cool stuff. I definitely do, and it's definitely a losable fight. It's definitely a losable fight for Haney, which is fantastic. That's perfectly fine. But the fact of the matter is, it's not a big fight. It's not a big fight at all. It's Devin Haney hold on. It's Devin Haney taking on a contender that is off of an eye test who I don't even think on the rankings is a top 10. Again, I think Devin Haney should definitely take the fight because he's not doing shit else this year, and that's going to be a high octane fight. But it's not a big fight. Frank Martin, is someone a lot of people are just discovering, and even you yourself, because I've watched more Frank Martin fights than you. Apparently,
I just told you I only watched one. That was my first Frank Martin fight I ever saw.
Exactly, you're just discovering him.
Okay, but off my eye test, based on skill, based on natural talent, what I've seen, would I rather see a Devin Haney? Do I think it'd be a more competitive fight than Linares and JoJo? Absolutely. So what you're saying is big fight. I don't know. You're saying big money wise, whatever the case may be. I'm not looking. I'm talking about big fight basis, a competitive fight. I'm not talking about it's going to do X amount of views, whatever the case may be, because most people probably don't know him. But either way, it's who else he's going to get. So I
would love for Haney to get a Tank fight, but Tank is probably going to fight Rolly. So
I'm not interested in that either.
Oh, why not? Why not? Why can't?
Why would I be interested in fighting Rolly? I wasn't interested in Tank fighting Rolly when it first came up.
I'm talking about Tank and Haney. I would love for Tank to get a Haney fight. that'd be a challenging fight and financially massive for both of them.
Okay, well, I told you guys I want to see. This is the reason why I wanted to see Tank fight Kambosos, because I want to see Tank versus Haney for undisputed.
Oh, right, yeah. Let Tank fold Kambosos.
It has fold Kambosos. It has nothing to do with Kambosos. It has everything to do with me seeing these two incredible fighters, Devin Haney and Tank Davis, on the biggest stage for undisputed. That's what it has to do for me.
Right. So Tank can go ahead and get when it comes to style matchups, Tank can go ahead and just fold that motherfucker for 3 belts, while Haney should have a super challenging fight with a non-top 10 contender, except they're top 3 according to an eye test. That same eye test that had Ortiz losing to fucking Charles Martin. All right, for sure.
That had Ortiz losing to Charles Martin. Did I say? Are you saying my eye test?
Yeah, that's basically.
Did I say Charles Martin? Charles Martin is a super bum. What are you kidding me? I didn't think he would give him a chance. I never said Ortiz would lose to Charles Martin.
You picked Martin.
No, I didn't, sir.
On the last stream,
I picked Martin.
I have never picked Frank Martin. I've never picked Charles Martin. I've never picked Charles Martin in anything, sir.
No, I know you did, Julius, but on the last one, I could have sworn you picked Martin to be Ortiz. Okay, well, I'll rewatch it. I'll rewatch it and correct myself if that's necessary.
Well,
but like I said, you want Tank to go ahead and fight Kambosos for 3 belts, and we know that fight's not happening. But Haney should fight Frank Martin.
Well, again, I gave you my reasonings. There's a method to my reasons. I don't know what your reasons are, but my reason is because it's a giant fight. Every time I talk about Tank in a challenging fight, you get mad and you're like, oh, I don't know what your reasoning is. Anytime anyone talks about Tank, it's crazy. Well, let me finish my statement and you can chime right in. I say I don't know what your reason is, but my reasoning is to see Tank versus Devin, these two incredible fighters on the biggest stage for undisputed. That's my reason. It has nothing to do with Kambosos. I don't care who held those belts. I just want Tank to be able to fight Devin Haney, both of them going clash to clash for undisputed. So that's my reasoning, period. I don't care who had the belts. Linares could have had the belts. Teo could have had the belts. Those guys don't matter. I want to get them out of the way. I want to see Tank versus Haney for undisputed. That's why I want it. Simple as that.
So why is it that Haney needs a competitive fight, but Tank should get belts first?
Haney's already a champion.
Right, exactly.
Tank is Haney's already a champion. Tank is not.
Right. So
Tank,
wouldn't the unification first make sense?
if I just said my biggest thing for me is to see Tank and Devin Haney for undisputed 135, that's Devin's already a champion. The only way Tank will be able to meet Devin Haney for that clash for undisputed is is if he get those belts from Cambosa. Just the same thing. What I say about Earl Spence and Crawford. I said I don't want to see that fight unless it's for undisputed, because I want to see the two biggest on the biggest stage. So if you whatever vision you have, that's your own personal views and opinions. Mine is I want to see these fights on the biggest stage possible, so they
Man,
can get the accolades that
Devin
they
Haney
deserve.
needs
Simple
that
as that.
undisputed match, or he needs to go up in weight. I don't want to see him struggle and fight Frank Martin at 135 for nothing.
I want to see both fight. I want to see him fight Frank Martin just so we can get that question answered, and I think it's good experience. But I know for a fact he's not getting Kambosos. But I also know for a fact that the Tank fight is a fight that could easily be made. But Leonard Ellaby already spoke his piece on it, so we know we're not getting that.
Yeah,
either.
that shit could be. I ain't gonna lie. Tank versus Devin Haney. There's literally no problem in making that fight.
There's nothing. There's literally nothing.
There's nothing
Zero.
holding that up.
Well,
Well,
there's
I
a lot
know-
of politics regarding
Yeah,
that.
it's
If
gonna
the
be some
fact that
politics,
Haney
but-
didn't sign with Mayweather. It's also the fact that Mickey Bay and all of that behind the scenes mess is another reason why they try to starve that side out of it. So
That's not a single.
there's-
Ellerby didn't bring that up at all. He just
Why would they bring that up?
He just
That's
used the
personal-
Canelo. He just used the Canelo excuse saying Haney doesn't sell anything and he'll ask
Yeah,
for too much money.
Well, I don't
That's
believe
all.
that. I don't believe that at all.
He said it on camera.
Yeah, but
I know what he said, but I don't believe it. I know
Oh, you don't believe
there's
it?
a lot of the behind the scenes things that going on that happened with Mickey Bay coming out of that camp and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And, so there's a lot of politics and then Bill Haney, so it's
Yeah,
I
tend to believe exactly what Checkmate's saying on that part. It's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And Leonard Ellaby, as much as I like Leonard actually is a cool guy, but Leonard doesn't have any say in anything. All he really doing is just pumping up. His job is to pump up Mayweather promotion and Al Heyman fighters. That's his main thing. When he be talking the negotiation talk, he just talking, man. He's not. I mean, he know more than us, but he's not also not negotiating too. You get what I'm saying?
The only issue I have with that is that we all take Leonard Ellerby at his word when he says that, quote unquote, we're still building Tank. But when all of a sudden he's talking about the reason why the Haney situation,
hold up now, D-Hive, I said to you earlier, you don't have to build someone that's 27 years old no more.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you, but all I'm saying is that the consensus is we all not us as hardcore fans, but just in general, we all take Leonard Ellaby at his word when he says the reason why Tank is fighting who the fuck he's fighting, whoever that may be, is because we're still building him and we have a model that we're sticking to. But however, when he says reasons why the Devin Haney fight can't happen, all of a sudden it's, well, Leonard Ellaby doesn't actually run anything and he doesn't really know what he's talking about. It's the same kind of situation with Bud. When he says Bob Arum is the reason why I can't get big fights, are we taking him at his word or are we not? Like, first it was, well, Haney wants this, too much money, da-da-da. Now it's, oh, well, the politics have gotten fucked up. And I'm like, so I'm just confused. Like, it's all over the place. People making up stuff. Like, do we take him at his word or do we not?
Well, again, I want to see both of them fights, man. And I was looking at the WBC rankings, and as of this month, man, let me say this. So they still got Ryan Garcia number 2, Lomachenko is number one, but we know he's not taking the fight, right?
Ryan,
And we got Javier Fortuna 3, Jojo Diaz, some crazy reason is 4. I don't know how Linares got 5. Comey is 6. Francisco Vargas, who almost got killed in a fight a couple years ago, is 7. Yvonne Mendy from France is about 40 years old. Nakatani is 9. The guy Abdulayev he knocked out is 10, and Luke Campbell is 11. Like, come on, man. I
Luke
don't
Campbell
want
retired. How did that happen?
well, they probably gonna remove him from the rankings. But man, I'm just saying, in my opinion, I gotta take the art man role on this. If this guy is not gonna get a unification with it, which it looked like he isn't, and he's not gonna take a Martin fight or any type of fight like that, it don't matter who it is, then the only option to me is that you can move up and take a non-title fight at 140 and not even, you know what I'm saying? As you wait and see.
Did you say those are the WBC rankings that you just read off?
Right.
Oh, okay, because I was trying to find them because that's weird. Are you on the WBC website or are you on something else? Because mine says something different.
Yeah, I see
rankings go like
WBC.
whoever promotions check clear faster.
Yeah, like it's fucked up over there.
yeah, I don't take much stock in those rankings. Again, Ryan and Raleigh, they shouldn't be in the top 5. They haven't done anything to even qualify, even as far as display of talent. To say, okay, well, I'm gonna rank this guy. No, it's I don't know. The rankings are ridiculous. We know they're all bought and paid for, and there's politics behind and stuff like that. But so Devin is going to be stuck out there, fighting someone that people aren't going to be excited to see, and they're going to be complaining. So that is my saying. Again, as far as Frank Martin raised his hand to put his hat in the ring, and all I said was I have taken notice that Devin Haney has not uttered a word or any type of response, and that's just uncharacteristic of Haney.
I mean, I wouldn't say shit either, nigga. I'm trying to get this Kambosos fight.
Right.
It's not happening. Who said it's not a done deal yet? I haven't seen no.
They're going to duck, and you know it. They're going to Kambosos and them going to duck, and then Bob Arum is going to mandate Lomachenko so it can go to fucking purse bid, so Bob Arum doesn't have to spend any money on it and still get his cut anyway. But I don't think that the lack of response is like, oh my God, Devin Haney is suddenly afraid of Frank Martin. Because again, we can do that about Bud, Spence, and Tank. Multiple examples.
But we can do that about Boots.
They're not
right.
in the same situation.
Exactly.
None of them are in the same situation as Devin. None of them have been crying, clamoring, and starving for recognition of big fights and legitimizing his WBC belt as a champion by fighting these worthy opponents. Okay, now you saying big fight, I'm saying worthy opponent. I'm not putting a dollar amount on it. I'm saying that Frank Martin is definitely worthy opponent. Now we know that Kambosos is
right.
number one. We know Kambosos is obviously his number one choice. You know what I'm saying?
Rolly.
And it even came out that I just saw something that Devin Haney sent Kambosos. Eddie Hearn sent Kambosos for the Devin Haney fight more money than he's ever made in his entire career combined. So probably around $7 million.
He's gonna fight his IBF Mando.
But why does Tank need a belt? And if he needs a belt, take it from Haney. Shit, that's what I'm saying. Take Haney's WBC.
Right. Well, again, I'm consistent, and I only want to see Haney versus Tank for undisputed. And just
right,
like
you want
that isn't gonna happen.
Bud versus Spence for
undisputed. Yeah, because Tank isn't getting Kambosos either. He's not gonna get Kambosos either. He's gonna heal and he's gonna fight Rolly in March, like they've already probably said.
Yeah, he's gonna fight Rolly.
Okay, so I put out the video. I put it. Well, Kambosos, what's his name?
Lou DiBella.
Lou DiBella said that Tank is the biggest fight out there. Tank said,
he's
"Tell
not gonna fight
Kambosos, bring that ass
Rolly.
here."
And after
you know what I'm saying? So Tank is stated, and whatever Leonard and listen, Leonard said that there's going to be Tank's next fight is going to be a big fight. So it's either going to be Lomachenko or Kambosos.
So does Leonard know what he's talking about, though?
Listen,
I don't
Biggest
think
fight
so.
of the year.
I don't
you
think
see,
so,
you,
bro.
you see what I'm saying?
Tank
Hey,
You
versus
see what I'm saying?
hey, but look,
fight of the year. Tank versus
it's kind of
Rolly.
yeah. Go ahead, man. What were you saying, B
Fight of
Hop?
the year. Tank versus the fight of the year. Tank versus Rolly. That's the fight of the year. It's fight of the
Yeah,
century.
it's gonna be Tank versus Rolly. We know. we
hold
know.
up. Is that Polo?
Talking about Cambosos. Yeah,
Hold
sweet.
up. Why you change your name? What happened to the Canelo fan?
No, I like B-Hop. We're not talking about Canelo, man.
I
We're
know I'm
talking
talking
about
about your
another topic,
name.
man.
Your name. It's like I'm
I
reading
can't
up a
be I
name.
can't be a B-Hop fan. I can't be a B-Hop fan. I gotta be a Canelo fan now.
Is B Hop fighting? I thought B Hop was retired.
Little
No,
B Hop is fighting baby B
B-Hop
Hop.
is one of my
Oh,
favorite
he
fighters.
changed his name.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah,
not
yeah.
B
I
Hop
like
no more.
B-Hop, but yeah, we're not talking about Canelo right now, man. We're talking about Tank, Haney, the lightweight division. We're not talking about Canelo right now.
I
Yeah,
hear you, buddy.
and that's how I feel about a lot of fighters that I like I know like Devin Haney. A lot of people say that a lot of situations, especially a Tank fight, is unwinnable. Cool, get his ass in there, and if he gets his head knocked off his shoulders, great. I'm glad the fight happened, and that's a lot of credit that Tank will get. I'm very happy. I mean, of course, I don't want him to get literally fucking decapitated, but you know what I'm saying. If I want him in those unwinnable situations, like I want him in a Frank Martin fight because he's not getting shit else. But it is what it is. Like
Yeah,
Man, I want to see Frank Martin versus El Rayo. Y'all niggas talking about some black on black shit. I want to see
and
black
and
on black.
I wanted Tank versus El Rayo too because it's the battle of the
Yeah,
Southpaws.
all right, man. I'm gonna tell you this, bro, and I'm gonna be honest. I gotta roll back to the Murderers Road, Black Murderers Road day. If these guys are not giving you the fights that you want, if you want to see, because a lot of these guys you saying they're not fighting any black talent. Man, we can make our own mega fights. Like, for example, Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. That's a black mega fight. That is a black mega fight with two black fighters. Boots and Bud Crawford is a great fight. It's a great fight. Great matchup. If they ain't gonna fight us, man, we gonna have to fight ourselves. So if
That's
Tank
what I'm
and
saying.
Devin, I'm with Tank and Devin. I
Yes, sir.
told I have told Checkmate the only, like I say, the only thing we ever be disagreeing about is undefeated, not undefeated, but undisputed. I think that's crazy sometimes because I look at undisputed and fighting for the undisputed title. I mean, it's subjective. Because look, man, those organizations are so corrupt that the majority of the time, a guy, let's say a guy of Frank Martin talent level, right? Okay, he might only be 13 in the rankings or 10 in the rankings. He ain't gonna get no shot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even care about them sanctioning bodies. Look at
Well,
what Cambosa's doing. Cambosa's ain't even gonna fight Devin or Tank. He gonna fight Lomachenko.
Yep.
He's
I
not
don't think
but
he's
gonna.
gonna
You get
fight
what I'm
Loma, bro.
saying?
He's gonna
but
he's gonna
Julius,
fight his
I
WBF man.
So
He's
you
not gonna
can make
fight.
your
He's
own
not gonna
look.
fight Loma.
Nah, he gonna fight
Mexicans,
Lomachenko, bro.
and let me
but
tell you this. It
No,
used to
he's
be a
not. Watch.
time.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
It used to be a time where Mexicans used to fight each other in wars, big fights. You don't really see
Yeah.
that anymore. Man, you can, and that's
The last
because
one was
of,
Belcher versus Vargas.
and that's why I'm saying that tribalism that we have in boxing, we got to let it go for big fights, man.
Well,
It's okay for a black to fight a black. It's okay for a Mexican to go to war with a Mexican. That stuff that Canelo was saying. I don't agree with that. I think that it's okay to beat a brother because, like Mike Tyson said, you giving your brethren of whatever country or nationality you are an opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
That's my
Right.
opinion.
one thing.
checkmate.
Listen, Julius. The thing about what you said about the undisputed. Remember, there's only two fighters, two undisputed fights that that I even said that about, and that was
Right.
the Crawford and the Spence
Mhm.
because it's within range. I only talk about the Tank versus Devin
Right.
for Undisputed because it's within range. You know what I'm saying? So if I didn't see these fights even had any, opportunity of happening, I wouldn't even say anything about it. But I
One of
see
them
that
is
only
within
one.
range. I
But
don't think that Tank and
Yep.
Devin is within range of being a unification because
Hell
they're gonna
no.
need Cambosis to fight
well,
one of
that's
them.
And even
that's
if
my
Tank
point.
fought
But I
Cambosis, he
see, but
wouldn't
I
fight
wait,
Haney.
but I see what I think Tank either fights Cambosis or Lomachenko next. This is I see
So
that
you
coming. So
think
you
so you
guys.
think Tank will go to Australia? So you think Tank will go
No.
to
No.
Australia?
First of all, he's nobody. Look, that's a pipe dream if he think he's going to
uh
get Tank to go to Australia. But guess what?
Hmm.
His
you
promoter
gotta
said
go to
Tank is the
Australia,
biggest fight.
homie.
Why would they leave? No, he doesn't have to go to Australia. He's
No,
not going to.
Cambosis will come over
He's
here.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kambosos has the
Why would he
title.
leave that money?
Nah,
See,
he
you
has the
guys
title.
listen to but you don't really look at the you listen to what people say all that, but you don't look at the logic in it. The
You
logic
just
in
said
it is
we have to
Tank is the
trust Leonard
draw.
Ellerby's word.
Man, I'm
And,
not. Come on, man.
and then
Stop
and
being
then
facetious. I'm talking.
you went back and
Stop
forth
being,
on it. Like I
brother,
asked a question. I said, can we trust
stop
Leonard
being
Ellerby or
facetious
can
right
we?
now.
I'm not being
I'm
facetious.
trying to answer.
You're
I'm
getting
trying to answer
upset because
Polo.
this is an inconsistency.
No,
Can
I'm
we trust
trying to.
Leonard Ellerby's
I'm
word or
trying,
can we not? It's that
dude.
simple.
I'm trying to answer Polo. My
Hey, you're trying
point
to
is
duck a
Polo.
question because you're getting caught up in fucking
I don't
Dude,
trust
I will
I don't
respond
trust
to you
Leonard
after I
Ellerby
respond
when
to
it comes to
Polo.
Tank's
Okay,
career.
my point in my
Oh,
my point
checkmate.
is Polo.
Hold 1 second, y'all. I agree with D Hive. I don't really trust Leonard Ellerby when it comes to him speaking on Devin Haney, because to me it sounds like I know this guy is going to be a hell of a problem for my fighter, and we don't want that right now. So we're just going to throw some smear on his name and make it seem like he's less. Let's be real.
But my point was this. My point is Tank versus
What's
Cambosis.
his name? Tank.
If Lou DiBella even said that he knows without question Tank is the biggest fight out there, and Tank can draw any, will make the fight big in the United States. Tank, there's no reason. So there's no correlation between Tank and Devin because Tank is the cash cow. So therefore, he's not going to chase Cambosis over Australia. There's no reason for him to. So he's going to make double the money in the United States versus what he would make in Australia. So
I thought money
that's a
didn't
moot question right
matter.
there.
I thought money didn't matter
Can I go
though.
say
Who said
something
money
though?
didn't matter?
But he did want to, yo. But he did want to say, he did want to say he wanted to make his first defense in Australia. He's not fighting in the United States. He already made it clear that. So if they want to see him, they gotta go to Australia. He'll probably come to
Well,
the United States in later year, but he's gonna fight in Australia.
Hey,
He
hey,
said
zero
it.
bro,
chances,
Luda
zero
Bella.
chance Tank goes to
And
Australia.
Hey,
Luda Bella be
and
lying a
not just
lot.
that, Luda Bella ain't doing no shows like that. Cambosis are gonna fight wherever he get a good offer in the United States. You got to look at the promoter. Luda Bella ain't doing no shows like Eddie Hearn. Like Eddie Hearn, I give him credit for it. He might do a show in London, and then he might do a show over here. Then he'll do a show in
Spain.
Dubai or wherever. Luda
But
Bella ain't no lead promoter. So
how much is
Cambosis,
Mayweather gonna give Cambosis though? How much are they gonna give
hey,
him?
here's the thing. This is my opinion, bro. I don't see the fight happening,
600,000.
even though I think that he would get $1 million for it. But it all depends on what Al Heyman
Nope.
want to do. It all depends on what Al Heyman want to do. If Al Heyman want that thing to happen, man, I believe it'll happen. It's about what Al Heyman wants in that situation. And I mean, I'm not trying to lessen Floyd Mayweather. Ain't no way you can do that. But I'm saying, I think it's more what Al Heyman wants to do in that situation. How much of do he think this is going to sell to the people? You get what I'm saying? I mean, since there's been so much backlash, but I've always stated, and I stated this to Check before and to Art and to you, D-Hive, I would put a fight on regular TV and I would get advertisement and I would do it like that. I wouldn't try to sell pay-per-views. Like, I think that pay-per-view is kind of overrated. I think it's great because it's the back end money, but I think it's overrated. I think you could get 40 million viewers to go into a Earl Spence Bud Crawford fight on CBS. You know what I'm saying? They would do it just like a Super Bowl. I believe you could get Tank Davis. See, the thing with Tank Davis is going to be hard to put him on network TV because of the domestic violence and because of the other stuff. That's why they be moving him on pay-per-view and stuff. But I
well,
would put it, I'm telling you, I would put it on national TV. I wouldn't even do it pay-per-view
For
because
free?
that's the most eyes that Cambosis or anybody would get on them is a nationally televised fight.
Well, I think there's
For
still a lot
free?
of money in pay-per-view because of Tank's popularity. I think Tank will still do well, but I understand your point on that. I think that with an opportunity like Tank versus Cambosis, I think of all the things that Tank has been up to, that would be the one instance where they should probably put that one on pay-per-view. But no, I definitely I can relate to what you're saying on it though.
Okay, and D-Hive, now I answered Polo's question, so now ask me the question that you said I was being inconsistent.
Can we trust Leonard Ellaby's word or can't we?
What word about Leonard
I don't
Ellaby
trust
that you
him.
don't trust?
Well, I know.
mean,
I
you're
trusted
saying
his I trusted his word. Well, I trusted his word exactly when he said all the reasons why the Devin Haney fight can't happen, and then you said, "Well, Leonard Ellaby really isn't running shit, and you shouldn't take him at face value." So, can we trust his word or can't we?
I didn't say that those were not my words. What I said was it's because of the back door, the politics in the back, the fact that Mickey Bay is training Haney, Floyd wanted Haney to sign with him, and now they're with the competitors with this. There's a whole bunch of nonsense, their personal issues that's in the back.
But that's never been
now Bill
said by
Haney talk
Leonard.
about he will fight. Now Bill Haney talking about he'll smack Leonard Ellaby if he touch Eddie Hearn. So there's a lot of
That's bull job too.
But that's never been said by Leonard. That's never been said by Leonard.
Okay. Who? I don't know. What I'm saying is, so you're asking me,
Can we trust Leonard Ellaby's word?
That's it.
Yes or no?
That Hank got some big fights coming up. Absolutely. It's not a yes or no, sir. I'm telling you.
It's an exact yes or no. Can we trust the man's word or not? It's a very simple yes or no.
No, I'm not giving you a yes or no answer.
I know you can't because it's inconsistent as fuck. You're going to change it to fit the narrative. I know you can't give me a yes or no. That's why I asked the question.
Well, it's not because I'm answering my statement the way I choose to answer. And
I know you can't answer yes or no. That's why I asked it. I know.
I feel like Tank is going to have a big fight coming up. If you don't understand the reason why they moved him the way, you don't understand. That's your business. I understand business. I understand marketing.
Exactly.
Business development.
I agree, Jason.
So
Hey, since when is Rolly?
They moved him the way they moved him to get him acclimated to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, they're still building Tank. We know they're still building him. Fucking 27 years old, and they're building him.
Okay, now can you?
His next biggest fight is gonna be against the criminal justice system, unfortunately.
Okay, that's
and
nice.
then he's gonna fight Rolly. And then he's gonna fight Rolly.
Okay, that's nice. But can you name another fighter who's actually had a plan where they said we're doing this to do XYZ? Can you name
Canelo Alvarez,
with a plan?
Jaime Munguia, Virgil Ortiz Jr. That's 3.
I said in Tank's division. That's what I said.
In Tank's division, yeah, definitely Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez. He's at 135.
Okay.
Those are two 135ers.
Okay, now let's talk about the Loma plan. Has Loma become a star? Loma's been champion since Loma's not a star. Loma can't sell shit.
Loma's never been on pay-per-view, but people have Lomachenko ranked above Tank.
That's my point. They didn't have the pay-per-view plan to turn into the superstar system. Tank does, and it's working. The fact that Tank can get superstars that come out to see him.
Yeah, I know he's popular for doing nothing. I understand that's the plan. That's perfectly fine. So guess what? But then why does everyone else need to develop and take challenging fights? But Tank can fight whoever he wants because he's selling. Yeah, that's the same thing Canelo fans say.
But guess what?
It's the same thing that Canelo fans say. You couldn't even answer my question. You couldn't answer my question, so I'm good. Oh, now you can answer yes or no questions? You can answer yes or no questions? Yeah, you can answer my fucking questions. Hell no. Are you kidding me?
You can give me a long statement if you want.
Dude, I don't care about Tank personally. I don't care about Tank personally. I don't care about Tank personally. I don't care about Haney personally. I don't care about Tank personally.
Ask me the question.
Can you trust Leonard Ellaby's word? Can you trust Leonard
plan.
Ellaby's
I
word?
don't give a fuck about what you think
Exactly.
about
You
any Leonard
can't. You
Ellaby
can't.
word.
Exactly. You're
I don't
screaming
give a
at the
shit.
top of your lungs
Whatever you
because
think
you
about
can't
Leonard,
answer my
because you're
question.
talking over
You
me.
don't
That's
know
why.
Tank. You don't know Tank
Because you're
personally.
talking
You
over me.
don't know
That's
Tank
why.
personally. He's just a random dude.
And I don't.
He's
I
a
don't give.
random
But the
dude.
thing is, I
He's
don't
a
care what
random
Leonard
dude.
Ellaby says.
He's a
You
random
care what Leonard
27-year-old
Ellaby
dude.
says. What
He's a
I
random
feel is,
I know
27-year-old
he's
dude.
I
stressing over. He about to
understand Tank's
fight
plan.
Rolly.
He's
at
about to fight Rolly. Exactly.
I don't
He's
give a
gonna
shit
fight
about Rolly.
Rolly.
I don't give a shit about that
Exactly.
fight. I don't like that fight. I
But it's
don't
a big
care.
fight.
I don't
It's a
agree
big
with everything
fight.
they do.
It's gonna
What I
sell.
said was
It's
they
gonna do
have a
numbers.
plan.
It's a big
It's
fight.
gonna do
And
numbers.
plan
It's
and
gonna be fight
Tan's
of the year.
and Tank's
Hey,
team
Beehive.
is the only
Beehive, don't sleep.
team
It's gonna
in
be
his
fight of the year.
division
It's
that
gonna
Oh,
be
I
fight
know.
of the
I'm
year.
gonna buy it
that's
too.
moving
It's
forward
it's
and their
gonna be
plan is
amazing.
working.
Tank versus
I'm gonna
Rolly
buy
gonna
it
do
too. I'm
super
not gonna
numbers. I'm
see
gonna
it, but
buy
I'm
the
gonna
shit
buy
out
it.
of it. I know. It's gonna be
I'm gonna buy
awesome.
it.
Look, if he sell that fight, Tank versus Rolly, they gonna realize when the pay-per-view numbers come back and that shit looking real slim. They gonna realize that we tired of that
Nah,
shit. We
nah,
want to
our
see
man,
I'm
they're
Tank
gonna
gonna
buy
versus
it.
do.
Rolly.
No,
I'm
our
gonna
man, they're
buy
gonna
it because
buy
I
it.
support Tank.
No, people are gonna buy it. Even
I
Cash
buy
said it
Tank's
to his
fights.
press conference. Yo, but hey, happy birthday, our man.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Thanks,
buy
man.
it. I'm gonna buy it even though I don't like the fight because
Yeah,
I
man.
support
More
Tank
life to you,
financially.
bro.
Well,
But like,
I think that fight they should put that fight on Showtime.
yeah,
I
I
don't think it
agree.
need to be pay-per-view. I think it need to be on Showtime.
I
And
agree
there's nothing
100%.
wrong.
Nah,
And let me say this, man. I don't think that there's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with a fighter take a fight pay-per-view and take a fight regular. The reason I'm gonna say that is because let's look at people that have been good pay-per-view stars, right? Or done decent numbers on pay-per-view. Miguel Cotto has done good. I'm not even going to use Mayweather. Miguel Cotto, he fought on regular HBO. He's fought on Showtime before. You get what I'm saying? It's possible to be a good fighter and a good pay-per-view draw, but use pay-per-view for mega fights or big fights. So Tank against Rolly is okay. Put it on Showtime.
No, it's a mega fight, Julius, because he's gonna do
Well,
super
well,
numbers. So it's
well,
the fight of the year.
let me say this, D Hive,
A
because
mega
I'm
fight.
gonna tell you, I only trust Leonard's word when he's not talking about the business side of boxing as far as how they're gonna move a fighter. I don't trust that word because again, I do not believe he moves fighters. I believe Al Heyman moves the fighter because Al Heyman is the one that's negotiating with those networks. He's the one that's negotiating with the fighters. So I trust if Al Heyman did interviews, I would trust every word he say. Now that's my opinion on it. I
And
don't
that's
believe that Tank Davis and Al and Leonard Ellaby. Now, do I think that Leonard knows what's going on? Yes. But do I think that he's gonna tell us the truth on these things? No. But do I think he hate Eddie Hearn? Yes. But I will say this, and I'm gonna repeat it because Checkmate brought it up. What Bill Haney was talking about doing to the Leonard Ellaby, that was coonery. That's coon stuff. Let Eddie Hearn protect himself. Why you got to be his protector? Why you got to be his black shining armor? You know what I'm saying? Nah, that was cooning. You know
that's
what I'm
real.
saying? Regardless
That
of what Leonard is.
That's some real talk. That's some real talk. And when Ellerby was over there trying to fight fucking Romboy for whatever reason, because Romboy was asking questions, I think the same thing. So that's definitely real talk. I don't think
Yeah.
that Bill should be moving like that. And I don't think Leonard Ellerby should also be trying to fight another random black dude he's never
Now
even
let me
met.
ask you a question. Now, because I was looking for, did Leonard actually tell Ronnie Boy he was going to fight him?
He said we could meet up,
yeah.
we could pop up at a gym somewhere and get it in, but he never dropped the address.
Okay, so
No, he
Leonard
said
is definitely not serious about that.
Of course not.
But and also I like Ronnie Boy, but hey, those guys, I'll put it to you like this, man. I've never understood our people that every time it's something about our people, unless they fit that narrative of that person, you know what I'm saying? They go at them. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know, because I'm gonna tell you the truth. I ain't never personally went at anybody on Twitter and threatened to fight them or even just harassed them every day about something. And I'm just being honest. If
Ron
Eddie
Boy does that
Hearn never gives
every chance he
Devin
gets.
Haney a fight, you will never hear me texting and not texting but tweeting Eddie Hearn and calling him garbage and calling fighters garbage and stuff like that. Like, I don't do that. I don't understand why people do that. Why would you be going back and forth
And
with,
Ron
I don't know, man.
And Ron Boy does that just almost every day. Ron Boy does that. A fat boy, that's all you ain't. He makes disparaging remarks about it. So Leonard said, "Hey, I'm in the city at the gym. Come holler at me. You know what I mean? I want to talk to you about something." That's all he said. You know what I mean? Because Ron Boy is constantly going at him. You know what I mean? And disrespecting Tank and disrespecting the whole movement. Whatever between them, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I took it as Leonard was being facetious. You know what I mean? But the situation regarding Leonard and Hearn did an interview and he said, "Yeah, let's make a fight, me and Ellaby. I'll have such and such training." And then Leonard Ellaby responded by saying, "If Eddie Hearn steps 10 foot and 10 foot in front of me, I'll smack the shit out of him." That's because he was responding to Eddie Hearn saying, "Yeah, let's make a fight, me and Ellaby. Such and such to train me, Floyd to train him." That's what Leonard Ellaby responded, say, "Well, I don't play that." He was saying, "I don't play that. If Eddie steps within 10 foot of me, I'm gonna smack the shit out of him." And then that's when Bill Haney saying, "Well, if he touched somebody I'm getting money with, he got a problem with me."
Yeah, that's cool talk.
So I'm gonna put hands on him. Yeah.
That's
I thought that was out of pocket. Like, so
Yeah,
you're basically saying,
that's
"Hey,
terrible.
this is my master. This is when it's cutting my check." Yeah.
Hey, Logic.
I don't agree with that.
I'm gonna answer your question, Logic.
That's a little bit much, but I also think that what happened with the Mickey Bay situation was also a pretty decent amount of coonery. I'm not sure what hold Mayweather Promotions or that whole operations has on the black community, but the way I see it is, if we're gonna check our intra-racial issues, then we need to say that either these black people as a collective over here are doing something that's coonish. Like, we need to classify coonish behavior and call it out across the board. I'm not sure
Mayweather said that Gucci comment, that was coonery. When he said they could treat black folks any kind of way and I'ma wear Gucci, that was being a coon. That was being a coon. I can say that, and you know what I'm saying, and not feel any kind of way about it because he black. That was coonery. If somebody making clothing, that's like, trust me, if Art Man made something about Jews up here, right, on his shirt, and it was disrespectful to Jews, Art Man wouldn't be making no more shirts and promoting it on anybody's computer. They would shut him down. But with black people, you can do anything, and black folks are protect those people. Just like Floyd protected Gucci. That was coonery.
And then we also got people. We also got people protecting Floyd
like
from coonery.
You're right. I'm not gonna protect anybody.
No, I'm not accusing you. I'm not accusing you,
Jules. Yeah. Just like any corporation, you got Apple. They say Apple's one of the worst companies to ever work for. They say Amazon's one of the worst companies to ever work for. All these big name companies that you know, they say it's one of the worst companies to ever work for. Okay, and they give me very, it's like Apple's like a cult. Like, it's crazy because I know people who work there. But other than that, listen. Whatever the inner workings would happen in Floyd, if he's not a great, that's Mickey Bay situation. You can probably name. Listen, we hear that stuff about Bob Arum all the time. We hear that stuff about Eddie Hearn all the time. So if it's a situation with Mickey Bay, and I heard in Mickey Bay's interviews when he was talking about it, and one thing Mickey Bay said is it wasn't Floyd. He said, "I've never had an argument or disagreement with Floyd." He said his issues was his manager. You know what I mean? His manager, which was Floyd's cousin. Yeah. If you ever listen to it, he said, "I've never," and he said Floyd even told him to fire them.
I'm not talking about Floyd. I'm talking about Floyd as his firm, his company. I'm not talking about Floyd the man. I don't care about these people as individuals. I don't care about them as individuals.
Okay, can you I'm talking right now. You can respond when I'm done. But if he's talking about, Mickey Bay was talking about Dewan, okay, and Mickey Bay said Floyd even told him to fire his manager. Then all of a sudden it's look what Mayweather and them did with Mickey Bay. Mickey Bay wasn't the type of guy to open up his mouth and speak for himself. I don't know. Maybe he's a passive aggressive guy. I have no idea, but he should have spoke up. So and he said I didn't want to go to Floyd because X, Y, Z. So when they play ping pong with his career, you can't blame Floyd for this man not speaking up. Because when he finally went to Floyd about Dewan, about his manager, Floyd told him to fire him. He said he was going to get Al Heyman and the co-manager him, but then his manager said he wanted to meet up to fight. They wanted to have a fist fight over that, and he ended up not bringing Al Heyman on as a co-manager. So don't blame Floyd.
I'm not blaming Floyd. I'm not blaming Floyd. When you talk about Apple, who's responsible? Who's responsible? When you talk about the horrible things that happened at Apple, who's responsible?
Well,
who's responsible?
What? Mickey
who's
Bay
responsible?
Floyd wasn't the one.
Who is responsible?
It doesn't matter. It was.
Oh, so now it doesn't matter. Exactly. Another question you can't answer. Again,
Mickey Bay.
Floyd and Tank don't know who you are. They don't know who you are. Floyd and Tank don't know who you are.
Stand on it.
You should stand on it. Who's responsible? If there are issues happening at Apple, who's responsible? Who's responsible? Is it the company? 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 Right. Floyd owns the fucking company. Exactly. Floyd owns the company. Floyd owns the company. He's liable. He's liable. Floyd is liable. Floyd is liable. He owns the company. He owns the company. He owns the company. He owns the company.
He said his manager.
He owns the company. He owns the company. Floyd Mayweather Promotions owns the company. He owns the company.
Did he not say
it wasn't Floyd? The company.
Did he not say he never had an argument with Floyd?
Mayweather owns the company. He hired his cousin, and he owns the company.
Floyd did everything
he owns the company.
He asked him to.
Floyd Mayweather and Tank do not know who you are. I'm not sure why you get so emotional about these two guys specifically. They do not know who you are. You're not being paid to endorse them. Floyd Mayweather owns the company. He owns the company. No? He employs his cousin. Now you want to no until you answer a yes or no question. Yes, he is absolutely in charge of the company. Therefore, he is liable. He is liable. Yes, I answered your question. Yes, you can't answer a yes or no question, so you don't get to ask them. You can't answer a yes or no question, so you don't get to ask them. You answer a question before you ask one. You couldn't even decide if you could trust Leonard Ellaby's word or not. You couldn't even decide if you could trust Leonard Ellaby's word or not. I don't know why you get so emotional about Tank and Mayweather. They don't know you. They don't know you. They don't know you. You're not getting any amount of money, and Floyd is the owner of the company, and he is liable, and that's okay. I'm not shitting on Floyd. You just said Floyd wasn't responsible, so how am I shitting on Floyd? If Floyd isn't responsible, how am I shitting on Floyd? If Floyd isn't responsible, how am I shitting on Floyd? Exactly. It doesn't make any actual sense. If Floyd isn't responsible, how am I shitting on Floyd? You just said Floyd wasn't responsible. I said Mayweather Promotions. I said Mayweather Promotions was responsible. You're the one that's defending Floyd when I didn't implicate Floyd. I didn't implicate Floyd. I said Mayweather Promotions was responsible. I said Mayweather Promotions was responsible. I said Mayweather Promotions was responsible. Yes, it is. It is. It is Mayweather Promotions. His manager is Mayweather Promotions. Yes. You see how I'm answering a yes or no question? You should try that sometime. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I can't answer yes or no question. Yes. Mayweather Promotions was his promoter. Mayweather's Promotions was his promoter. He said he signed with Mayweather Promotions and he wished he signed with Al Heyman. He said he signed with Mayweather Promotions and he wished he signed with Al Heyman.
No,
that's exactly what he said. You're wrong. That's exactly what he said. You just said it wasn't Mayweather, and I never said it was Mayweather. I never said it was Mayweather. Right now, you're saying again. Why are you getting so emotional about these two people? Why are you getting emotional about these two people specifically? It doesn't make any sense. You're just yelling and screaming over two people that you're never gonna meet. You're never gonna meet them, and they're never gonna know who you are. They're never gonna know who you are. I'm not sure why you're getting promoted with that. I don't understand. I don't understand why you get so emotional about these two dudes specifically. Why do these two dudes make you this mad? They're never gonna know you.
No?
Yes,
he said he should have signed with Al Heyman. Al Heyman is a manager.
Exactly. He said he should have signed with Al Heyman as opposed to Mayweather Promotions.
Then he said he wanted to have Al
and he's under Mayweather Promotions.
With
He's under Mayweather Promotions.
He
said specifically he signed with Mayweather Promotions. He said specifically he signed with Mayweather Promotions. He said specifically he signed with Mayweather Promotions for promotions. He said he signed with Mayweather Promotions. I never implicated Mayweather. I never implicated Mayweather. I simply said that it's under Mayweather Promotions. I don't know why these two people, why do Mayweather and Tank get you this mad? You're not getting paid by them. You're never going to meet them, most likely. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand why you're getting so emotional about these two specifically. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. He's under Mayweather Promotions. It doesn't make any sense. You couldn't even decide if Leonard Ellaby was trustworthy. You couldn't even. I did listen to the interview.
We're talking about Mickey Bay right now, sir.
Exactly. We're talking about
Mickey Bay.
Wait, I'm sorry, Julius.
Mickey Bay said
his manager was
the
problem.
Old news. Exactly. Yeah, his cousin Jaron, who signed under Mayweather Promotions.
Listen,
you can't manage.
Julius,
what was the firm name then?
And I corrected the statement. But he's so dumb, he didn't even listen to the interview to hear him say that his manager was the one.
Again, you're the guy that's whining about a guy you're never going to meet. You couldn't even decide if Leonard Ellaby's word was trustworthy. I'm not going to answer a yes or no question. He said he was signed with Mayweather Promotions. Dewan works for Mayweather Promotions. Dewan works for Mayweather Promotions. I don't know if you know that. Dewan works for Mayweather Promotions. Dewan works for Mayweather Promotions. Dewan works for Mayweather Promotions. Mayweather owns Mayweather Promotions.
You guys are talking about. Hold on.
Exactly.
A second. You guys are going back and forth about this damn Mayweather Promotions bullshit. We're supposed to be talking about Boots versus Crawford. What do you guys think about that?
It's not my fault. Checkmate gets emotional about Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Davis only. Those are the only two people you could bring up, and he starts screaming and insulting people like a. I haven't called him a single name here. He's called me dumb. He's called me stupid. He's called me an asshole. And then he got mad on Twitter because I called him out for comparing Tank Davis versus Cruz to fucking like Hagler and Hearns and Muhammad Ali and Frazier. Look, I don't mean any disrespect, Checkmate. And trust and believe, I don't give a fuck about your feelings about them. I'm not sure why Mayweather and Tank bring this out of you. You don't know these people. You're never going to meet these people. You're not on their payroll. I don't understand. Do you want their fucking autograph on a boxing glove or some shit? I don't get it.
You gotta chill, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's only these two names. I know for a fact that if I bring up these two names, you'll start hollering and screaming like a psychopath. Dude, Wilder and Haney are two of my favorite fighters. They're the most disrespected fighters in all of boxing. Disrespect them. I don't care.
So I
really don't care.
Disrespect. He likes to talk over people.
Oh my God!
When he's done, I'm gonna let him finish. When he's done, can you mute him?
You couldn't even answer. You couldn't even answer a yes or no question.
Okay.
But you want to ask the yes or no questions. That's not how it works.
Let's get checkmate. Final thoughts on that, and then we moving on to the next subject, please.
Okay. Well, I was going to say this. All right, man.
Your wish finally
go ahead.
True.
Okay. When we're having boxing discussion, you never talk over me. You never disrespect me. Julius, when we're having boxing discussion, you never talk over me. You
called me dumb multiple times.
I'm not done. I'm not fucking done. Hold on. When we're having boxing discussion, oh, shut up, bitch. You just mad because I burned you.
You're an old single fucking idiot. No one gives a fuck.
I put you in a grave, you little bitch.
You compared Cruz and Tank to fucking Muhammad Ali and Frazier. My God.
Can you mute him so I can get it out, sir? All right, man. Can you mute him so I can get my statement out, please, sir?
I thought you were a man.
Okay. All right, man. Can you mute him so I can get my statement out, please, sir? Like I said, I have dialogue.
Everybody else
I am. I'm just saying. And I agree, but again, when I'm having discussion with you guys, I don't talk over you guys. You guys don't talk over me.
Okay,
this guy gets emotional and wants to talk over me, and I don't take that disrespect. As simple as that. None of you guys on this panel has ever disrespect me, but this guy feels like he has the right to talk over people, and that's rude. Simple as that. I don't take that. That's why I buried you on Twitter. That's why I got you a grave on Twitter, because you ran your mouth and I destroyed you.
You're a laughing stock of Twitter, Harry.
And I got all of it. I got everything you said. I answered all your questions and I destroyed you.
You refuse
All
to
the
answer a
information
question.
you
Hurry
came up.
up.
Dude, you said Ali fought like shit. You said Leonard fought like shit. And man, I destroyed you.
Hurry up.
I said, I said, and Leonard and Ali versus Frazier. You said, oh yeah, Ali fought like shit. I said, but those are classic fights. So you saying Tank fought like shit versus Cruz? I said, Tank didn't fight like shit. Tank fought like shit. And I destroyed you.
Okay. Now, Boots versus Crawford. What do y'all think about that?
I got
I
Crawford.
think, yeah, go ahead, B-Hop.
Yeah, let my dude Polo speak real quick because I haven't heard him on the panel.
I got Crawford, bro. He got the experience. I feel like Boots is gonna do good, but I think Crawford's gonna overtake him with the experience and beat him to a punch. And I got Crawford by unanimous decision. We might see some, he might hurt Crawford in the late round, but I got Crawford winning a UD. Now I take that back, a majority decision. It'll be a close fight. I wouldn't be surprised if it's split, but I got Crawford majority decision.
I got Boots. I got Boots. I just think Boots is naturally too physically stronger and bigger, plus the skills just about equal. I think Crawford is a very crafty fighter, but even if we looked at the Porter fight, I had Porter winning by the end of the stoppage. And that was a very low output punch. Well, no, he didn't knock him out. His father stopped the fight.
That video of Bud, Bomac telling him like, "Hey man, you got to turn it up." Everybody's celebrating that video, but you got to really analyze it. Like, yo, dude was really down on the cards against Porter.
I personally had Porter up. I personally had him up. It was a very low output. You know what I mean? It was strategic.
I got Boots in a come from behind 7th, 8th round knockout. I think both guys gonna hit the floor.
Yeah, I think Boots can. I think Boots can drop him. I definitely know Boots can drop him. It'll be a very competitive fight. I know you guys want this to happen, but I personally say if he fight Boots now, I don't think we get Spence versus Bud for undisputed.
Yeah, I agree with you. I kind of don't see it happening because of that factor. Because of the I could see Boots. I mean, not Boots. I could see Bud fighting somebody. If he fights somebody from PBC, I could see him fighting somebody like. I think your man Jamal James could have got the fight had he not lost to the guy, but I see him fighting someone along those lines. And we might not like it, but I see him fighting somebody like Jacito Lopez or, somebody Stanonis, someone along those lines. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to get a chance to fight another elite welterweight right now. And I don't see Josh Taylor moving up. First of all, I don't think Bud gonna wait to May or June to fight because Josh Taylor fight, I think, in February. So Bud not gonna wait around for them guys. Bud gonna fight somebody in the lower level, top 10 or something like that. And then I think that him and Spence will fight at the end of the year. Long as Spence wins, which I expect him to beat Ugas.
You don't see what?
They're not going to fight at 147.
Okay.
They're not going to fight at 147. Maybe 154, but we're not going to get that. Because
if it's for undisputed,
they're not
why
going to
wouldn't
step aside again, man. I'm telling you. No, it's not going to be for undisputed. I'm telling you, it's not going to be for undisputed. Those two dudes that stepped aside, they're going to want that mandatory spot. So whoever the winner of that, we're not going to get it. I'm telling you, by next year, we're going to come back here and we won't get the fight. We'll get it at 154, but not 147. And it won't be for undisputed. It'll be for... I'm being serious, man. Boxing, man.
I'm glad I'm not I'm not talking about the politics. I'm talking about the next logical steps for the fights. Yes, sir.
Man, how long you been waiting for the fight, man? This fight's over, dude. 3 years. I mean, it's not going to happen, man. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen at 147.
Well, Spence said from the beginning that his goal was to get all the PBC belts and then fight Bud for undisputed. He said he was going to get Pacquiao's belt and then fight Bud for undisputed. Then it was Ugas belt, then fight Bud for undisputed. So Spence had 2 years of pretty much inactivity because of his layoffs, because of the accidents and then the eye surgery. So Spence is still carrying on with his plan. So whatever reasons the sanctioning bodies, I'm not even thinking about that because that takes the fun out of boxing. If you want to wrap your mind off the negativity that the sanctioning bodies do. For me, the next logical step is Spence saying what he was going to do is like, I'm going to get Ugas belt, get all the PBC belts, and then fight you for undisputed. That's it. I don't have nothing else to say about what the sanctioning bodies might or might not do.
All right, you're gonna be upset next year. Around this time next year, you're gonna be really upset.
Well, I love boxing. I'm very passionate about boxing, and I'm not going to let Mauricio and the WBC and the WBA and
just and the IBF too, man. You seen what they doing, man? How they have Josh Warrington fighting Kiko Martinez when they just had a final eliminator. Yep, talk about all this, not just the WBC, homie, all of them.
But you said what apology though? You said I owe you apology for what?
Oh, because Canelo and Charlo might actually happen, man. You was making all those videos, man. You better delete them now, because Charlo and Canelo happening May 7th, 2022.
Said May 7th.
Well,
yeah.
Right. Well, I'm hoping that happens. I don't need to delete. Well, you've been ducking them since '54. There's no reason to delete anything, just saying, bro. You better deleting is cheating.
You better deactivate your Twitter. Now you better deactivate your Twitter, man. I'm telling you, man. You better get
deleting is cheating. So.
Nah, like I said, bro, you'll see it when he whips Charlo, man. You better give Canelo his credit, or does he have to fight? I said, if Canelo beats him, fashionably stops him, you're gonna give him his credit, or does he gotta fight Vegeta, King Kong, Godzilla, then you'll give him his credit?
Dude, come on, man. Let's keep it real. If Canelo beat him, I will give him his props. What's the problem with that? My problem with Canelo is not his talent.
I just
My problem with Canelo is his path of least resistance and avoiding when and when you ducking out of 160 after only fighting 2 fighters, you don't fight your mandatories and you refuse to fight Andre for undisputed because you say he's a boring fighter, but yet you fight a Rocky Fielding and a Callum Smith and a Yildirim. You know what I mean? That's my problem with Canelo. I had no problem with Canelo before 2018 when he cheated with the PEDs and it went on his duck fest. That's it. Other than that, I want this fight to happen. If Canelo wins, congratulations. He earned it.
When it gets announced,
I've never had sour grapes about anybody beating.
No, okay. When it happens, bro, I want to bet you big money. I said when it gets announced officially, let's bet money, man. Let's put our mouth where our money is, man. And the fight happens May 7th, 2022.
Hey, I always bet the big fights. Not a problem. Well, listen, I'll bet you something. I'll definitely bet you something, but I'll be betting. It depends on the odds how big I bet through the online bet.
No, I'm telling you, it's gonna happen, bro. Hey, Art man, you know what other fight's gonna happen this year, bro?
What fight is that, bro?
Benavidez versus Morel, bro. Just remember
what you say.
Morel happens this year. Watch.
What was your
Morel
question?
versus David Benavidez is gonna happen. Did you hear what I said, bro? I said Benavidez versus Morel happens this year, bro. Later this year, Benavidez versus Morel is gonna happen on pay-per-view.
I don't think it happens. I don't think it happens,
bro.
Morel stop Benavidez.
I don't think it happens because number one,
you think so?
Ain't nobody's really asking for it, and Benavidez is really, to be honest with you, man. Hey, look, I agree. Just because people ain't asking for it, don't mean nothing. But at the same time, Benavidez, when he take that title eliminator and he win it, he gonna feel like if Canelo and Charlo don't fight, then maybe Canelo would fight me, because you got to also understand, I don't see that cruiserweight fight happening with Canelo, man.
No, it's gonna happen.
I don't see it.
It's gonna happen.
So if he go back to 68, look, man, Al Heyman paid that guy some good money. Al Heyman paid that guy some good money. So I kind of see Charlo. I mean, not Charlo. I see Canelo hanging in there with PBC, and taking a fight. So he might fight Benavidez.
Nah, this is what's gonna happen, bro. He's gonna fight Charlo on pay-per-view, and then that African dude, once he gets his mandatory, he's gonna unify
Man,
with the
let me
WWE
tell you
champion.
this.
Canelo's gonna. I'm
Mabuka is
telling you.
gonna
I'm
lose.
gonna tell you. It's gonna happen.
Mabuka's gonna lose January 29th, man. Mabuka's gonna lose
I know you
January
want him to
29th.
lose. I know you want him to lose.
No.
I know you
We
want him
don't-
to lose.
Hold
I'm
on
telling you,
a
it's gonna
second.
happen.
Checkmate.
No, you want him to lose.
Let me answer
You want
this.
him to lose.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna back this with facts. The guy that he's fighting, the little southpaw South African guy, he about 5'6", 5'7".
You beat him already, right?
No, listen to what I'm saying. I've seen that guy beat a heavyweight. He's a real good shifty boxer. He'll outbox the Mabuku. He gonna
You beat him
outbox him.
already. You beat him already,
Bro. He's gonna outbox Mabuto.
Okay.
And even if he don't, why would you? I'm just saying, even if I didn't think he was gonna win, why would you want to push for that garbage fight?
Because
I
Canelo,
like fighters
listen,
too. I like Earl
No,
Spence.
but
You don't hear me
listen,
up here
listen.
saying, you know what? I really would love to see Earl Spence move up and fight Tony Harrison. You don't hear me
ain't
saying
nothing wrong
nothing
with that.
like
I'm just
that.
telling you. Listen, and then after that dude, what I think is gonna happen is after that dude beats him, Makabu, he's gonna unify with the WWE champion. If he beats him, then that's 2 belts for Canelo, and it's gonna
Man,
happen. I'm
that
telling
guy's
you,
not
it's gonna
that
still
good,
happen.
bro.
Yeah,
That guy's
man,
not
I'm
that
telling you,
good,
he's
bro.
better than the W. Bro, like you said, you want him to lose. I already know, like I said, bro. I could tell you,
I don't
want him to
want
lose. He's not
what.
gonna lose. He's gonna fight Canelo.
What's the if
Bro,
he
what do you
lose?
get, bro?
I'm just giving you my opinion of the fight.
Shit.
I'm not giving you
Bro, he's
I
gonna
want him to
fight. He's gonna
lose.
fight Charlo. He's gonna fight Charlo. Hey, I'm just gonna see. He's gonna fight Charlo. Then he's gonna move up and fight for that cruiserweight title. I'm gonna just speak on this topic. He'll beat Charlo
Okay,
fashionably. Then he fights at cruiserweight. That's all I'm
all
gonna
right,
say,
but
bro.
here's the
I'm not
thing.
talking about the subject
Say,
that I told you.
okay, say he beat Charlo and say that guy wins. I mean, what is it that I got about the cruiserweight guy losing? Because if the other guy lose, Canelo could fight him.
Yeah, no, I'm saying he's still gonna fight that cruiserweight. That cruiserweight fight.
No,
Isn't
but I'm
gonna,
saying
but he
no.
wants to
But
do.
listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying even if the other guy wins, he could fight him. So what's the big difference? I'm just saying
Yeah,
I
no, but
don't see a
listen, he's
difference
still
in them.
gonna fight.
I think
Yeah, he's
both
gonna
of
fight
them.
the cruiserweight.
I think both of
Like
them
you
are
said, that's your
low-level
opinion.
fighters. I mean, it's
That's your opinion.
That's my
check.
point.
It's cherry
Polo.
picking,
Hey,
man. It's
You
cherry
have
picking.
never
hey,
mentioned
Rolly,
Makubu's
listen,
name before.
listen.
You
Right,
have never mentioned
No,
this
I
guy
knew Makubu.
Makubu's name before until
checkmate.
Canelo mentioned him.
right.
Hey, listen,
Yes, sir.
checkmate. You think Macabu, but you think Rolly's a good opponent, man? Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. You think
I'm not
Rolly's a
even
good
going.
opponent,
I'm
but
not
you don't
even
think
going to watch
Macabu?
the.
Yeah,
I'm not
man.
even going to watch Makubu fight the guy.
Man,
I
you
don't
over here.
care. I don't care about any
Man,
of
you
these.
gonna watch Rolly
He's
versus
not a
Tank. You
good
gonna buy
fighter.
it, bro. Hey, bro, you gonna buy Tank's pay-per-view,
Why would
man.
I watch
Tank
Makubu?
fanboy.
I've
You
never
gonna buy
watched him
Tank
before.
versus
I
Rolly?
have zero interest
Bro, you
in
gonna
him
fight
and
Tank
or the guy he's fighting.
bro. You're complaining about Macabu. You complaining about Macabu, but you don't watch Tank versus Rolly. You're gonna be the first pay-per-view buyer, man. How you gonna complain about
Then I
Macabu versus
said I'm
Canelo, but
not
you complain
interested
about
in
that
Rolly.
Tank versus
Oh
Rolly?
my god.
Didn't I say
Bro, you
Cruz
are
was
interested.
was better than
Remember, they're
Rolly?
building a brand. They're building a brand.
But Rolly
Bro,
has
Cruz is
nothing to
still a
do.
prospect
I
before even
don't
that
care
fight. Now
about
he's a
Rolly.
contender.
What are you talking about? Listen, brother? When the Rolly first fight was announced, I said I'm not interested in that fight. So what's your point? So why you keep bringing that up?
No, I'm just
I'm not
saying, you're
interested in Rolly.
criticizing
I'm not
other
interested
fights.
in
You're
Ryan or
criticizing
Rolly.
fights.
I
Bro,
don't think either
listen,
one of them are top talents.
now Ryan got the skills, but he hasn't proved that he's the top 10 right now, as of right now. But I'm saying if he knocks out Cruz or whoever he fights, we have to see who he fights. But like I'm telling you can't complain about Macabu versus Canelo, but you're not complaining about Rolly
Why
versus
can't
Tank.
I can complain? You're
Hold
telling
up
me
a
I
second.
can't complain about a
Hold up a
fighter
second,
that I'm not
checkmate.
interested in.
Hold up a sec, checkmate. 1 second. All right, man. Have D Hive? Have I died and went to heaven or hell or something? Because this guy is legitimately, seriously talking about someone being upset about Makubu or McDoodoo, whatever y'all been calling him. Like
Yeah,
for
Maca
real.
Booty.
the situation.
Like
Yeah, I call him
I ain't
Maca
trying to
Booty.
be funny, brother. I don't think nobody cares if the guy win, lose, or draw. I ain't trying to be funny, man. It's like really a
Nobody.
non-story. I don't think
Only
nobody.
Canelo
I could be
fans are
wrong.
interested in Makubu.
I
Yeah, I
Only
don't
honestly,
think.
Canelo fans are interested in him
Man,
all of a
let the
sudden.
man make.
Do
I
you
Let
see
him
honestly
make
how
his
didn't
sad
fight.
even.
A-minus
how
level
Bro,
happy
fighter.
let the
Canelo
man
fans
make
are
his
I,
fight.
getting knowing that Charlo's now somewhat of an option?
I didn't even want Canelo to compete at 168. I don't think any of his fans did either. If we're keeping it 100, if we're keeping it really, really real, when he fought Rocky Fielding,
I got
nobody was interested. Nobody
Right.
gave a
It was a
shit.
garbage
No,
fight.
yeah, nobody wanted him to campaign at 168 because I know I damn sure didn't. I was like, nigga, who the fuck are these people? And then all of a sudden, a motherfucker wins the boxing super series, and that's the guy to beat. Now look, Polo, I understand your point. I really do. But you have to understand that it's a game of weight classes, not height classes. You could talk about how small Canelo looks at some of these people, but the truth of the matter is he's fighting people that have never been known for anything aside from L's. And the thing about it is, even if Macabuti loses and he fights the other guy, it's going to be the same situation, especially because the other guy has a L to Macabuti. Now look, like I already said, I personally don't really care what Canelo does next. I'm not focused on it because it is what it is. He's doing what he's doing, and I don't care. I don't care. Like I'm straight on that. Like if he and this Charlo bullshit again, it's about making 50-50 fights.
That is a 50 fight.
Oh, hold on. You know goddamn well that at 160, even on or off drugs, Canelo couldn't knock out a cold. But now that he's been all the way up to 175, everybody has some confidence that he might be able to fuck with Jermell Charlo. Now, personally, I don't even think the Jermell Charlo fight's next. I think that's some juicy shit that people just jumped the gun on.
Anthony Durrell.
No, actually, what I was gonna say, I think he gonna go Joe Smith Jr. And the reason why I say Joe Smith Jr. is because I don't think that Callum Johnson really got COVID. I think they slid that motherfucker some bread, told him to go sit the fuck down somewhere. They got this random dude who they could pay way less money, who's a way less dangerous fight, and then Joe Smith Jr. gonna look amazing smoking this dude, and then Canelo gonna be like, okay, I'm on that ass through the WBO at
You
175.
gotta be careful with Joe Smith now. Like I ain't saying Canelo wouldn't beat him, but you got to be careful with Joe Smith because he got one punch knockout power. He can punch, he can't box, but bro, you gotta be careful cherry picking
If
Joe
Canelo get
Smith.
knocked out, the ref gonna wake him up.
Did you see Joe Smith Jr. against Blazov and Bivol though?
Yeah, I
Come
saw
on
him
now.
getting beat to the punch. I
Come
saw
on.
all of that.
Hell no.
I'm just saying to you, brother.
Yep,
I'm not saying Joe Smith is a killer. All I'm saying is you gotta be careful cherry picking Joe Smith because you could run into something. Joe Smith can absolutely punch.
He
That's
hit
all I'm saying.
Bivol. He hit Bivol with his two best overhand rights, and Bivol only got wobble once. Like he hit him with that shit twice, and Bivol just got rocked a little bit, and then he went back. I don't
You
blame him.
talking about a legitimate, strong, never been hurt light heavyweight got wobbled, right? We ain't never seen. All right, I want the next time someone tells me a big puncher that Canelo fought would be the first time. Tell me the big puncher that was anywhere close to prime that he fought, because we know he didn't fight Kovalev 5 years ago.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but he's got that X factor, Julius. You know what I'm talking about.
I know the steroids.
You know what I'm talking about.
All right, I got you.
So Polo, why you bring it up Makubu, which nobody cares about, but why don't you ever bring up David Benavidez?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen, bro. Like, listen, I'm here. He's gonna fight Charlo and defend those titles, and after 168, he'll go to cruiserweight and fight that dude, try to get that belt. Then he'll come back to 175 and try to go undisputed at 175.
So again, but why don't you ever mention David Benavidez?
What do you mean mention?
He ain't
David?
really mentioned it.
Like I said, bro, they can make the fight happen. No, it doesn't matter to me, bro. I'm saying I would run it to the
because
title fight
David
so we can shut
Benavidez is the
people
best
like you
fighter at
up
168.
that run. No, he's not, bro. He lost his bro 11 times out of his 20-some fights. He's missed weight. He isn't the best fighter, bro, because he doesn't have
Nobody
muscle. He has
beat him
nothing to
though.
offer. But
Polo,
listen,
I didn't
with the
say
title
what it
fight,
has nothing to do with the
bro, listen,
cocaine. It has nothing to do with the Mr. Weight. I said the best fighter at 168. Do you think Carlos Smith would have beat David Benavidez?
like I said, bro, we gotta see it.
And
He's at 165.
but okay, that's like you said, we gotta see it. But I'm asking you the question: can Carlos Smith beat Benavidez? Can Billy Joe Saunders beat Benavidez? Could
No, David Benavidez, unless
can
he
Plant beat
outboxes him.
Benavidez? Do you think those?
If
So
he,
when I judge when
if
I
he
judge who I
outboxes him,
think is the best at that weight class, I think that David Benavidez beat all of them, and that was before Canelo even joined that weight class 12 months ago. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So you're saying,
yeah,
but
but
my
here's the
point is,
thing, though.
you mentioned Makubu and you keep talking about that name. Like we don't care about him, but we do care about him fighting the
Bro, that's
best at
right. That's
168.
fine. You don't gotta watch the fight, like I said, bro. You don't gotta watch the fight. You don't gotta see the fight. If you don't want to see, you're probably gonna see the fight because, like I said, you're talking about you
Well,
don't want.
it's
They're gonna be the
hey,
first people watching the
Well,
fight.
if that shit's in Ohio, I might actually go because I'm driving distance from Ohio, so that's cool. I might if he
well,
wants to fight
But
some
I
African
understand, bro.
motherfucker
This is
in a
where my thing
dashiki.
is.
yeah, that hey,
Yeah, this is what I
but
understand. He
I
wants
I feel you, man.
Canelo,
But you know
but he doesn't
something?
want his favorite fighter.
Hey, I'm
What's
gonna
up,
tell
bro?
you this. I love to see Earl Spence fight, but I'm not up here lobbying, and I wouldn't be bragging if he fought the Japanese guy at middleweight. I
Right.
forget his name. The one that Triple
He
Murata,
G.
wouldn't beat him.
Yeah,
Murata.
right.
Murata,
Because
Murata.
right,
because I know that Earl Spence could go to 160 and stop that guy or beat him up
right.
real bad. Get what I'm saying? He's a journeyman too. See, that's the thing that happens a lot in boxing is that in this era, you can be a journeyman or just a fighter that hang around the right weight class and you can become a champion. And you really can't fight. And Mabuku,
Charles Martin,
yeah, Charles Martin. He got lucky in a
Jeff Horn.
situation. You know what I'm saying? Although I'll say this, Ortiz, he had him down twice and he was ahead, but he can't really fight. And what happened? He got caught. Even though I thought he would win. Because I was
Ortiz,
thinking
he should
the
retire.
reason I
He
said
should
it checkmate
retire.
is because I felt like those Deontay Wilder knockouts I thought had took enough out of Ortiz, but it still hadn't that he still could beat a guy like Charles Martin. You know what I'm saying?
When I looked
But
at Ortiz, and I looked at that fight, I just felt like he was. I saw his motor skills a little off, his balance was off. It looks like a guy who really should retire. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Remember, I never gave Charles Martin. He's a walking. He's a clown to me. I never gave him any type of, like he's never done anything for me to say, okay, this guy is worth supporting. You know what I'm saying? So I've never had any interest in him, and so I expected Luis Ortiz to win, but again, he put Ortiz down twice. He showed some power, but he also
hey,
fighting. What is Ortiz? What 42 now?
yeah,
40 or
they say,
42?
hey, can I answer that guy, Cozy? Cozy, I'm gonna answer you, man. I've seen Canelo hurt. And matter of
When?
fact, he got hurt by a guy named Jose Cotto, which is Miguel
Man,
Cotto brother.
you're bringing a fight from 11 years ago, man.
Hold up a
11
second.
years
Time
ago, he
out.
was 19.
I'm answering a guy
Before his
question.
prime.
Hold on a
All right.
second.
But I'm just
What's your
saying,
name?
and how did
Okay,
the
you
fight
was
end up?
B Hop
No,
fan
no.
earlier. Listen to me, bro.
Yeah,
This
you've been
guy
a fan.
Cozy Rito asked a question. He said has Canelo ever been hurt? He's never seen him hurt. And I gave an example of when he got wobbled in a
Okay,
fight.
okay.
It doesn't matter if it happened in 1940. It happened. I was
Right.
answering his question.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I
But did
answered
you
his
really
question.
say he was hurt?
You Google it. Go back and Google the moment that Jose Cotto hurt him so
I
that you can
remember.
see it for yourself that it happened.
Canelo
He got
still
rocked,
won
bro.
by stoppage, but
I
he
mean,
still
that
got hurt.
happens.
Yeah, he
You
got
know,
rocked. It's okay.
he got stunned.
Yeah, and he got stunned, 1 or 2 times against Triple G. This shit happens, man.
Yeah,
It's
this
okay.
stuff happens. If you in a fight long enough, it'll happen. If you box.
The-
Now,
the-
all I was saying to Rito is like I was saying to everybody else, is that Joe Smith technically is slow, and in some fights he turned into a punching bag. The only thing I said is that
He has a
Canelo would
puncher's
have to
chance.
be. All I was saying is if Canelo move up and beat him, he'll have to be cautious because he could run into something, which is all I said. Because Joe Smith would be the biggest puncher he ever fought.
Now the
And
funny,
and,
funny
and,
thing
and that's
is,
and that's the sad part because I don't think Joe Smith Jr. could really punch like that based on what I've seen. But
No, he
he
can,
punched
bro. You gotta
he
understand.
punched Hopkins out the
No,
ring.
he got. Yeah, he
the
beat
guy was
Hopkins and he beat
50,
Alvarez.
58, 56,
Hey,
58,
hey,
and then he got in there
no,
with
listen. He
Vlasov,
beat
and
Arsenio
Vlasov damn near
Alvarez.
beat him.
Hey, he
Listen,
knocked
Polo.
out
The funny
Alvarez
thing is, you
though. He
guys,
did knock Alvarez.
listen. You can't. But Canelo was hurt by Cotto. He was hurt by Cotto's brother. But the thing about it is also you gotta when people bring up Montiel, you know what they always say? Oh, Charlo should have knocked him out because Jaime Marguerite knocked him out. How long ago was that? That's when he was at 47 and he's at 60 now. So when you bring
Yeah,
up past fights for other fighters, but you don't want to accept the fact that Canelo can be hurt. We know he's on them. We know he's on that. The what is? We know
here we
he's on
go again.
that thing.
Excuses,
What is?
bro. Excuses,
It's
What is
not
it? Wild
excuses.
for
He's
me.
excuses,
still
man.
drugging.
Excuses,
It's not. It's not excuses. We know he's still on
excuses.
the clenbuterol. And you know what? They raised the
Excuses.
limit, so
Like I
now
said, bro.
no.
Excuses.
Wait, Polo.
Excuses.
Did
Nah,
the
I want to hear it,
WBC
bro.
raise the
Excuses.
limits? Yes or no?
Excuses.
So
Excuses,
did the
man.
WBC
Excuses.
raise the limits of
Hey,
clenbuterol?
Excuses,
Yes or no?
bro.
hey,
Excuses.
That's
hey,
an easy
look,
question.
guys, I gotta run, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all though.
See it, bro.
All right, you
All
have
right,
a
my
good one,
brother.
Julius.
All right, man. Enjoy your rest of your birthday, man.
Yep, almost over.
If you want to support PEDs in the sport polo, that's okay. You just gotta say that, bro. You just gotta say
Nah,
that.
I didn't say I support. I'm just saying it's excuses. Damn,
It's
like you
not
said,
It's not
excuses.
bro.
excuses.
It's
It's
okay if
fact.
you support it. Just keep it real. Just
No,
say I support
no, I don't support.
PEDs.
It's not
just
excuses,
keep it
brother. It's
real.
fact.
Damn.
They raised the limit,
Yeah,
so
I support long
if it's
counts
within
and
that
all
limit,
that.
they will never report it. So they will never report it. So we'll never know. But the fact of the matter is, he used the excuse of eating Mexican beef for the reason why he tested positive, failed 2 straight tests. Now, guess what? He could test the same level that he failed for, and we will never know. And and I showed you that video,
Like I
Polo.
said, bro.
I sent that video that Mauricio said, "Hey, clenbuterol, it grows and makes you big." So he's smiling and happy the fact that Canelo is allowed to use it. It's not an excuse, my brother. You can't support
Y'all see
PEDs just
logic in
Nah,
because
the
it's
it's your favorite
you
excuses.
see
Like
fighter.
I
logic
said,
in the chat. He
excuses.
says the difference is
Excuses.
when he fought Jacobs. Jacobs was undoubtedly second best middleweights at the time.
Yeah, I was talking to him in
Yeah,
chat
that's
because
what I told him.
I didn't want to disrupt the discourse. But it's funny how every time someone fights Canelo, no matter how they look, it magically they become garbage afterwards, even if they barely get hurt. Like I'm just confused about that.
Well,
Like he's like, oh well after because I said that Jacobs almost damn near lost to a fucking 12 loss Rosado. And then
but
he's like,
here's the
oh well,
thing, though, bro. You
after the
got
Canelo fight, it just took so much out of him. Then I'm like, what the fuck?
when he
What
beat
happened
What
in
did
the
Terence,
he
bro.
do
Canelo
Like
in
I
the
fight?
said,
fight
bro,
that just took
we
so
gotta
much out
see.
of Jacobs?
Exactly.
Mark,
No, but you can't just say
Marquez
that.
feel
You
like
gotta
that
look at
fight
the
was
ring
a
rust.
nod for Jacobs.
Ma- Nah, he's tripping, bro. We all saw it.
But you
Canelo
said
won that shit
Marquez out
clean.
here
I don't
just
know what
hating.
Marcus said. Bro, what the bro? You even man, that's some bullshit. Everybody know that. How did Jacobs win, bro? He just wanted to talk. Nah, Jacobs lost that
I
fight,
never
bro.
said he won. I'm just
Yeah, I
saying
didn't think Jacobs won that fight.
what happened to Jacobs to where oh my god he's just
Man,
not the
that
same
you was the
fighter no
one saying. I
more.
remember you
What
were
did
the
he
one
get hit
live
with?
saying, "Oh, that was a robbery." Bro,
I
he
never
was
said that
getting
was a robbery. What the
outboxed. He
fuck?
was getting outboxed. No, that's what Arman
I
said in
just
the
find it
beginning.
crazy
Oh,
that
When he was
all that crazy power that Canelo has, he didn't display that in the Jacobs fight.
he didn't do that at
bro, he
160. He
hurt
didn't knock
Jacobs.
out
Look at
shit at
that shit, bro.
160.
He only fought twice, but I'm saying he fought the two best
Yeah,
middleweights. I mean, who else did he
thank
fight at
you.
160 besides?
Well, guess
He did.
right.
He
You know
fought
what?
some good
That's an
punchers, like I
indictment
said,
against
bro.
him.
Hey, where was
He was
that?
boxed. He was
Yeah,
boxed
like I
in
said, bro.
between
Listen,
Charlo
like with
and
your favorite fight, like
he was boxed. Go ahead.
bro, he's gonna fight Charlo, bro. Listen, how are you gonna use the same excuses with your favorite fighter take? He's
Bro,
knocking out
okay,
these
well let me finish
featherweights,
making
these
my statement
bantamweights, but
then.
when you fight a
Since you're going on
legitimate,
that,
exactly,
I
like I
said he
said,
was
bro.
boxed
No,
in.
because like I said,
What he's going
you
to do
probably,
today has nothing to do. What he's going to do today, or this, the next fight has nothing to do with the fact that he ran from 160 to avoid Charlo and
bro, he's
Andre.
gonna fight
Those are
Charlo. Like I
facts.
said, bro, he's gonna fight
Well,
Charlo.
it
He's
hasn't
about
been
it.
announced yet, sir.
No,
We're
but if he
talking about
fights
what he
Charlo,
did.
sir, like I said, if he fights
What?
Charlo, sir,
What?
you're gonna look all those videos you were making. You're gonna look dumb, bro. Like all those videos
How
he's gonna
would
fight
I
Charlo.
look dumb about the videos
Because,
about him
bro,
ducking
because
Charlo? He duck or
bro,
he
he
did
didn't
not?
duck Charlo.
He,
He
so he
didn't
been
duck
ducking
Charlo. Like
Charlo
I
since
said,
154,
bro, he
and
didn't
he's
duck
been
Charlo.
ducking Charlo since
He didn't duck Charlo.
154, and he took
He
his
didn't duck Charlo.
PEDs to
How
get
did he duck
stronger,
Charlo?
bigger, faster, and stronger,
Okay, like I
and now
said,
he's,
bro.
you
Man,
know what I
I
mean?
just
He's
remember when people was telling us Charlo don't sell. He ain't fight nobody. He don't deserve a Canelo fight. Now that Canelo is gonna have the clear advantage, it's I want him in there right now with Canelo.
But
It's
when
just
you
crazy to
say
me, man.
I never
when you
said
say
that.
that
Who
he
said
didn't
that?
when you
I
say
always
that he
wanted to
didn't
say
duck
that somewhere.
Charlo, where did the franchise witness protection belt come from?
That's why I
Never in
always
the sport of
act like
boxing
that didn't
But
did it
exist.
exist, and then all of a sudden it existed. Like
but isn't
why?
that at 135 though? Isn't that at 135 there? I don't think he
No,
would
it
have
was invented at
vacated his belt and
160.
went to 130.
It was invented at
But then how
160
does
though.
135 have the issue though? Yeah, but did he ever actually? It was they're having issues at
Literally
135. I'm
because
pretty
of
sure.
Canelo
Wasn't
ducking
Lomo the only
Charlo,
one that requested it?
That's
Devin
why
Haney's
this
not
thing.
undisputed.
That's why this thing exists. It started this whole issue we have now.
And guess what? And guess what? He went up to 68. Did he? Oh, I'm going to fight my mandatory. But you refuse to fight your mandatory because you have quote unquote franchise at 160. But I'm going to fight your dear Yildirim. Really? Yo, I don't know why you can't see the
He
duck
was a
as clear as
mandatory at
day.
168. He was a
No, it was
mandatory.
requested. He was not
No,
ordered.
he was a mandatory. He
Mauricio
was a
said he would be.
mandatory. He was a
I
mandatory,
sent you
bro.
the video,
Benavidez
my.
lost the title, bro.
I'm gonna send you the video again right
Bro. I don't
now
want to
so you
listen
can
to the video
see.
you edited,
Okay,
bro. I don't want
I'm
to see
going to
it.
send you the tweet from Mauricio. I'm going to send you
Send
Mauricio
it.
the tweet from Mauricio. Okay, you can just look at it because you talking. I'm trying to give you the facts, sir. It
Bro,
wasn't ordered.
Jerome was a
Mauricio said he
mandatory. Jerome was a
requested.
mandatory. Bro,
Huh?
he was a mandatory. It was a
So it doesn't
mandatory. He
matter
defended
whether
his
he
mandatory.
wasn't ordered to fight him.
Bro, he defended his mandatory.
Charlo
He
was a
went against
mandatory
Yildirim.
too. Charlo was a
Yeah,
mandatory.
like I said, Yildirim was a mandatory.
He
He
said
fought him. His
Mauricio
father
told
Charlo
us
was a
that
defended him.
Charlo's an
mandatory.
unnecessary mandatory.
Charlo was a mandatory. Who's the better fighter, Yildirim or Charlo?
And Yildirim got stopped by Eubank Jr. That shit is fucking pathetic,
In
bro.
like the first round at that.
In the third round, that shit is, bruh.
And he was
Yeah.
You
coming
look,
off a loss
And
after a 2-year layoff.
Yildirim arguably, yeah, Yildirim arguably beat Darrell, bro. So we can do that all day.
No, we're not. No, what we're doing is the
hell
fact
no,
that
he didn't beat
he
Durrell.
came
What
off
the
for
fuck?
2 years off a layoff
I don't
after
know
a
about
loss,
that
2
one, man.
years.
That shit happened here in Minnesota, and people
Oh,
were booing
okay.
Darrell's decision. So I don't know, but like how
Wait,
do
you
you,
said what?
when they announced Darrell, they were booing.
Man,
Okay,
That
then
fight was
bro,
in
I was
GGG
Minnesota,
at
beat.
the
bro. When
Okay,
fucking
Darrell
then
got
Darrell
out versus
GGG beat Canelo. Then okay, GGG
versus
beat
yeah,
Fury at
that's
the
what
Canelo.
I'm
Armory.
If
saying.
you're
I
I
gonna
was
was
bring
at
that
front
up,
like
row.
they were booing.
and people
Man,
was
they was
booing
do they
Canelo
was
when
booing that
GGG
shit.
beat
If you
him.
remember, man,
You-
the first time,
oh my goodness, you're not making. Look, brother,
bro,
at
you're
least
not making
make it make
sense,
sense,
bro.
man.
Bro, you
You
don't make
keep
sense.
saying Yildirim was a mandatory.
He was mandatory.
WBC Mauricio said that he was not ordered, that Canelo requested to fight Yildirim. That's the difference, sir. When you got the WBC chairman, the president saying that Canelo requested, he wasn't ordered, he requested, that's saying that he chose him because he wanted the easy fight. Simple as that.
Bro, he
But the
defended
same
his.
reason why he requested to fight his quote unquote mandatory, he ducked out of 2 mandatories and undisputed from 160. That's an indictment. That's an indictment that he did
Like
not
I
choose to
said, bro,
fight
he's
the
gonna
best.
fight. Listen, He's gonna fight Charlo. He's gonna fight him, and the Caesar is still gonna be there. He's gonna
I
fight
hope so.
Charlo, beat him, and like I said, yeah. Then when he beats him, like I said, but don't go hiding. Don't go, like I said, bro.
Dude, I
Just
don't go hiding.
be there and keep your videos, bro. Like you
Dude,
said, keep the
I don't make
videos up that he
excuses.
when he beats him.
Why
All
would you
right,
think
but then
I've
you do.
never
You always make
erased any
excuses.
videos, sir? Only my only time
Like I
my
said,
videos got erased is when my name got my name got suspended. So my name got suspended 7 months ago, and you know what I mean. So other than that, those the only videos are gone. But under this current name, no, I don't erase videos, brother. And everything I said is still factual. When Canelo fights the
like I
best
said, bro.
to
He's gonna
prove
beat
that he's
him.
the best, I will support him.
He's gonna
Simple
fight
as that.
Charlo.
Okay,
Okay,
but
if
it
he's gonna
hasn't been
beat
announced,
Charlo, he
sir.
went undisputed. Like I said, he's gonna listen. It's gonna get announced, and he's gonna go to 175 and fight Better Beef and all those guys. And when he beats all of them, like I said, put some respect on his name.
I don't
You
like I
know,
said. I don't even think that he's fighting Charlo. But again, like I
Like
said,
I
you
said,
you
it's
got
gonna happen.
you guys only understand that weight classes and timing mean something whenever you talk about the Mayweather L. But when it comes to fighting everybody else, all of a sudden weight classes and timing don't mean shit.
We have a question
Like
though.
for example,
So I have
if
a
he had
question.
fought Amir Khan at 147 or 140 instead of fucking 155 where he fought him, that shit wouldn't have gone that goddamn way. And I think y'all know that, and I think Canelo's team knows that.
No, no, bro,
The same
no.
way they
Like I
know
said,
that
bro,
fighting Charlo and Andrade at 160 doesn't go the same way it does if he has to drag them up one or two or three weight classes. It's the same sort of situation. The Reynoso camp isn't dumb, bro. And that's okay. Like I said, I don't
bro.
really
But
give a
here's
shit.
like
I
I
don't
said,
really care what he does.
bro.
And
If he would
I
have
think
fought
Charlo dumb as
Amir
fuck
Khan at
if he
welterweight,
does that shit.
hey, but if he would have fought Amir Khan at welterweight, bro, he still would have knocked him out. That fight would
Nah,
have probably gone like maybe a
nah.
round. No,
He probably would have got
he would have knocked
decision.
him out.
He probably would have got outboxed.
Bro, fuck no, bro. You're on meth. You're doing meth,
Dude,
bro. He would
Canelo
have
went
not
12 with people like
knocked
Matthew
Amir
Hatton
Khan.
when he was that little. Like, come on, bro.
Bro, that's
He,
Matthew,
he,
bro.
Matthew
But if he would have
Hatton.
fought at welterweight, bro, Amir Khan,
Come on, bro.
Amir Khan, the same Amir Khan that got knocked out by Brady's Prescott. Is that the same Amir Khan that got knocked out in the first round by Brady's Prescott? That Amir
Yeah,
Khan? Yeah,
yeah,
Amir Khan
yeah,
beat
yeah.
Canelo, bro. Totally,
And then he's
totally.
going
Yeah.
12 with
The
people
same. It's
like
the same.
Indu, and then he's going 12 with people like Leonardo Tyner and all these people that we've never heard of. Yeah, Amir Khan would have probably decisioned that ass.
Canelo doesn't have a high
Nah, he would
knockout
have not
ratio.
decision that as.
He does not have Canelo. All of a sudden, when he started juicing, all of a sudden, and his own promoter Eddie Hearn clearly said everybody can tell that he's been cheating and he's been cycling. Everybody knows. You know it. I don't know why you just don't want to accept it. Canelo's been cheating and he's going to continue to cheat because they raised the levels, and we will never see that the fact the levels could be the same as the last time he failed, and we would never know. You know why? And Mauricio Solomon is happy about that.
Yeah, and
Couldn't
for
be
that,
wrong.
and for those reasons, I don't even really check in on who he's fighting. If he's fighting fucking Chavez Jr. again, or he's fighting his fucking barber, I don't check in. I really don't. I'm just like, okay, cool, great. This Charlo shit, I checked in because he potentially Charlo's thirsty ass really wants a paycheck that bad to where it could potentially damage the rest of his career doing this shit. Go ahead, take a risk. Go ahead, get your little bitty money, and then get the fuck on out the way then, because you know this fight should have happened this fight should have happened at 160 or at 168 before he went all the way up to light heavyweight and started doing all that shit. So go ahead, you know, get in there with Charlo, most likely stop him,
He only
and
went
then
up to light
we can
heavyweight
move on.
once. He only
But
went to
now he's
light
talking about
heavyweight
going to
once. He
cruiser,
only
bro.
went to light heavyweight. Yeah, but he
That's
hasn't
cool.
gone
But now he's talking
cruiser.
about
So he's
cruiser.
only gone to light heavyweight once.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
but I'm
But
saying
Charlo
after
hasn't even
he
been up to
defends his title
168
fight,
though.
Charlotte, yeah.
He hasn't even been up to 168
But that's
though.
his fault, bro. He could have gotten in a fight. Listen, after he fought Montel, he could have had a fight in between.
But
He could have
why?
decided he waited.
With
That's his
who?
fault. Like he could have.
His weight class
Who?
is
What do you mean?
160.
Why? Like who?
Why?
No,
Why should he?
who could he have
Yeah, but
fought?
I'm
Who could he have
saying
fought?
he's gonna fight Canelo. Bro, there's a lot of points.
Because Canelo won
He could have fought anybody in
unfair
the ring. He
competitive
could have
advantage.
vacated the belt.
But why? What makes Charlo's had what 6 fights or I think 5 fights at 160, whatever the case may be. Why would he drop his belt? The only reason why he's going up to 168 is for Canelo. because
he's
he's been
gonna get all
chasing
the
them since
chance to be
154.
undisputed. Yeah, like I
No, he
said,
wants
bro, he
that
get all the
money,
chance,
and that's
and
okay
he wants a
too.
chance undisputed.
He's been chasing
Yeah,
Canelo.
yeah.
Canelo is a legacy
Like
fight. The only two fights available for Charlo right now, there's only two fights, and that's GGG and
Benavidez.
Canelo. That's not a legacy fight, sir.
Yeah, Benavidez is absolutely up there. He should, I thought I wanted to see that fight, but apparently he's doing
But
whatever he's doing. Benavidez needs to go to 175. Like people keep talking
there,
about how Charlo needs to move up. Benavidez needs to fucking move up.
Charlo fighting
That's what I'm
Benavidez for
saying.
no belt at 168 makes no sense at all. Zero. If he
But he's
beats
gonna fight
Benavidez at
Canelo, bro.
168,
Makes up.
well, we know this, sir. We've been trying to get him to fight Canelo forever. You've seen the videos. I've made them. You've seen them. You've
Like I said,
commented
he's
on them.
finally gonna fight him. He's finally gonna fight him. So then, yeah. But
I'm not
how are
gonna
you gonna
say
do
that
this with the
until we
division?
actually see some definitive news that he's gonna fight
Let
him.
me listen. So how do you want Canelo to fight Benavidez when Benavidez has no title to offer? So that doesn't make sense. But you don't want Benavidez to fight Charlo. Make it make sense, bro. Like it doesn't make sense. You
Make
want
it make
Canelo to fight
sense.
Benavidez when
Okay.
he has
Let me
no
make it
title to
make sense
offer.
for you. Let me make
Yeah,
it make sense for you. Who else Canelo going to fight at
who's the A
168?
side? Who's the A side? Who's
Dude, you're changing. Come on,
obviously
you're not even
Charlo's
making
gonna
sense
jump
right
in and
now.
try to get the
You
title,
asked me
bro.
who else.
But I'm saying making sense. You're
Benavidez
not
is the
making
number
sense,
one
bro.
fighter at
Like I said,
168.
you don't want to see Charlo versus Benavidez because you said Benavidez ain't got a title, but now you want to see Benavidez versus Canelo. But what title does Benavidez have? It
So
makes
so
no
so
sense.
based on what you're Polo, so based on what you're saying, Canelo's not ever going to fight anybody else at 168 then because no one else has titles because they got them all. So what you're
I
saying
mean,
doesn't
you
make
wanted to
sense.
see the
His
Canelo fight. How
division is
long is, like I said,
168,
now he's
sir.
fun.
I don't
Yeah,
think
but
Canelo's even
like I
going
said,
back down to 168. I don't think he's gonna fight there again. Like I said,
yeah, listen, bro.
this all sounds nice, but we've been down this road with Canelo before, and we've all been disappointed. So
Listen, I'm
I'm
gonna
not
tell you
gonna
what.
I'm not gonna expect this shit to be different
Fight
this time.
Charlo. He's gonna fight Charlo. He's gonna fight
Okay,
Charlo. Listen, he's gonna
okay.
defend his title. Then he's
I'm
gonna
not going to
vacate all
pump
the
that
title the
until I hear
following
about it,
vacate.
until it's official, sir. Until
Bro,
it's
I'm telling
official, I
you.
won't
Then he's
even.
gonna fight Michael. Like he's gonna fight
Until
Yeah,
Michael.
it's
He's gonna fight
I don't
Michael for the
think.
you want
cruiserweight
that
title
fight,
or
don't you?
whatever.
You want him to fight the Comey of one of cruiserweight, huh? You want him to fight the Comey
Bro, it doesn't matter. Like I said, he's a
of
champion.
cruiserweight.
Bro, when you become, like I said,
Okay.
bro, I don't know why don't rate you become a champion then. Let's see if you can do it then. If he's that trash, you go there and beat Michael Wu if he's that trash. Have you ever boxed in your life?
Okay.
Exactly. So
Do
Okay.
I
Let me
get
ask
can't
you.
come, like I
do
said,
I
as a
get a two
champion.
drug test
Let him
failure
get
allowance? Because I could definitely do it with that.
Yeah, go ahead,
They
bro.
probably won't even
Go
do
ahead, bro.
VADA.
Go ahead. This
They
is you.
probably won't even do VADA when he fights Makabu. They won't even
He can
do it.
do VADA, bro. They can request it.
Yeah, and VADA
Like I
will
said,
hide
bro, you
the.
become a
Listen,
champion. You
VADA
go out
cheats
there and
for
become a
him.
champion.
WBC been
You go
cheating
out
for him.
there. You say Michael was trash. You go in there and challenge for his title, bro. If it's that easy.
No,
If it's that
but
easy, we would all be
I
champions,
have
bro. If it was
zero
that easy.
interest of seeing Canelo
Exactly,
duck
bro.
the best at 160, 168, and even the best at 175 to fight at one
Bro,
at
he fought the
cruiserweight. It
best.
doesn't
He
make any
fought
sense,
Triple G
sir.
and he fought Jacobs. And then he fought Callum Smith
He
and he
fought
fought Caleb
two
Plant.
fighters,
Bro,
at
they were the
160.
best at their champion. Like I said, bro, I don't want to keep talking about it. I already stated that we're going to stop it here. Move on. He fought the top two. At 160, he fought the top two. At 160, he fought the top fighter at 154, which was Lara and Cotto. So, yeah, like I said, I don't want to
He
hear
fought
it.
Lara at 155, so he's not fighting the
Yeah, but
best at
I'm saying he was a
154. He's
champ.
fighting the best at
It
155.
is,
Oh
yeah,
my
it was
goodness.
at Lara was at 154. So, was they
No, he
fighting
fought him at
155?
155 though. No, he fought him at 155. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't respect any
Let me
fighter
look.
who ducks he ducked two mandatories and undisputed. When you refuse to fight Andre for undisputed at 160, sir, don't tell me that he fought the two best at
He did
160.
fight the best. He did fight the
How
best,
do we
bro.
know they were the best
He
when
fought
they
the
didn't
best,
fight each other? How can we
bro. Jacobs was the
quantify them as the
best, and
best when they
Triple
never
G,
fought
bro.
each other? You can't
Bro,
fight two
listen,
fighters.
Triple G
You
was
can't
number
move to
one.
a weight
Jacobs number
class
two,
and only
bro.
fight two fighters and claim he fought the best.
He fought the best. It was Triple G and Jacobs. There was
How
no
could
other
it?
anybody else.
Did
Andre
he
won the
duck two
belt after.
mandatories? Yes or no?
Andre,
Did he tuck two mandatories in
name the
Andre for
two
undisputed?
managers.
Yes or
Name the
no?
two managers. Name the managers he dug. Okay, you said who's the second mandatory?
Charlo was WBC and Devchenko was IBF, and he got stripped for not
Bro, it
fighting
doesn't make sense.
Shevchenko.
Listen. He wanted to, bro. He got nothing from fighting Derevchenko. What is he gonna get Derevchenko? Has Derevchenko been champion? What is Derevchenko besides a tough contender? That's it. He
It's
wanted to
called
chase. He wanted a champion. He wanted to chase
it's
legacy. So,
sir, it's
bro, he
called
was.
fighting your
Oh my God,
mandatories that
Derevchenko
were
never won a
ordered.
champion, sir. Bro, we already said he didn't duck it. The negotiations
How
didn't
can you
go
not
through, and he couldn't fight him.
listen? They get
How did he duck
listen,
him,
Polo.
bro? They
Let me get this
couldn't.
out, Polo. Let me get this out. You can respond, sir. Listen. So if you get 3 extensions, purse bid extensions, 3 purse bid extensions, and you fail to put in a bid, what is that saying? You ducked. That's the reason why the IBF stripped him. Okay? So
Yeah,
don't
they
say what
stripped
he
him.
didn't have. Listen, when you fight mandatories, Canelo didn't invent the boxing system. He's a part of it. So in that, you when you are ranked as a mandatory fighter, that means you have to fight that person. Plain and simple. You just went on a diatribe of why he fought Yildirim because he was mandatory. But now you're making excuses for him ducking the WBC and IBF mandatory at 160, and then you say he fought the best. Okay, so
He
that
did
doesn't make
fight the
any sense.
best. He did
No,
fight the
no,
best.
that's
Doesn't make
well,
sense. He did
you
fight the
I
best.
can't
He
mean,
fight
fought
two
Rocky
fighters in a
Fielding
weight
is
class.
one of the best.
My thing is, you can't say that he fought the best at
Hey,
154 when he was competing at 155. You
Oh,
can't do that shit.
he made up his own weight
bro,
class,
he fought the. Like
155.
I
I've
said,
never
bro, he
heard of
fought.
that ever in my
That's
life.
cool,
He
bro.
made up
Like
his
I
the
said, that's
dude made up
cool,
his own weight
bro.
class,
That's cool. Like
and
I
he
said,
lost
that's
to
cool. He
Floyd,
fought the
and
best.
he
He
lost to
fought Triple G.
Lara, and he got a draw
Yeah,
with
so
Trout.
he lost. Like I said, bro. He didn't lose, bro. He didn't lose. He got a draw with Trump, bro. Get out of here, bro. You don't know what
Do,
you're talking
do,
about, bro.
do you
Clearly,
realize
you're
he was
buying.
also?
You
Do you
watch
realize he
boxing.
was
He
Andre's
didn't,
mandatory
bro. He
at
didn't,
154,
bro.
and
He
he
didn't get a
refused to
draw,
fight him?
bro. He beat Trout, bro. You're biased. You're biased as fuck. Like I said, you're biased. You don't know what you're
Well,
talking
I
about.
think he beat
You don't
Trout, but
understand
I
what
don't think he
boxing
beat
is. He
Lara.
did not drug Trout, bro. He beat Trout. He lost the Midwest Street. He beat Lara. Like I
No,
said, he
I don't
did
think
beat
he beat
Dizzy,
Lara.
bro.
He
He
beat
beat
Trout, but
Lara, in
not
my
Lara.
opinion. Bro,
No,
but this
no,
dude
no,
just
no, no,
literally
no, no,
said he
no,
beat.
no.
Listen. In my opinion, he'd be like, this guy has said on there. He dropped with Trout. He lost 4 Triple G fights. He lost to Lara.
That's his
Clearly
opinion.
doesn't fight him.
That's fine. But I'm
Yeah, but
saying
I'm
that
just saying,
he
bro. Like,
he didn't beat Lara. He didn't beat Lara,
no,
but
he beat
he beat
Lara,
Trout.
bro. Bro,
No,
Lara didn't
no,
win
no,
up to
no,
him. Canelo
no,
beat. Yes, he did, bro.
no.
Like
Lara
I
won that
said,
shit.
then. Nah, bro. Like I said, if Lara won that, then Castano won the Charlo fight. If you want to do that, then
Okay,
okay, we could do that.
okay,
Canelo lost, but Castano won against Charlo.
And hey, that's
okay.
your opinion.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah, like
cool.
I said, if you want to do that, that's cool. Like I said, if you want to do that, then Castano beat Charlo clearly. Charlo didn't win that fight, and then Canelo lost. Then, if you want to do that route, then
Shit. Castano will probably
So,
give
yeah.
Canelo problems if he was actually fighting at 154. I'll tell you that.
so you know what? Canelo
Canelo, that
never
style of
dominated
killer, man, he would have
154.
knocked him out.
Canelo never dominated 154 because he lost to Floyd, and we already talked about
He was,
the other fights that he, you know,
bro. He beat
Lara
Trout.
and
He
Trout lost.
unified. He beat Trout. Was coming for beating Cotto.
Okay,
He beat
but
Cotto,
why did
and he beat
the
Trout. And he was,
why
and
didn't he fight
bro,
Andre
who
to
was that?
154 for the
154.
WBA?
K9.
He was the
Bro, Andre had
mandatory
a
to fight
regular belt. He
Andre, and
didn't
he
have
refused
no,
to fight
bro.
him.
He
He
had the
only
regular
fought for
belt.
that title after
Listen.
Andre was
He
stripped
fought.
for
He fought
inactivity.
Lara. He fought Lara. Listen. He fought Lara. Then he went and fought Cotto for that middleweight strap. Then he defended against Amir Khan. Then he came back and fought Liam Smith. I don't think he got Andre. He fought Smith because, like I said, he wanted to add that one more title. Then he went up to fight Chavez. Then he fought Triple G. I don't think he ducked Andre.
Who
You
had the
have an
belt
argument
before
that
Smith?
he ducked
Who had that belt before Smith?
Andre, but that was years ago, bro. That was literally 2 years ago. Didn't Andre get
Okay,
stripped?
okay.
Yeah, but listen,
He
so
got
that
stripped for inactivity because no
yeah,
one would
that's his
agree to
fault.
fight him. No,
Bro, first of
It's
all,
not his fault. No
he
one would
didn't have a
agree to
Charlo.
fight him.
Didn't he pull out with the Charlo fight, and he pulled out with the
Yeah,
Derevchenko fight?
no,
That
he
Andre
didn't pull out of the Deverenchenko fight, but he did pull out of the Charlo fight
happened.
because that was a unification
Oh, he
though.
didn't want to fight Lara. He didn't want to
That
fight
wasn't a
Lara. He didn't
mandatory.
want to
Wait,
fight Lara. What did he say?
when
Oh,
did
I
he
don't want to fight Lara. Yeah,
when did
he
he
did.
say
There's a
that?
video.
When did he say
He
that?
stated that I don't want to fight Lara. He's a boring fighter. Then
When?
Canelo fought him.
When did he say he
Canelo
didn't want
fought
to fight
when Lara
Lara?
was avoiding. Bro, I can literally pull up the video. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Because it's funny because you're saying that Canelo beat Lara, and Andre wanted to fight Canelo, but then you're now saying he's ducking Lara by fighting Canelo. So it's kind of I'm just
No,
trying to
he
like sort
ducked.
it all out here.
No, he ducked Lara. Like I said, bro, when nobody wanted
He
to
he
fight,
du- he was ducking
Andre
Lara
came.
to fight Canelo. That doesn't
No,
come
he
on,
ducked
bro.
Lara, bro.
He
That makes
ducked
no sense,
Lara
bro.
by
He
wanting to
ducked
fight
Lara,
Canelo, and you said Canelo beat
bro.
Lara.
He ducked Lara. So yeah, that's what
Come
I'm saying.
on,
And after
Polo.
that, Canelo
Come
would have had,
on, Polo.
bro. Come on, come
So he
on, D
ducked
hype.
Lara, but
Come
he
on,
didn't
D
fight. He
hype.
didn't duck
When nobody
Cotto.
wanted to fight,
He ducked Lara, but he didn't duck
who didn't duck?
Canelo.
Who?
Listen. I respect you, Canelo apologists, for always being on code because you guys will never see him
Nah,
do
nah.
any
Like I
wrong.
said, bro, I respect you
He,
too, being a Tank fan. Like I said, bro, I respect you for being
I
a
am a
Tank
Tank fan.
fanboy. So it's
Absolutely,
cool.
I'm a
Yeah,
Tank
you
fan
are.
just
Like
as
you
much
said, D hype said, you're never gonna
Gary
meet this
Antoine
person.
Russell.
He doesn't care
You
about you,
can put
bro. He
them
doesn't,
in the same boat.
bro. Yeah, like you said,
I'm
bro.
gonna toot the horn
Bro,
for
I
him.
actually went to
Absolutely.
a Canelo fight. I actually got an autograph and a picture with him, bro. You know, I don't know if Terence
I'm
went,
glad you
but I
did.
went to a fight.
And
I went
I've
to a
bought
fight.
all of Tank's pay-per-views. What's your point, bro?
No, no, I said that. Like D Hype said, you're never gonna meet Tank. You defend him. You're. I'm not talking about you, bro. I'm talking about him. But like I said,
Oh,
at
okay.
least I went to one of his fights and I got a picture with him and an autograph boxing glove. So I'm like, you
Dude, I
know,
done been in Mike Tyson's house. I'd have met Muhammad Ali. I'd have met Sugar Ray Leonard. I'd have met
shit.
these fighters I want to meet.
Where'd you meet him?
Okay,
On EA.
I just said
Man,
I
what
went to
does that
Mike
even
Tyson's house.
matter? What are y'all even talking?
So what I'm saying, if
He
I
said he
want to
was
meet
inside
Tank,
Mike
if I want to
Tyson's
meet
house.
fighters, then I'll go to the fights and I'll meet whoever I want. I got connections. I can meet people if I want to meet them. It's not imperative for me to say I want to meet this fighter. I'm not. That's not me, sir. If I was, I'd be at all these fights. Now, wouldn't I? Trying to meet them. But no, that's not my point. So congratulations. I'm glad you got your autograph and your poster of Canelo signed for you. But my point is, you still have not come up with a good reason for Canelo ducking out of 160 and refusing to fight Andre for undisputed at 160. Hello.
Yeah, I'm still like
Yeah,
I
man.
said, bro.
I'm ready for.
I'm kind of didn't want to get.
I'm ready to see who these guys will start picking to fight this year. Like, didn't Showtime say they're gonna have another announcement like they did years before?
Yeah, they're gonna have some sort of schedule. I know. Like I said, I hope they're getting Gary Antoine Russell more work. I hope they're getting Frank Martin more work. I hope they're getting El Rayo more work. And I hope, I hope that these people that they're supposed to be, that they're supposed to be working on, like Gary Antoine, I hope they're getting fights. Like Subra Matias, they said he's got to do a rematch with Petros Anania, which should be good. I think he's gonna lay that motherfucker to rest.
Wait,
And
you think Gary Antoine beats Roberto Matiz like that easy?
I
oh
do.
no, I'm talking about Subra Matias versus Petros Anania. But yeah, I think Antoine Russell beat Subra Matias. Subra Matias he's not a boxer.
Have you seen Gary Antoine Russell fight, Polo?
Yeah, I have. Of course, he's a beast. But I'm saying I've seen Cyril Matiz fight. That's why your boy Tank they dropped that 140 fight because in-house opponents mean Sabir Matiz and Gary Antoine Russell. See, they're not dumb, bro. They saw, oh shit, Anton Russell and Sabir Matiz means in-house opponents. Let me drop this belt.
Whatever theories you have, sir, that's fine. Whatever you come up in your mind to
D Hive
formulate,
knows
I'm
too.
not going to even argue
Hey, D
your
Hive knows what's
reasonings.
up.
But I'm just saying, Gary
D
Antoine
Hive knows
Russell.
too. D Hive.
Well, personally, I
In
think
my
that Tank
opinion,
will
Gary Antoine
fold.
Russell beats.
I think Tank will fold Subra Matias pretty horribly, but I think that Gary Antoine Russell and Tank is definitely a 50-50.
I don't want to see Tank fight Gary Antoine Russell. It will be
Why
heartache for
not?
me because I can't pick one. My heart goes with Tank, but if I have to look at the physical attributes, if they're equal in skill and one is bigger and stronger, then again, I don't even want to I don't want to get a headache formulate my mind about them because when Tank goes up to 140, then I can talk about it. Tank fought one fight at 140. They've been
No,
saying
but
he's
I
not a
think
140
Sabermetis
fighter.
actually gives Tank a fight though. Yo,
He
D
would
Hive,
give
I
him a
don't know
fight,
why
but he would
you
end
were
up
high
getting
for
knocked
but I
out.
think Matisse gets. You think
Yeah, no,
so? Nah, I think Tank. I actually like Tank, but I think those fights will be 50-50. Like I think they go the distance. I don't think anybody gets knocked. I think
no.
both of them.
Subra Matias will
Because I
get knocked
mean,
out.
have you
His
seen Cyril
defense
Matiz
is
get hurt?
Yeah, his defense is horrible. Jukumbayev had him hurt. Jukumbayev had him fucking wobbling. Petros Ananian had him wobbling, and Petro Ananian beat him.
Yeah, but by 1 round, bro. Like, look how they like. I mean,
Hey, you
like I
asked me,
said,
have I seen the man hurt? I told you 2 times the man was hurt. Tank will stop Super Matias, dog. It is what it is.
I want to see it, bro. Like I said, I would want to see it. Like I said,
Hey, me too, but I can't. Hey, it is what it is. I can't talk. I can't. I want to see it too, but shit. They doing what they doing.
Again, so you want Tank to just go again? He did the 140 thing. The only on 145 I want to see him fight is if it's for undisputed, and that's it. Other than that, there's nobody else I want him to see a fight at 140 because he's not a 140 fighter. They did that. They
yeah,
challenged
but
himself to
Josh
be
Taylor,
greatness.
to be honest, yeah, he said he was gonna fight Josh Taylor 2 years ago, man. Does that fight happen?
When
No,
did
he
Tank say
did.
that? No, he
He
didn't.
said he would beat his ass. That was it. He
Yeah,
said
he
we'd
did. He
knock him
posted
out,
on
but
Twitter.
he
He
didn't
said
say they were trying to make the fight. I hope they make the fight, but that's
no.
the
He said
only
I'll
fight
be. I want to
that I
fight. He
want
said
him
I want to
want to
fight Josh
see.
Taylor after this.
No,
And
he
I
Listen,
didn't.
think Josh Taylor,
He
Josh
didn't
Taylor,
say all that.
no, I
No,
didn't
he
hear
did.
that, brother.
He didn't
tweeted,
say
bro.
all
He
that.
tweeted. He said I'll fight Josh Taylor. He said I want to fight Josh
Tank says
Taylor
that
after
about
this.
everybody. Yeah.
He posted.
He's just talking. He says that about it. He says he'll beat everyone's ass. He's supposed to feel that way. He's a professional fucking fighter, bro.
People asked him questions, and
But he
he answered
tweeted
and
it and said I
responded.
want to fight
It's
Josh
the
Taylor.
same thing with Charlo and Benavidez. People was asking him, and Charlo, he's being a macho man, or I knock him out. That's what fighters do. They say that. You think, I don't know about that. No, you're not going to show any insecurities. You got to show, nah. You bring up the name, I knock him out too. So, but my whole thing is, even with 168, you know what I mean? The only fight I want to see Charlo fight at 168 would be for Canelo. Other than that, I
Yeah.
want him to master the 160 division the way that Canelo refused to do. I don't
What do
want
you
Charlo.
mean, bro? He hasn't
Charlo
even
not going to run
unified,
from
bro.
undisputed the
He's
way
been at
Canelo
the
ducked
bro.
undisputed.
Like I said, that's cool, bro. He's been at 164 years and he's unified. He hasn't unified shit. Like I said, bro. He's
How
been
can he
fighting his
unify
Juan
if they refusing to
Matias,
fight him?
his biggest win. Bro, he can easily fight Boo Andre. How come that fight hasn't been made?
Well,
He
we
could have
already
fought
talked
Murata
about
when
the.
Murata was. Like I said, bro, you can make excuses. By that time, Canelo went there, fought 2 fights and unified quicker than. Like I said, bro, it's easier to fight Juan Matias, Sebastian, whatever his name is, the ex-soccer player
Well,
that became a
Charlo didn't
boxer.
ask for a franchise belt to get away from himself. So,
Like I said, bro, Juan Matias. Like I said, if Charles doesn't want it, Juan Matias can jump up and he can make history. Get a
Think about this.
Mexican
Canelo actually dropped
payday.
his belt to avoid
okay,
fighting
fuck it.
Charlo.
Wouldn't be no
Canelo
different than
dropped his
Chavez
belt.
Jr.
Yeah, I don't wouldn't mind seeing.
Canelo vacated
Yeah, like I
his
said, I
belt to
wouldn't. But
avoid
Chavez
fighting
Jr. was a
Charlo.
champion, homie, and he actually has wins for a couple of famous. Juan Matias was
Chavez
never
Jr.
champion.
is one of the biggest
His
quitters in
biggest
all of
win
boxing, and
was a
he lost to
champion,
Anderson Silva. He
bro.
got
Like
beat
I
up by
said, he was
Anderson
a champion.
Silva. Oh my
Bro,
goodness.
okay. Like I said, bro, that was years after the dude that had drug. Bro, like I said, he beat a champion. He's fought Hall of Famer. So, like I said, Juan
Hall
Matias'
of
biggest win
Famer.
was
Oh no, that's where we
James
disagree, sir.
Kirkland. The same. Sergio Martinez wasn't a Hall of Famer, homie. Last time I checked, wasn't
Oh
a
no,
Hall
I
of
thought you were
Famer
talking
since
about
Paul
Chavez
Williams
Jr.
in
I thought you were talking about
2000. I
Chavez
believe.
Jr.
No, I'm saying Sergio Martinez. He's
Oh,
a Hall
okay.
of Famer. No, I
Maybe
said
that's
he's been in there
debatable.
with Hall of Famer. He's not a Hall of Famer, Ben. Yeah, bro, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Chavez Jr. is not a Hall of Famer. Hell no.
Sergio Martinez isn't.
Oh, Sergio,
That's what I
debatable.
just said. No, he's a
Debatable.
Hall of Famer, bro. He's a
Nah, that's
Hall of
debatable.
Famer, bro.
We'd have
Hall of
to have
Famer.
a whole other argument about that one.
No, he's a Hall of Famer, bro. He proved himself. He
Who's the Hall
started
of Famer?
boxing at 21. Sergio
Who?
Martinez, the one that knocked out Paul Williams. Sergio Martinez.
How is okay? I don't.
That's
Okay,
debatable.
I haven't quantified. I can't say he's not a Hall of Famer, but I can tell you I've never quantified him as a Hall of Famer. I got to look at his record and see who he's beaten and what qualifies him.
He beat Kelly Povich.
That name has never come up in my mind. But that doesn't make him a Hall of Famer.
That's fine. Like I said, bro. Like you said, you have fighters that you probably think Tank is a Hall of Famer right now, and I disagree.
Hell no,
Like I said, you think Tank is a Hall of
Tank has
Bro,
only
you
had
think
26 fights. Well, how could he be a Hall of Famer? Now, at 26 fights, Tank has his 26 fight record is better than Canelo's 26 fight record. He accomplished more in 26 fights than Canelo has.
I don't.
Canelo wasn't a
So
champion in his.
who was his biggest win? Leo's. No, that's fine.
Bro,
Like I said, bro, he was
Canelo
fighting.
didn't fight a
He had
single
other
name
people.
until his 40th fight. So let's cut that out all the way. Like, don't do that.
No, he
Yeah,
fought.
so
No, that's not true. That's not true. Look at his resume. That's not true. That's not true. Like I said,
What? Shane
hey,
Mosley at 40 years old
like
for
I
no
said,
titles?
no, that's
Come
not
on,
true.
dog. Come on,
he
No,
fought
dog.
Floyd. It was
And he was supposed to
Floyd was his
stop
he
Shane
fought
44th
Mosley
Kermit
fight.
too.
Citron. He fought.
Exactly.
No, he
Floyd
fought.
was
Yes,
Canelo's 44th fight.
Did
That
you
was,
just
and
say
then it was
no,
his
Kermit Cintron?
seventh
Did you
title.
really
Kermit
just say
Citron
Kermit
was a champ.
Cintron?
Bro, you said
Oh
that
my
name. He was a
God, bro.
champion. Bro, he
Kermit
was a
Cintron,
champion.
bro. Come
Bro,
on,
look,
dog.
bro, he was a
Floyd was
champion. He
Canelo's
was a champ.
44th fight, and it was his seventh title defense. Until that run, he hadn't fought anybody. So you talk about
Okay,
before
that's
Floyd, you
fine.
had Kermit Citron, and you
Aus-
got
Austin Trout, Shane
Austin
Mosley.
Trout,
He fought. He
and
fought.
who else can you name?
The dude from Australia. The dude from Australia that was an IBF champion at June. He fought Miguel Vasquez. He's fought champions, bro. Like I said, he had names. Like you said, bro. They're
No, he
better
didn't.
names than Mario Barrios, than Ricardo Nunez, than Hugo Reis. If you ask me,
Tank
I
for
think
Barrios
Austin
in
Trout
his
was better than
26th
Mario.
fight. You
Yeah, and then you pick it, bro. You're picking Barrios to beat Thurman just so
think
he can look good,
he challenged
and I
himself?
guarantee you, Thurman.
To,
Yeah, if Theo Thurman's gonna kick his ass and stop him. So like I said, that victory is not gonna age well. I
I
like
don't
Barrios. He
see
has
Thurman.
good
I don't see Thurman
skills,
stopping
but he's not
Barrios
gonna
at
be one.
all.
no, I'm actually picking
No,
Barrios to win, and because I think Thurman is more
yeah, but
talented,
stop.
but because of his layoff and his rust, and he's got married and he's got the Bangladeshi
No,
wife, he's been laying up in that nest.
bro.
He's
You're only picking
comfortable.
him just so yo,
Wow,
bro. You're only picking him just so that Tank victory can look well.
I'm
You
only
don't care for
dude.
Barrios, bro. Don't lie
Dude,
to
I
yourself.
made videos about Barrios. What are you talking about? I made highlight because people weren't giving him. Listen, the
Bro,
same way I
Tank's
gave.
biggest win.
Listen, Polo. Let me get this out. The same way I gave Isaac Cruz props. I'm very consistent. I gave Isaac Cruz props before the Tank fight. Right before, I'm like, hey, this guy, he's better than Raleigh. He's better than Ryan. I said this is gonna be a tough fight. I also said before the fight that's gonna it could go to distance. I also said he's gonna be Castano. I said he's gonna be the Castano version. It could be very tough and could go the distance.
I thought it was
So
Maidana.
no, I said the
No,
Maidana
I think
as far as is the I said my tweet said Castano. I said Maidana based on the rematch situation with Floyd. I said he could be the Castano
Stein.
to
Yeah, he did say
Charlo,
that. He
which
did
means it
say
could
that.
go the
He
distance.
did say
But I
that.
said he can be the Maidana as far as people think he
In the
beat
rematch.
him, and so he going to rematch him to show people no, it wasn't a closest fight that you think it was. I gave Cruz 4 rounds,
No, the
but he was a
rematch.
very tough game
No,
opponent.
I give it
But
5. It
Maidana,
was.
Floyd beat him. To me, it wasn't a hard. He had a rough first couple of rounds. But then the second fight was a wipeout, and I think that's how Tank would do Cruz. The second fight, it would be much easier, and I think he'll wipe him out. So
Dude,
that would be the
if
Maidana fight.
Tank did Polo,
No, I don't think so.
if Tank didn't break his hand, Cruz would have been stopped, bro. That it's just that simple. If Tank hadn't have
No,
broken
he
his hand
wouldn't.
when he did,
Okay,
Cruz
that's
would have got
fine.
stopped.
That's fine. Like I said. Okay, that's fine. Can I
Listen,
see
Cruz
the
is
rematch? Let's see the rematch.
Cruz
If
in the
it's
top
not,
5, brother. I like Cruz, just like I like Barrios.
yeah, he got in the
Yeah.
top 5,
Well,
but he got a top 5
I'm
after
not
that
gonna
fight.
endorse that particular statement, but Cruz is a solid fighter. I'm not gonna go ahead and put him in the top 5 just because Tank had a little issue and
Well,
managed to
He is in the
outbox
top
him and
5.
shit.
but
But they gonna move him up the ranks like he is.
Absolutely, because he fought Tank, and everyone is bashing Tank, talking about how he's not that good, because he got an injury during the fight, and but it is what it is. We'll have to see him. Like I said, I like the Ryan Garcia fight for him. I like the JoJo Diaz fight for him. I like Frank Martin for him. I mean, I like anybody for him. But
No, I
yeah,
think.
I'm picking Cruz against JoJo Diaz. I think Cruz beats JoJo
Yeah,
Diaz.
I think he beats. No, he is top 5. He wasn't top 5 before that fight. He proved
No,
himself
he
because he
wasn't.
was still a prospect. No, he was
No, he
only ranked
wasn't.
in the IBF. Don't lie, bro. Don't lie to yourself. He was only
Listen,
ranked in the IBF.
no,
He
he
wasn't even
wasn't. What are
ranked
you
in the
talking
bro.
about? He was ranked in all of them.
His
He
own
was number 8 in
organization.
one, number
No,
9
he
in the other.
wasn't. No,
No,
he wasn't,
dude,
bro.
I got.
He wasn't
Oh
ranked,
my
bro.
God.
How you gonna tell me he wasn't ranked in the
Because I
WBC?
can,
The own
because I
WBC
looked
had
at
a
it because
14.
I
Bro, no, you
I
didn't,
only
bro.
I only
He
saw
was
him
only
ranked in the
ranked in the
IBF.
IBF.
I'll admit, but I don't
He
really
did, bro.
remember. I only saw him ranked
No,
in the
he
IBF.
wasn't. Bro, he
yes he
was,
was.
bro. You're
Yes, he
right. He was
was.
only
How
ranked,
much you want to
bro.
bet?
Don't
Let's
listen.
bet
He was
$100
ranked.
right
Nah,
now that he
bro,
was ranked in the
put the
top
dates,
10
bro. Put the
in 3
dates.
of the
Put the
4
dates,
sanctioned
bro.
bodies.
Put the dates.
But
No,
the
he
same
wasn't, bro.
situation
No,
can
he
be said of
wasn't.
Cambosis, though. The same situation can be said of Cambosis. Cambosis, I only saw him ranked in the IBF as well,
Right.
and look what he
And
accomplished.
right. But no,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't.
true, bro. He
Again, I
wasn't
didn't know
ranked,
anything
bro.
about him. What I
They even
said
said
was
it.
he
He
was
was
ranked.
ranked
It's not.
14,
I didn't
bro.
rank
He
him.
was ranked
I'm saying
14 in
that
the WBC,
across the
bro. He
board.
was ranked in the IBF. He was only ranked. No, he wasn't. He was only ranked in the IBF. What is ranked in your thing? I'm talking about top 10. He wasn't in the top 10 in
I
neither
said
besides the
top
IBF.
10.
He was ranked
He was
14 in
number
the
two.
WBC and
He was
11 in
number
the.
2 in the WBA. What
Name
was
him.
that? No, IBF. Excuse me. Number 2 IBF, and I did 8, and then within the BA and the WBO is 8 and 9, whichever one, and flip flopped in whichever
No,
one it
he
is.
wasn't.
So
He
he was
wasn't
number
ranked in
8, number
neither
9,
besides
and
the
number
IBF.
2.
Now he's
Okay.
probably ranked. No, he wasn't.
No,
He
no,
was
no, no,
only
no.
ranked in
We
the
can
IBF.
backdate it. If you want to do the
Bro,
$100
put the
cash
date.
app, we
Put
can
the
do it.
date. Bro,
If you
put the
want to do
date. Like I said,
if you
I'm
want to
looking
do
up
the
right
hundred
now. Hold
dollar
on.
cash app, we can do it.
But Polo, even if he
No,
was only ranked in the IBF, again, the same situation is with Cambosis. That shit don't matter.
that's
Now,
what I
me and
said.
in my personal opinion, I think he's a top 10 lightweight. Top 5, I gotta see. I gotta see what he does because I'm not picking against Jojo Diaz with him and like
No, I got him
I,
versus Jojo Diaz. I think he is tough. He beats Jojo Diaz. He beats
that
Jojo Diaz. Ryan Garcia, I'm a little like now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn. But he beats
I'll
Jojo
pick
Diaz
it.
though.
I'll pick him to be Ryan Garcia. I'll do that, but I don't think he'll get in there and do
I want to see Cruz
JoJo Diaz
versus
like
Frank
that.
Martin.
That's a good fight. Yeah,
I think
I
Frank
agree.
Martin will stop his ass.
Yeah, that's a
Me
good fight.
too. Yeah, I think
You
Frank
think
Martin will hit
so?
him with a. I don't know if he'll stop him
Nah,
because
we all said
Frank
that about Tank.
Martin Well, I thought Tank would stop Cruz, and like I said,
Tank,
he would have if he
Cruz
didn't
ain't
break his
done,
hand.
bro. Like you said, bro, Cruz ain't don't know. It's the same whatever that dude he fought that guy that literally Ryan stopped and run one. They didn't even hit him. First shot that he threw knocked him out.
Well, I mean, hey, that's true. And Cruz has been outboxed. That Cruz has been outboxed. I will say that. But oh hey, what's up, Southern T? How you doing? But yeah, no, like I said, because JoJo, I think that JoJo is a little bit more talented boxer, and he can box well on the inside. I know that's where Cruz thrives, but I don't think he's going to be able to get in there and dog Cruz like that because he has been shown to be outboxed. He's been outboxed by people, and these people, you know, they hadn't
Who?
accomplished as much as JoJo Diaz.
Who
Isaac
got
Cruz
him?
has been outboxed.
Against who?
He has a decision
Against the
L.
one loss? No,
Yeah.
but you gotta rewatch the fight. Did he get a box? Like I said, he only lost to Tank because you gotta watch the fight. He wasn't getting a box. It was a close fight that many people said that the only person I can say that a
Nah,
boxer was
bro.
like I said, do you watch the fights or do you like?
No,
You gotta understand these guys
I do
when they
watch
fight
the
in
fights.
Mexico, they get matched up harder, and sometimes they are BS decisions, bro. That they get like a lot of
Don't
those
do that.
like I said fights. Bro, and what do you mean don't do that? I've
Oh,
been, like I said, I've seen how
I
they've boxed.
honestly,
It's BS, bro.
I honestly thought
Polo.
in the fight where he fought what's his name, Romeo or Romeo Matias, that dude.
Oh,
I
Matias,
thought
nah, bro.
I thought that
He was
was
knocking box. He was
questionable.
winning those
I
rounds.
thought that was questionable in and of itself. That decision, they gave him a UD. I was like, that looked like more of a draw situation to keep it real.
Oh, you want to take my $100? You know that that he was ranked in the top 10 of 3 of the, he was 11 at number
Yo,
at
I'm looking at the
WBC.
rankings that
It's
he's
okay
not
if you
even
don't want
ranked
to.
in any of them anymore. He's
Okay,
not ranked in the IBF.
we'll take my
Bro, I'm
money.
looking at Websicopedia. He's not ranked in the WBA. He's not ranked in WBC. He's not ranked in the IBF anymore. They have some Argentinian dude that took his place, and then in the WBA.
He's ranked as number 6 on the Ring magazine though.
We'll
Yeah,
take
yeah,
my
that's
money,
Ring Magazine.
Polo.
I'm talking about the. No, that's fine, bro. I don't need your money. I'm
Okay.
good, bro.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
but I'm
All
just
right.
saying I'm not gonna criticize. But I'm saying he wasn't only. But it's weird
I'm
because if you look
I
at
I made a
Wikipedia,
post about it
he
in November 26th. I made a post on November 26th, and I said, so people upset Tank fighting this little killer. From the eye test, Isaac Cruz looked more skilled and aggressive than Ryan and Riley based on punch selection and placement. I said rankings: IBF number 2, Kambosos was number 1, WBA ranked number 8, and WBO ranked number 9. I made this post on
yeah, but I
November
just checked.
26th.
He's not
I'm
ranked in
just
any of them anymore. Why
I
is
just
that?
told you I
No,
made
you're
this
fine.
post
No,
November 26th before the fight. So he
you
was.
good,
That's what
bro.
I'm
I just
saying.
saw him ranked. No, but he was ranked in that I saw, bro. You can clear me if I'm, but I'm saying right as of right now, he's not ranked in any of them, and that's kind of weird. I wonder what happened there.
Where are you looking at
Well, he
this
took a
information?
L. He took a L, so he's not. I mean, because Tank is a top rated lightweight, but Tank he has a secondary title. So he took a L. He's not going to be ranked yet, but they're redoing the rankings because the lightweights just fought. So
No.
that's the situation.
And his
Yeah,
stock,
but if
even
you look at the
in the
IBF,
L, his stock should rise because he proved that he belonged there. So
yeah, no,
that's
definitely,
where the
bro.
rankings come
Yeah,
from.
he could be hang there with Tank, arguably. So no, I feel like in the rematch will be closer. I don't think Tank stops. I don't think Cruz is an easy guy to like knock out because he's never been dropped either as an amateur or professional. So I think if you're gonna beat him, you're gonna have to box him. I've never seen him
Well,
like that. I've heard
Well,
and that I did research that he's actually ever been dropped. Neither has
well,
well
for the
Canelo.
Tank beat him eight
WBO,
four. Tank
one
beat
thing
him
I
8-4 with a broken hand.
one thing I'll say is that for the WBO,
Nah, I 7 to.
I'm checking
No,
out
it was
their I'm
either a
checking out the
draw. He
November.
was 5
I'm check
rounds.
well, Polo here. I'm checking out the WBO's rankings for November 2021. I'm looking at their top 10, and I don't see Isaac Cruz on this list on their website, but maybe it was
Thank you.
listed somewhere else.
Thank
So
you. No, no, seriously, he was only ranked, bro. He wasn't ranked. I think I did see him like 11 in the WBA. He was like an 8, and then they changed it right away, like before he fought Tank. So I only saw him ranked in the IBF because it was Cambosos, and then because remember he fought that Diego Malendo dude for the final limit for the eliminator. Then
yeah,
Lee Shelby and Cambosos was actual, so he was number 2 the whole time. That Matias Romero fight in Vargas wasn't eliminator at all. It was just a regular
yeah, and you got to
Max Tongue
remember
fight.
that And you got to remember that he lives in Mexico, so he probably doesn't pay for all of the sanctioning, but like to fight in all of them. So he probably only picked the IBF from which to fight in. So like I said, but that shit don't even matter to me because Cambosos is in the same situation, and now look at the motherfucker. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then originally, bro, it was gonna be Cruz that was actually gonna be the one to fight Cambosos if the Lopez fight. Remember when they were having those issues? Originally, it was gonna be Cruz versus Cambo, or it was gonna be Cruz whoever was ranked because he was just gonna drop the IBF and they were just gonna make the match like that.
that would have been an interesting fight to see because Selby struggles whenever he's aiming at a Shelby struggles whenever he's aiming at a target that's his size or smaller. So that would have been interesting having to see him deal with Isaac Cruz. I don't know how that shit would have went because I thought
Cruz would have
Cambosos
knocked
lost.
him out. No, Cruz.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah, that's what
Cambosos
they
lost
all
his
said. That's
last
what
two
a lot of
fights.
people were. No, but I think Cruz would have knocked out Lee Shelby, bro. After what
Oh
I've seen,
yeah,
because I've seen
Lee
Lee
Selby
Shelby.
can't punch.
Bro, Lee Shelby lost to Fernando Montiel, the same one that got knocked out. Like I'm to Fernando Juan Montiel's uncle. If you watch a Montiel Lee Shelby fight, tell me that wasn't a question of a decision. Like, bro, he was getting his ass whooped, and I don't know how he
No,
got
yeah,
the decision.
yeah. Lee Selby can't punch for shit. He's like the fucking Chris
Yeah,
Algieri of lightweight. He can't punch.
yeah, he was getting. No,
Well,
this was when he was like at 126 when he just won the IBF title. He was getting outboxed by Fernando. Well, not outboxed, but he was getting beat to the punch. So I'm like, he was fighting on PBC, which was weird. It was like when they first started.
that's probably when it was PBC on Spike.
No, it was CBS.
Oh, CBS. Okay. Yeah, but hopefully they don't have Cruz sitting on the shelf after this and have motherfuckers ducking them. They need to just go ahead and make some fucking fights. Like shit, Cruz versus El Rayo would be some good shit. Or Cruz
Nah, I'm
versus
telling you, bro. It's either gonna. Well, what I think is they might actually make him fight Michael Rivera because I'm pretty sure they are gonna duck him. But it's what it looks like, bro. If you look at the shit, he's not even so. Yeah, bro, and like I said, bro, Ryan Garcia's not gonna fight him. Ryan Garcia's gonna fight some Filipino dude because they posted like, how would this matchup do? And when Filipino boxing poses shit like that, that means like literally 90% of the time that fight comes true. So just expect Ryan
Speak,
Garcia to fight some dude that nobody
Yeah,
has
some
seen
guy
fight
that we've
before.
never heard of. Exactly.
hey,
Yeah.
speaking of Ryan Polo,
No,
obviously you
I'm
know
serious, bro. With
they were
Filipino
saying
boxing,
that Oscar said that they made him an offer, and then 3 days later, Oscar said, "Oh, they didn't accept the fight. They turned it down. Whatever the case may be, gave him a purse bigger than tank." Right the next day, or like a little later, Sean Gibbons, his manager, excuse me, yeah, his promoter, excuse me, said, "Hey, don't believe what Oscar's saying. We're gonna make you a bigger offer to fight for pay-per-view more than you've ever
they're
made."
trying to do it on
So,
pay-per-view. Yeah, they're not trying to have Cruz on this, and they want to make
okay,
Cruz
but
gonna,
guess what?
which is fair.
Okay, so Cruz is actually pushing that for Ryan to get Ryan a bigger profile and get him more money than he's ever made, and Ryan's saying no, so they're ducking him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're ducking. Like I think
Yeah. No
personally,
one's
Ryan has better
debating that
skills,
Ryan
but I
Garcia
think
is
Cruz
ducking.
beats him. But Cruz beats him though by a body shot. I got him. But like I said, we never know because he's not gonna fight Cruz. He's gonna fight some other dude that. No, I'm telling you, if we know boxing posts that like, why would you see this matchup? That means the most likely it is gonna happen. And I've seen it like when they post something like a random, that means it's gonna happen. And I can see it.
Yeah, I believe it. If it's some dude that we've never heard of, and they need to reintroduce Ryan to the weight class, if he's even going to fight at 135, yeah,
Bro, it's a
absolutely.
Filipino dude. He's fought he has some losses, but he's fought some interesting like big action. I can't remember his name, but I was like, oh, I already see he's fighting some. He's like a Duno, but I guess a better version of Duno.
No, that's
Hey,
Ryan
not
got
yo,
to
same.
prove
guys. Hey,
himself.
I gotta check out because I gotta go to work in the AM.
Okay, my brother.
But it's been a
All
nice
right, for
show,
sure.
man. On to the next one tomorrow. I'm pretty sure
What's
some
going on,
boxing news
Southern
gonna be
T?
dropped tomorrow.
What's up, my brother?
Yeah,
Oh, too
I hope you
bad. Too
enjoy your
bad T
birthday
didn't
though,
get to say
man.
shit.
Yeah.
All
But
right,
all
thanks
right,
for having me
man.
on.
I'll holler at you guys.
All right, my brother.
Later.